are recording.
Perfect. Let's go.
Jason Watts. God damn, it's good to have you back in America. Cheers.
It's good to be back.
My best, worst friend I've ever had.
Easily my worst friend.
And the reason you quit the podcast last time, apparently.
Yeah.
I
I thought we were all chugging a beer to start.
Oh,
You didn't
All the
agree
way.
with it?
I
These
didn't
things are
agree,
hard
but
to-
all
These things are beautiful to chug. I mean,
They're just good, tasty, strong beers.
I'm not chugging.
Oscar Blues.
There was like 40 comments on that post, by the way. You have to chug about 40 beers. I don't know what the timeline was, but
This is cold. It's going to give me a brain freeze. I'll chug 40 beers throughout the season.
there you go.
This
There you
Wow,
go.
that's a
This
lot.
season.
We don't
You
ever.
should say it. You should put on the next one. Select a word that you say all the time on the podcast, and every time you say it, you got to take a sip
Ooh, yeah.
and just get someone here timing it.
For me, if it could be like. I say like way too much. Oh, that'd be bad.
I
All
like
right,
that.
let's try and.
I don't like that. Oh shit!
Should we do it?
No.
Try and, I'll do
Yeah.
it for me.
Yeah, for
when
you.
you catch me saying like, make me take a sip.
Yeah.
All right.
Brutal.
So, Oscar Blues, you were just telling us a story about them.
Yeah.
Because you were looking at these beers like, I was like, what's up with these?
You got an odd
Yeah.
flashback.
Yeah. I
It's
saw
like
a flashback.
PTSD. Cody can back me. All the boys can back me up on that. I think we're good for it now. But I think it was maybe 2016. I know it was our very first Fast and Loose trip. We went to Colorado, and it was like the first time Fast and Loose had ever paid for one of our flights, and me and Cody were flying in like, oh, this is sick. We did this a Fast and Loose trip.
Like, we made it.
Yeah, well, like three of us, I think me, Cody, and Chris were on a flight, and we're like, no one else had paid for our flights except for Fast and Loose. We're like, this is sick. Like, this is our first like proper trip. We land in Colorado, and the first thing we do, we get picked up, we get driven to this brewery. Because McMurph was working there and had his coffee thing in there at the time.
Shout out to Mike from Traction now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he had like a little one of those drift trikes in there. Like, we just walked into this brewery, like 2 vans in the car park that we're sleeping in, and we pretty much walked in this brewery. I think Mike was throwing us around. There might have been someone else. It was a while ago, and we just walked around. They're like, oh yeah, this is like, we walk into this area and there's just drums of beers, like thousands of beers. He goes, oh yeah, these are all the cans that haven't been like properly filled up because they get measured, and so they're like
Off weight or something
off
like
weight,
that. Yeah.
They're like, there's 2 Eskies there you guys can have, fill them up, put them on for the trip. I think we put
2 what?
2 big Eskies, the size of this table,
Like a forklift?
Like a pallet or something. Yeah.
No, Esky as in like cooler.
Oh.
Like 2 big coolers they gave us for this trip in Colorado.
Damn.
And I think we didn't even put any ice in it. We just filled the whole 2 with beers and put in 1 in each van. And then it was probably, I think it was like 400, 500 beers of just
God
different.
damn.
More of
Jeez.
these than anything. That's why I was staring at this.
It's like a lot of pizza. It's still at the end. You're kind of a little sick of pizza.
all
yeah.
pale ales
Yeah.
too. Like,
Oh my God.
And then,
Hey, camping and skate parks, these can fuel those trips.
yeah.
You know that
As long as everyone's of age and
they
responsible.
sponsored Swamp Fest this year, and they the second night they had 700 beers stolen from the back
Yeah,
of
that's
the
right. They
truck.
put all the beers outside, and then
They
all
were
got
covered in the
stolen.
truck or whatever, and then they got stolen.
So were they selling them?
No,
Or were they
so
giving them
I was
out?
like, when I was talking to Mike, I was like, just look around for somebody who has an Oscar Blues. He's like, nobody has them, dude. And I'm like, they probably drank them last night.
Oh, yeah,
like,
they'd be gone.
depending on what time they got taken, probably drank 700 of them.
We would have been,
Oh my
been in that in the back of the swamp
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah.
They'll probably use them as cans to get out of the mud. Little traction
700
cans.
beers is like pre-gaming at Swamp Fest. Just like
Yeah.
getting ready to
Yeah.
go out.
Yeah, so
But so we land. We went to the brewery straight away and just started drinking. Like this was I remember this was like because it was a 2-week trip and it was 3 weeks before the Huntington Beach Pro Cup. Because I remember we were all riding at like 12,000 feet, like skate parks and doing lines. And we went all the way to Huntington. We were like, oh, it's nice to breathe down here.
Yeah.
But we're also like, all of us are probably 300 beers deep over 2 weeks. So we were like, this but fit. Like, it was crazy.
is that the one that we did the bullshitting where you had the back cramp or something?
No, I think it was the one where, no, I think it was a different one. It was the one where you got the photo of me jumping over Dugan.
Yeah.
Remember, like, off the spine to the deep end? I think, I can't remember who won that one.
Let's tell that story about you refereeing the finals of the event
Yeah.
after not sleeping. And if you want to go into detail about how savage you are, you can.
We'll get into that. But yeah, to the end of this, we actually, the brewery went there all night. We like drank there all night, maybe a couple hours sleep. I slept on top of the esky of beers, just like flat on my back first day of the trip. Wake up, ready to go. But they actually, there was a beer. The first thing they were like putting a can through like filling like a can through the assembly, and it was called, I think it's got something, Midnight something. It's like 11% beer. It was heavy.
Jesus, 11% beer.
And he's like, what do you want? What do you want to say on the bottom of the can? And we're like, can it say fast and loose? And he's like, yeah, put it in the computer. So there's cans out there of the, I think it's Midnight, or it's like 11 or 12% beer that they do. And yeah, underneath some of them, some of the cans underneath say fast and loose, and the date that it was printed, and that was the day that we like the first day of filming for like Pull Back or Die.
That's
so
amazing.
we pulled the beer off the assembly line, we cracked it, and we all chugged it, but it was like putting down syrup.
I feel like
it was heavy.
Unclicked Podcast, Swamp Fest, and like the whole Fast and Loose team should all be sponsored by Oscar Blues.
Yeah.
That's a team right there.
Yeah.
It goes real well together.
Yeah, you already got Chris Fox.
Yeah,
on the team.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it should be like a beer tour team. And all we do is just go around to bars and do a box jump show at the front of the pub.
Jump over some kegs.
Yeah. Who wants to get jumped? You, okay.
You want to tell a story about the referee finals?
Oh, man. Referee that was a big one.
I thought
you were talking about the one where I hope
you're one of those people where I can say, like, you used to be crazy, and people will be like, what do you mean? Because he's still crazy. But you used to be really fucking crazy.
Still a little bit.
You're still a little bit crazy for sure. But
I don't think I know this story.
I pretty much went out all night.
That night you had him in a referee outfit. He was on another level. That day.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to tell those stories? I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Then we gotta.
I went out pretty much all night, no sleep. I think I went back to the house at like 4 or 5 a.m. Sorry, 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Get back to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like 2 hours sleep, woke up.
And those HB US Open ones were always at like 10 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty
contests
early.
were early.
I told someone to message me when it was like 20 minutes before the runs because I wasn't practicing. I was just like, all right, just tell me. And then, I come in hot on the, like, I think only me and Cosman knew about the referee outfit because it was me and Cosman that set it up.
Oh, okay.
So it was me and Justin that set it up.
I thought you did it with Fudger. So
No, not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because we did the wrestling video in Mexico first.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, these are fucking hilarious. Let's do something else like this. And I was like, I always wanted to be a referee at a contest, like a full footy match. So he went and brought the costume and everything and all got it set up. And then, I just come down and I was just like, still a little bit drunk from the night before and was like, let's just go.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You were still like,
pretty...
like if you were, it was just the daytime.
It was one of those ones where the hangover hit at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Something like
that.
Yeah,
no, he was still just like, he was so funny. He was still
I
so
just kept
fucked up.
going. I think I learned half cab down whips on the deck and I just kept doing them. I was just like, oh, it works so easy. I was just like, oh, this works. Like, and then, just the referee thing was so fun.
To me, I just knew how hard he went the night before and like how he didn't sleep and he was riding finals, doing the ref thing, like messing with everybody. He was like he was like the star. Like it was a finals and he was doing all this funny shit. Like people would case, he was blowing his whistle, yelling at people. Everyone's all serious, like getting ready. And Jason's
everybody loves it. Everyone was like, oh, you sort of like lightened it up because the Huntington ones were the hardest ones because it was like...
They were the biggest money, I think, too. So people took them a little more seriously.
Yeah, at the time they were like because they were the final or something like that. Yeah, it was a final
or whatever. So there was like
and they were always the hardest because it was always like... I don't know what it was about that. There was no practice. There was always like, barely any practice. It was
because it was shared with girl skate, dudes,
it was way stricter because
women's BMX.
It was way stricter because we shared it with skate. When normally the other pro cuts we never shared it with skate, but none of them. So
they had so much packed in.
Yeah, because it was only like maybe an hour or two, so everyone was stressed. And then I remember I did the referee kit and Chris was like, everyone was stressed, and then they seen you walk up the stairs, and it was just like, what the fuck is he about to do? I just start throwing things at people, trying to get into fights. I think I almost took out Victor Peraza at one point. I didn't mean to, but I did. Like Bowen kept trying to run me over on the deck. Oh man, I love doing those little characters. Like,
You probably have like the best contest results out of anyone throughout all the Vans Pro Cups, but he was always like the most fun person,
Yeah.
always doing these skits.
Yeah.
Seen him drinking tequila during finals with Bowen.
Yeah, me and
In
Bowen were always in
Mexico.
the corner. Yeah,
I'm just like, man,
Nah, he had that
these
single-
guys are on another level.
he had that like single barrel malt Jack one year.
Oh, that's what it was.
And
I
then-
took one sip, whatever you guys were drinking. I was just like, you guys are
A
fucking
few people took a sip,
crazy,
and 2 or
crazy.
3 of them crashed, and me and Bowen were like, "Oh man, what have we done?"
I was one of them. Yeah. It didn't get me drunk or nothing. I was just like,
Dugan was one. He took a sip, and then he took his run, and he crashed, and he goes, "What'd you do to me?" I was like, "What was it?"
he's 95 pounds. A sip of Jack will destroy him.
It was like that. It was like a good bowl of Jack too. I remember. I think I was.
Yeah, it was so strong.
I think
it was like
room-
100 degrees down
Yeah.
in mainland Mexico. I was like, you guys are,
It was
Australians
like
are just insane
It's like a $250,
sometimes.
$300 bowl of Jack back home. And Bowen bought it for like $60 US in the airport on the way. And he goes, "Come up to my room." And I get up there and he's just like, "Look what I got." And I was like, "You're kidding." So we just start sipping it. And then we go down to the contest with little cans of Coke with it in there. But it was like 75-25, like it was a lot. And then we were sipping it and everyone's like, "Oh, we can smell that." And I was like, "Oh, it's nothing, it's just Coca-Cola." And they had to take a sip, and everyone started taking a sip, and they started crashing. And we were like, "Oh, we just ruined the contest." I think it was qualifying. I don't know what it was.
No, it was finals.
It was finals?
It was
Yeah.
finals, yeah. Because
Bowen rode amazing that one too. He manualed that whole wall. It was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Haro, like he got like fifth. Or...
I missed Pro Cups before COVID, and I missed Corey Bowen.
yeah,
like, man.
Bowen at
Yeah.
the Pro Cups.
Let's
Bowen at any
Bowen
contest.
almost did the podcast that one time, remember?
I'm,
And then he
Corey,
disappeared.
if you're listening, I want to
Yeah.
hang out with you
So-
and
Yeah.
come do the podcast.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Yeah.
I think at Farm Jam I haven't
I
done
think he
a
disappeared.
run.
I think he just has a lot of shit he
Yeah.
have to
No,
talk about
I
on
talked to
here.
him via DMs like a week
Yeah.
or two ago. So
At the Farm Jam I've never done a run without Bowen in a train during a Farm Jam.
that's amazing.
We always rode together.
Yeah.
Like the only 2 that I went to, because it was like crazy tricks going down, and we just look at each other like, "Fuck this." We just
Fuck
rode the
it.
left-hand line. We just did trains the whole time. We do the same thing at the Pro Cup. That's when we started to get the toilet bowl going. All right, it's going left. And then everybody would go left and someone would go right. And we just all drop right. Like, but it was like it was good because you got more time to ride, but you had to do the same line over again.
Yeah.
So you got to warm up and be like really fun, and then. But every time I dropped in, 3 people would be behind me, and I'd be like, so it doesn't matter, fuck it. Let's
Yeah.
just go, like...
That was always fun. It's like Jason's going, all right, I get to go too. I'm just going to ride this line and at least stay warm. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes those practices are crazy.
Those practices were crazy. Always fun.
It
but,
always
like,
depends. Because like there was like the one at Rubens Park where we had practice from like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
That was just the best thing ever.
The only time practice ever get cut is when the
They build
medics
the
have
course.
to leave.
The
No, because the medics, once the medics leave, you're not allowed to ride.
Yeah.
But some of them, like Guadalajara, Germany, and other like countries that didn't really like care about the insurance stuff. Like, I remember, which one was it? I think it might have been Germany. Everyone was done. I was drinking beers and I just kept riding. And it was me and 3 people for like an hour. And Colin was like, just go for it. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, sick. So I just rode for like an hour with like 5 or 6 people. Like, it was good because everyone's trying to get in and burns out at the start, and you just like wait around but you don't get that at the Huntington one or the Australian one. I don't think either, because Australia's pretty strict with their rules and they shut the whole thing down like a site. So
Yeah.
once it's like 9 to 5, once 5's up, like the security guard's like, all right, you're out. Like,
You're out,
even
yeah.
though it's a public park, it's the same rules as everywhere else. They're still going to like, all right, our insurance doesn't cover you outside of 5. I'm like, there's no insurance in Australia. It's free healthcare.
Did you go
get
to
hurt,
the,
you
did
still
you go
get
to the
for free.
Germany one?
No, I didn't. I think I only went to like the US ones.
The
I
Germany
never went
one
to any of the
was
other ones.
The Germany
like
one was
a
good
grass field around the park, and they had kegs for all
And
the
they were serving
riders.
beers, yeah.
So it was frisbee, beers, and people riding. It was
Dude.
like the coolest. The park
That's
wasn't the
awesome.
best, but it was
Nah.
the best vibes. I
Yeah.
think like
Yeah.
one of the best vibes ever.
Definitely
for a
best
contest.
vibes, like where we're all just in that little area. Like
Yeah, that
you're
was
getting
cool.
clips between everything.
Yeah.
For the people on the outside, why? I think I know the answer, but why did the Pro Cups stop?
I think more so COVID over anything, and then there's always talk about it trying to come back, but then I'm not too sure. I think Vans are just like moving on
Yeah,
to like it's sort of like past and like
we
it's
did
still
that.
hard. Yeah,
we did
well,
that
yeah,
type thing.
Yeah.
I think Vans is just such a huge worldwide company, and you can't deny the fact that they had to take a hurting from COVID.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
Those
And, like,
contests were a lot of
Yeah.
budget. It was skate and BMX all around the world, and they're just
like building
they're recovering.
those,
They're
building
doing
the
fine,
park,
but
Yeah.
like they'll like
think about how much
it's
money that
such a-
costs.
Yeah, it was
And-
easily over $500,000 per one. So
And
Yeah.
Vans paid
That's
all their
like-
employees, didn't let anyone go. Even the ones that like worked at the stores, they were paying them while they took time
Yeah.
off. Like they were so good to
Yeah, they
everyone.
did.
So
They were one of the like I remember the like on the the extreme side. They'd be
Yeah.
like boycott Vans because they're making people do this or whatever, you know, like, and it was like, so they were kind of like
But
strict,
they were definitely paid people,
but they,
not even
but they
going to
treated them
work.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you know, you can't do this, but we're going to pay you type thing.
And it's a business. You can't lose that much money compared
Yeah.
to what you make and then still be expected to run these like
Everybody's
huge
struggling. Everyone's still
series.
struggling after COVID.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, there's other
Especially a
people.
goddamn
Like,
clothing company, you know,
Yeah.
like where you need to go
Yeah,
into
I
a store.
wonder.
Like
well,
that.
it's just more so events in
They're
general.
fine, but they got hit hard, you know.
Just events in general. There's no events.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's crazy Swamp Fest, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, where it's even now, if you post something about Swamp Fest, you get the little thing at the bottom.
yeah,
Like the vaccination,
Wow.
whatever thing or something. It's so funny. It's like,
Get your tetanus
Yeah,
shot.
we know.
on the
know
drive,
at this point.
on the drive over, we were just like talking about plans and stuff though. And this summer, it's coming back.
Yeah,
you know,
like Europe's still.
not Pro Cup.
No,
Okay,
sorry,
all right.
no.
Yeah.
Vans is doing a big contest this summer though.
I think
for
Vans
sure.
The Waffle Cup? I mean,
It's going to be
I'm
something
not-
like it.
Yeah.
but
The
they're not-
Waffle Cup was amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, it
and
was
they're
awesome.
gonna, Steve Van Doren loves BMX, and he's going to do something like
Yeah.
it's like a Van Doren contest.
Fuck
just,
yeah.
just because he loves.
I think it's
BMX.
just strange times in like the US and like the economy, so they just want to stay chilled and wait instead of putting a shit ton of money into something right now, and then everything goes south.
Yeah, dude, the
Yeah.
world
So
was
it's just
crazy
just
like a
wait,
year
like-
and a half ago.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it wasn't
like,
that long ago.
I think this year,
shit
like
was
I know, like
crazy.
you know, like was it like 2 or 3 banks have gone down in the
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
Like anything could happen in this year, and I think they're just like it's sort of just like a pause at the moment, just like where we're all waiting. We're like, all right, like. I tell Mappy and Jerry and everybody, I was like, I can build you anything you want. You put any contest anywhere, and I'll build it and ride and like have fun with everybody. Like whatever it is, just let me know, and we can get something sorted, no matter where it is.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, they're on
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
wavelength of like we just gotta wait it out.
Yeah, like
right now.
Yeah, they just wait it
risk
out.
management,
Like-
something like that.
Oh,
you
yeah, the
know,
waste
mitigating risk.
They're still sponsoring athletes,
pro-
still doing the
golf
coolest
event
shit.
waste
They just have
management,
to
Arizona.
Waste management.
what the waste management event.
Yeah,
in
that's
Arizona, dude, it's insane.
that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
I think
He was telling me about
Rat
that.
Boy works for them.
No way.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, but
what Rat Boy does.
Are you guys talking about that golf event?
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
much like Happy Gilmore, but an event.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Little, it's like the Jason Watts of golf.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bringing some fun into
Yeah,
golf.
that'd be my Pro Cup event. You case to get beers thrown at you off the chair. Get out! My always plan for the like if for another skit would be like a boxing referee, and in the Pro Cup if somebody snaked each other, it would be like 30 seconds, one big punching glove on the
Ooh.
flat bottom, and there's a bell. I would hold the bell, and I'd be like ding,
Oh my
and then
God.
everyone had to stop, and you'd have to put the glove on and just toe to toe, one hand box with the
Fuck.
person in the bowl, like. You get people like Morgan Wade just dropping in. No one would drop in.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, you could get some
Like-
really scary like Corey Walsh and Morgan Wade. You'd be like, oh God. like,
Big
Yeah.
Corey running around with a fist behind his back and Morgan chasing him down. Like, Get back here.
That could be bad. Ryan,
That's Mr. Gilmore's jacket. Just running down there. But I thought it'd be hilarious. Just like, oh shit, they snaked each other. Ding ding.
Corey
Like,
could probably
oh.
throw a punch. I was just thinking like the toughest guy that you just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
this
yeah.
dude.
That'd be fun.
Like-
Morgan Wade's fist. Oh my God.
Yeah, the Colombian Michael, he'd be in there all the time. I box all the time.
yeah.
Just start swinging. Oh man, yeah, that would be. I still want to do that at a gym. We had like our little fast and loose jam in Nimbin. I had a couple ideas coming out. It was just like the pump track race through the bowl. I actually got pretty gnarly and like what was another one? We've been doing like fast mani around the ball as fast.
Is there footage of it? Because I don't know.
It might be.
What was
It was,
Cool boy does his-
It was called Nimpinned.
Nimpin?
I saw you guys all doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do.
I didn't see like a full edit or nothing, but I knew everyone was down there doing that.
Oh shit! You guys can.
It might have just been on Instagram. No, it wasn't on Instagram.
It's crazy. Like
somebody-
the Australian scene seems like so like you guys are always doing something, you know, like no matter what.
Everybody
COVID or
supports
whatever.
everything.
Yeah, it's a
so
good
if you put
scene.
something on, everybody goes and everybody's about it. It's not like I don't really like feel
Yeah.
like going. Like it's like
Was it a fast and loose jam?
yeah. So maybe fast and loose, Nimpinned.
Nimpin, I saw it. Thanks, autofill.
Yeah.
It's insane too that like Australia has.
Yeah,
like,
this is
the
just like a
sickest
quick,
Olympic
like, we always
riders,
wanna
the
do
sickest
some-
street riders. the sickest-
Whoa.
Speaking of the Pro Cup, we almost got a Pro
is that?
We all,
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah,
I kept
what
trying to
was
convince
that?
her to put a Pro Cup here, and they were like talking about what a crowd because it's like country New South Wales. It's out there, and like, but it's just like a sick skate park to put a Pro Cup event on, and like, this was just like a last minute jam that we put on, and it just got like a bit of mayhem. We sort of premiered the fast and loose, the fast and loose with the Vans video that we did.
Yeah.
Not Alone. We premiered that there, and like, you know, it was like, obviously no one can really travel right now, so like, this is just all local dudes that come down, and there was probably 200 people. Oh yeah, we had a meat tray raffle. That's what we do. I think it might be the first BMX jam with a meat tray raffle.
No bars or like frames or anything.
There's our pump track
tray.
race down the snake run.
That's sick.
So
Dude, look at that park.
You had to drop in from Disaster and then like fastest lap down and back, any line you want. And then like I was like, oh, this would be like sick. It'll be pretty. It got so gnarly. People's tires start washing out. We timed it all and like, but the park is like incredible.
See, what a fucking, what a cool idea.
Yeah,
honestly.
just
it
super simple.
yeah.
Like you can pick any line
Yeah.
you want to go down and up, and the quickest one. And it got loose. Like Sean went down. Like you could just hear.
This is what has been cool about COVID. One of the things that's been cool is people just throwing their own jams. And
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
back to like DIY, do it
Like
yourself.
I was like, we had like super strict rules. People coming in and out. And all
Yeah,
that
you
sort of
guys
shit.
were, like,
But once you were in,
quarantined.
but once you were in, it was like
good.
this every day.
Huh.
Like it was just getting in and out. Everyone was like, "What do you do?" Like I think out of the whole time in COVID being in
That's
Brisbane,
crazy.
out of the whole time in COVID being in Brisbane, I think I was locked down a week out of the whole time. And then there was a city like Melbourne, it was 290 days in a year and a half. So half more than like
And what is it when you say lockdown? Because there was lockdown here. What is a lockdown there?
like a lockdown.
Because I heard it was
lockdown
kind of
here.
wild.
Lockdown here, like in California, was the same as what it was in Brisbane. But lockdown in Melbourne was like you couldn't go 3 miles from your house, and you could only go out for an hour a day for exercise or groceries. Or 2
But all
hours
the
a
other
day.
big cities were chill.
Most of them. Sydney did that as well, and then
Imagine-
But Melbourne,
I would just leave. Can you leave?
well, you have to.
Well,
like,
didn't-
you have
that's
to-
what- that's
you'd
why
have to
Lewis
leave
Mills
and then
came
pay
here.
$3,000 for quarantine
If
to
you came
leave.
back.
No,
Yeah.
to leave.
To leave.
So, because if you went to a new city to leave, like if you were moving and you got to Sydney or went across a border, you'd have to pay for a hotel, which is $3,000 for 2 weeks to quarantine to leave the city. Like it was crazy.
And then coming back is similar rules.
Going into Melbourne, yeah, similar rules. Like they had a bunch of crazy rules. And Melbourne, yeah.
Damn.
But that's why Lewis Mills, when he came here, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna stay until like the day."
That's
can
when
come
I
back."
came
But that's
back.
what's crazy
when I came
about
back
borders.
Last time, before like the last time I was here for 10 months, and when I left home, I said to my parents, and I was like, I don't know when I'm coming back because
Yeah.
it was still peak COVID. Like I had to apply for an exemption to leave, and I got denied 4 times to leave Australia, and the 5th time I had to go through a lawyer and a few other things to prove that I could live here in a way, like which like I
Yeah.
I have a social
You-
security number and everything. I'm like, I fucking live there. I have an address. I have
Yeah.
a car. I have everything. I do live there. Like, and I had to prove it through. And then the paperwork that proves it from my lawyer, I had to get someone, it's called a JP, which is a Justice of the Peace in Australia, to sign to prove that it was a proof of it was a real document, and then send it to the government for them to prove me to leave. Like that's how crazy it was.
How
to
did that
leave.
feel telling your parents, like, I don't know when I'm coming home?
Oh, I leave all
And
the time. They were like, oh, fuck it. Like,
Yeah, because you leave for like
that point,
months
yeah.
and
but even
months
when
and
I'm
months.
home, like even this trip, I was just like, I flew over with a backpack because I just flew home last time with a backpack. It was the first time I've done it because I got like my life in my van here, my life in my
Yeah.
van at home,
You have a home here.
and there. And I was just like going to the airport, and they just stare at you. Where are your bags? I was like, everything's there. Like, I don't have to really explain myself. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, you're leaving again?" I'm like, "Yeah," but the way I think of it is, when I get home, I'm probably home and like see my family for like maybe a couple days, and then I get in my van and I go and I leave anyway. Like,
Yeah.
but in Australia, like I'll just drive to the Gold Coast and hang out with everybody, and then if I'm not in the Gold Coast, then I'll be going all the way to Sydney, Canberra, Melbourne, and then back doing builds and riding, and then like so.
That's one of
It's
the
realist-
coolest lives ever. You have a dope bus here. You were just in my driveway. It's amazing. It's like an RV bus thing, like van hybrid. Like it's the coolest living situation ever. And then you have
The
one of
tiki
those.
bar.
You have the tiki bar that's on wheels that you live in, and then you have this other one in Australia. So you just go back and forth and have a home that moves.
2 vans, like 2 vans between them.
That's
and then
unreal.
Pretty much the
That is
same,
unreal.
the same bike, the same
That's
tools.
people like dream of van life. You
Yeah.
van life and
Different continents.
And then you
Yeah.
leave all you have.
I think I've been
you
doing-
have all
yeah.
your tools.
Is
you
your
have all
goal?
these-
Is your goal to go all 7 continents, all 7
I'm actually
bands,
thinking
one on
about
different
going-
I said,
continents?
you
Yeah.
need one in Europe now.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and buy one in Germany.
Oh
when
my
I go
gosh.
over. Like Paul, I was like, can you find me like a Volkswagen?
Before
That's like motherfucker that writes a book.
Yeah.
Well, Chris did write a book about it. He's on his.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
on-
that's
Chris
true.
is
He just
writing
finished
books.
another one too.
Did he?
I guess people are writing books about you already.
Yeah. Chris is like, oh, pretty much most of you on the book anyway. He's like, I just finished another one about you. He's just
That's
like,
amazing.
I think I've been doing it, 8 years. Like, I don't think I paid rent when I left home first when I was 19, and since then I never have.
Wow.
Unless I stayed at yours for like a little bit.
You never paid me
I've never
rent?
paid. Yeah, I have at the La Mesa house. I paid
Okay,
dad rent.
okay.
Yeah.
But I've never really paid rent in my life. I've always just been van to van.
Yeah.
So when I leave home, I get my van here, and then when I leave here, I get my van at
So
home.
sick.
amazing.
But I have exactly the same tools in both vans, the same bike, PlayStation, TV, and it's both tiki bars.
You have
So it's
life.
just
You
like
have
two
the same
different-
life
two
on like you dig a hole through the world in your van.
Oh yeah, identical life. Like
Crazy.
Yeah, I pretty much get in my van here. I will travel to wherever people need me to build something or ride an event or film, and then I do the same thing at home.
That's amazing. Before we get
You don't have Vegas in Australia though.
No, but
No.
we have Melbourne.
Bris Vegas, is that what you call it?
Oh yeah, Bris Vegas. I'm from Bris Vegas. Melbourne's great.
before we totally move off the COVID thing, I heard a crazy story about Logan after he won the Olympics, that there was like some controversy with some and he couldn't do any interviews for like 3 weeks, and by the time he got done, it was like, we don't care, next or something.
No, I think I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, in 3 weeks I got.
Because he got one
Well, he
gold,
got
one gold medal. Then there was some
I think in the-
other Olympian that got in trouble for doing some interviews, and then people got pissed off. Like, why is this Olympian get this special
Even during
treatment?
the Olympics, it was that crazy, huh?
And then he flew home, sat in a hotel.
Like Logan that
Wow.
year, I think, if I'm correct, he spent 6 weeks in a hotel room by himself because he went to France and then he went somewhere else and then he went to the Olympics. And before the Olympics, he had to quarantine for 2 weeks at his house before going to the Olympics from Australia to go there. And then you had to do a couple days there and then
Dude.
the event. And then from that, when he flew home, he had to quarantine for 2 weeks in a hotel room by himself again. And then he was allowed to come home. But
He is
if
so
you were,
dedicated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't go
but
to the
if-
Japan X Games because I
Well,
couldn't
so,
leave the arena.
That's what I was gonna say. Is
That
I
guy's
went to
insane.
the Japan X Games, and I was there for 4 days, and I could go from the arena to the hotel.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That was
and
the Olympics-
I
that was the
fucking
Olympics too.
hated it.
That's why
I was
I was
literally,
like,
I was literally like,
That
fuck
scared
this.
me. I was like,
Yeah.
that's too weird.
No,
man.
Logan's a beast. Like
He's
Yeah.
a beast.
he's funny because
That's
all
so
the
badass.
Aussie boys went
That's
to
dedication that
Yeah.
people don't
Yeah.
even know about. It's
Yeah.
not like the skills on his
Mental-
bike. It's what he had to
mental
do.
dedication. Yeah.
He has a beautiful family,
Yeah.
an amazing house to relax at, and
Yeah.
he was spending 6 weeks of the year in a hotel just to fucking go kill it at these contests.
Like I know a lot of really
What a gangster.
mentally strong
Yeah.
people that would go, and they said it was the hardest 2 weeks of their life.
Yeah.
They said you get a couple days in, and like, and it's funny because I'm like, oh yeah, that's like insane. And then all the boys went to France for that thing before it, like Tui, Josh Matthews, and Logan. And then they were all in like the Brisbane hotel, and there's a pub at the front, so all the boys would go drink at the pub and just stare at them through the window. I think Tui fucking ran like 5K in a room that's no bigger than this, back and forth. He posted it up, and I was like, here's Logan just like super mentally strong, and Tui's next door just running laps in his
Yeah.
room, back and forth,
Ripping the
and forth.
fucking
He said I think
carpet off the ground,
Yeah, I think he
basically.
ran 5K the second day,
But
in,
how
and
did
then
they go
like
to a
10K
pub?
the third.
No, his friends. They
Oh.
didn't go. They
There
were
was
in
a
the
Snapchat
window.
video of the boys in the room in quarantine, and they'll look out their window, and then their other mates are in the park
Because
across from them drinking in the pub.
they never left. They were.
They never left. It was when you're coming in, you
Yeah.
got to quarantine in
You know,
this hotel.
Until their friend just went and fucked with them to drink at the bar right next to where they were
Yeah.
quarantined. That's real nice. That
You know,
really helps the situation.
and speaking of X Games Japan, your worst nightmare actually happened to the dub guy, the Flatlander. He showed up, tested positive for COVID. I almost said cocaine for some reason, and and tested positive for COVID, and then had to sit in a government Japan hotel, which is literally basically about half the size of this room, and this room's not massive, and he had to be there for like 10 days.
Yeah.
And it was like. And
The hot-
then the guy, the alternate
I mean,
that
there's way
took his
worse
place.
stuff that can happen in life, but that is shitty.
But the alternate that took his place also won X Games too. So
Wow. That's
serendipitous. Yeah. But
Wow.
but the worst, like, there was a crazier. I don't know
Shitty
if it,
way the universe works.
yeah.
I don't know if it actually happened.
Shitty
but
good way.
during all that peak COVID and quarantine stuff, like 2 weeks is fucking hard. I did because COVID first hit me, Boyd, and a few others were in South Africa for the last call.
Oh
like,
yeah, that was a video that's on our channel.
So
Yeah.
when I got home, I had to quarantine at home for 2 weeks. but at my my parents' place. So, but
That's
it
a
was
crazy
at home.
video because that's literally like the last video that came out before COVID.
Yeah,
They
so,
just
like,
filmed it and they got sent home because
We
of
literally,
COVID. It's a creepy video.
we all had
kind
to
of at
train.
the
We
end.
all had to like.
Yeah,
we were in
Moses,
South Africa, and I was the one like, "Nah, we'll be fucking right. It's just the flu. We'll be good." And then it kept getting worse and worse, and everyone started.
Well, you guys were at
freaking
my
out
house
more.
and Corey was tripping, and me and my dad and my
Yeah,
mom.
we were tripping about leaving because
We were
if
all
I
like,
didn't
just go have fun.
If we didn't
We
leave,
never saw you again.
We were like, my van was packed and loaded, ready to go to Swamp Fest at the Vans HQ car park, ready to go because we're gonna land and then drive to Florida from South Africa.
Oh yeah.
And then we were like, oh, should we go? And you were like, oh yeah, just do it. Like, and then I think like if I didn't, then I would have been in the US the whole of COVID. Like I wouldn't have gone. There's no way I would have made it home because it would have been
Dang
too
it.
expensive. I would have been in San Diego
That'd
and
been
that
sick.
whole time. I was like, well, that's crazy. But went to South Africa, and then the only reason I'm trying to stay is because that contest was at a casino and golf resort, and I was like, oh my god, I've been dreaming of this. Been dreaming for this sort of setup: BMX, golf, and a casino.
Wait, where?
At like it was called Sun City, like the
Oh, the thing in South Africa.
yeah. So we were like a couple of the days from that, and they're like, "Oh, you guys might have to go home." Like, and I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm this close to getting to this place."
Like I'm almost
I was
made
like,
it to heaven.
Yeah, we're almost at heaven. Like, there's a fucking safari. Like, we're like, come on, like. And then it got real gnarly, and I was like, all right, I better fly home and fucking change my ticket. And then Boyd's, I think my ticket was like I can't remember, somewhere in South Africa to Perth and then home. And Boyd was like Dubai somewhere and then home. And he goes, why the fuck? How'd you get that ticket? I'm going to go all the way around the world and you're just going to cut through the center. So he changed his ticket and we flew home. So we both
Yeah, it's a trip because I remember when you guys were all hanging around our area and we were talking about it. Like it just seemed like this.
It was a joke.
I don't
we were
think-
like,
it was a joke. We were like,
I think
"It can't be that crazy."
Kevin was meant to go and he cancelled. And we were like, oh fuck, maybe we should cancel as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when I was like, oh, like Kevin said no, like maybe we should cancel. Like maybe it's a bit more serious than we think. And we were like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah.
We never get to go to South Africa again. I was like, fuck it, let's go. And then
And you even had like a pretty long trip until like during.
Yeah, I think we were
during
there-
the trip. They like shit got crazy.
yeah, I think we were
on the
there like
trip.
8 or 9 days.
How
Like,
did that feel being in like such a foreign place?
Oh
Like,
yeah, we wanted to
There
get
it
the
is,
fuck
right
out of
here.
there. We were like,
kind of got scary.
yeah, it was
Kinda got
starting to
scary.
get. We were the. I was.
Shout out
me
to
and-
Andrew Knight for making
Yeah.
this video too.
Yeah,
Me and
it's a
Boyd
cool
were the
video.
second or third last flight in before you had to hotel quarantine.
Oh wow.
Like we just made the cutoff to like get in before doing that hotel quarantine, and then so I just quarantined at home, and
What was the airport like?
they were pretty dead at that time. Oh, I can't really remember. I think we're leaving South Africa, we're chilling, and then the flight that I got home, it was through Perth, so it's not a very busy, like busy
The
international
end's
airport.
kind of where like it shows.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sick video. The
Yeah,
whole
it's
thing.
a cool video overall.
But it was definitely scary. Like towards those last 2 days before we all changed our tickets, it was like when we were like at this house and someone come in and was like, yo, like, and Corey was sick and so was someone else had like the sniffles and they're like, I think we fucking got it. Like, I think we fucking got it. And it was just so funny because I was like, there's fucking no way. There's like
Man.
these many cases around the world. It was pretty funny at the time. And I was a person that was just like, nah, fuck it. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then I think it was when Europe shut down because we were like South Africa's like Europe all closed off to the rest of the world, and our flight was through like Dubai, and I was like, ooh, like maybe we should go home. And Boyd's like, yeah, I think everyone's changing their ticket, and
Did it again.
we pretty much got a rental car, drove
the
6
internets.
hours to get to the airport before the times, and then flew out. So it was pretty hectic, like towards the end of that trip, and like once it all hit, and then once I got home, like did my 2-week quarantine, and then that's when it was like no one knew what was really going on, so I was a little like hesitant back home. And then Queensland had like the toughest restrictions out of anywhere, like almost in the world. Like New South Wales is only an hour and a half from me, and you weren't allowed to cross the border without a certificate or like anything like that. But once you're in Queensland, we lived it like we were now. Like we just anywhere in Queensland, we just did trips all around Queensland. Like as long as you didn't leave the state or the country, like we could do anything and go anywhere.
And how big
like,
is Queensland for like somebody like me? I guess I don't.
Probably twice the size of California.
Oh, massive.
Yeah, it's massive.
Massive. Okay.
Like it just gets like, and it was middle of winter, so we did a Cairns trip. Like there's a place called Cairns, so we just turned it Cairns trip. That's a video on there too. So me and the boys did 2-week road trip up there during winter time, but
And then so you came here for a while, and then when was the last time? How long has it been since you've been in the States?
I flew home June last year, and then I got back 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So
Did you
8 months?
All right. And then
Good stint.
Is that planned, or is it like did you
No,
want
it was
to get
like
back or
a family emergency, so I flew home pretty fast, and
hopefully
that's
everything's
why I
all
missed
good.
the Colorado trip and
Okay.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I stayed home for a bit, got a few things sorted. But as soon as I land sort of anywhere at the moment, it's just like, can you come build this? I was like, yeah, okay. I'm down. Like, I'll build anything. Like,
Okay, so I guess how I got here was how I feel like COVID fucked your shit up, because like before COVID, it was like, all right, this weekend I'm going here and then there
Yeah,
and then
29
here and
yeah,
there.
Just destroying
and-
contests
yeah.
weekend
Yeah.
after weekend.
And
I
then
think 2019, I did 8 contests in 8 weeks.
yeah, and then
Like through Europe, the US and Europe. And then it was like Australia Pro Cup, Mexico Pro Cup, US Open, like everything in Europe. It was a big year, and then
Yeah.
everything planned for next year was massive. Like all the Pro Cups that were planned for 2020 were like, yep, we're going.
Yeah, they had a
Where were we
sick
going?
tour.
They had a really good tour. I can't remember
It was
where.
getting bigger and bigger and doper.
It was
and
almost a
doper.
5th stop.
I think that's
Damn.
why it hurt. That's why it hurts people that
Yeah.
it never came back. You
Yeah.
know, because it wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
COVID
It wasn't
fucked
like
over Pro Cup.
an excuse to
Yep.
stop. You
Everybody
know,
says
but-
it back home, and everybody says it to me. Like, oh, I wish the Pro Cup would come back. That was like
Everyone
one of the coolest
says
things
it.
that everybody
Everyone
loved
who
it.
ever
Like,
experienced it was
Please,
a part
fans,
of it.
please, one of these,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all wish it, and that like
Yeah.
we're still like we're all patient. Like it's like those things come and go. Like obviously it was a shitty situation with the world.
Yeah.
and still is a bit hesitant. Like things seem normal, but behind closed doors, companies and all that, you never know.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So for you, okay, you're sitting at home or sitting in your van going like this, like,
yeah.
what the fuck do I do? So how does that go for you? I think it fucked you in certain ways, and then it made it
It fucked
better.
me in certain ways, but it also made the building side of my life like way crazier. Because obviously I got like just during like COVID, everybody wanted a backyard ramp because no one knew how long it was going to last. So like I was building these backyard ramps and like traveling through Australia because I can just travel because I have my van or my bus and all my tools with me. I just go from job to job. As I would go contest to contest, I'd go job to job and film between it. So like I'd drive to a job, build it, and then like film like road trips between it. Like W would come with me sometimes and work for me. A bunch of people would come work for me. Like all BMX riders work for me. So like I'd just be putting, and then to be honest, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And then I got obviously the Oz Cycling Olympic job.
Oh
So I
shit!
built
Really?
those ramps, and then
So did
it's
you
not
build-
a job, but like to build the ramps. So I built the original hot box, like the original training center.
Okay, I don't know what that.
It was like the hot box that we did. So me and W went out and built that, and then from that I went to like the very first nationals actually down in Melbourne and entered that because it's through Ramp Fest, which is a good friend of mine owned, which is Chris. And he was like, "Come down." I was like, "Yeah, of course." Like, it's anything like an event, so fucking let it be fun as. I think I went down to Hawaiian flannel and rode and crashed and still did like all right. And then I was at the pub and we were all just having beers after, and one of the old Oz Cycling dudes come up and was just like, so we like the Olympics is coming. I think it was like 3 months out. It might have been April or something like that. And the Olympics was in July. It's when it was like a month before the course was released.
Okay.
And like, could you build the Olympic course when it comes out? I was like, fuck yeah. I was a couple beers deep. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll build it.
So wait, hold on. This is when like 2021, right? Like not like
2021.
Like
The
literally
Olympic year.
4 months before the
4 months
Olympics.
before the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
They come up and were like, yo, like, because I've done like I built a lot of stuff in indoors and like all that, but nothing on this like massive of a scale, like backyard ramps. And I'd done Dennis's ramp in 2019 too. So with all those contests after the final Pro Cup, I went to Vegas, flew back from Vegas, and then built Dennis's ramp. Went to the Netherlands between that for the Uncontained, and then come back. And Dennis's was one of my biggest as well.
It was the biggest at the time.
At the time, yeah. And I was like, we did that. Like, it
Pulled
was
that out of
awesome.
your ass.
Yeah.
Like he'd
We
never
went to
done
a view-
nothing that big, and he just did it. Like,
Yeah.
I think
like-
it was in the original Unclicked. You talked about how it was like not even you didn't draw it at all.
Oh, we sort of did, and then we drew it in the yard in the dirt.
We went out with a rake.
Yeah.
and lined
Yeah.
up like box jump, quarter pipe. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I drew it on like
used a
just. I
computer.
just did full
Yeah.
pen and
No
paper.
computer.
Pen and paper, okay.
I'm all iPad and all like.
Oh, you're
proper-
real
are
now.
now.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Back
It's
then, though,
proper,
it was
like,
just-
yeah.
it
I do
was
a
a
lot of.
So it was the biggest ramp you built until the next week when you built Uncontainable.
No,
I
you
didn't
didn't
build
build
that.
that.
No.
Oh, you didn't build.
No,
You
I
just
went
helped.
and rode that.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you rode it. Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I went and rode that.
uncontainable either. It was
And then
like
we went to a music
Uncontained
festival
or something.
Then we went to a
Yeah.
music festival for like 3 days. Like, but anyway, so that was like the biggest one I'd done from scratch. Like, obviously, I built all the indoor parks and changed all the ramps. There's still big jobs, but not from scratch. From starting from nothing, in a way. And then I was at the pub after that nationals, and the dude was like, Simon, his name was, and was like, "Do you reckon you could build the Olympic course when we get it, like the drawings?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Did they give you anything?" He was like, "Nah, it's just all off, like, what could you build it pretty similar?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've written the thesis. Like, I know what transitions, what things feel like what, and how big everything is." And then, I drew something up as a rough cross, and then we got the design, and then I drew it up, and it was like pretty quick. I think it was like a couple weeks, like 2 weeks between it. And I was like, "Yep."
How big is that course?
It was 50 meters by 30 meters. So
Yeah, what
it's
is that?
like-
That's 150 by.
So to
I don't
anyone
know,
that doesn't
90.
know, though,
That's 50. That's 15,000 square feet. Rough.
That is
math.
amazing that the Australian Cycling Committee or whatever she's called built a replica of the Olympic course
And it
before
did-
it happened.
Yeah.
For the dudes to just get, and the men and women to get their runs dialed, and then they just flew to Japan.
And they didn't show anybody, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so
It was a secret.
I
There
knew
is-
because
there-
of this fucker,
yeah,
but I
there
didn't tell
isn't
anyone.
many
Yeah.
builds that I've done that have to not be secret because I just finished Pat's
So
place.
it was just England and Australia.
Pat Casey's place?
yeah, I just
Did he-
finished at Pat's place like
Another story.
3 days ago.
but we can move to there.
Oh,
So pretty much like
StreamYard 17.
yeah, pretty much.
So you guys in England though were the only like countries that built the course and got their riders
Yeah.
ready. In Australia and England fucking killed it at the
Yeah.
Olympics.
So pretty much
They were ready.
the
They showed up and
yeah.
had their runs.
The Olympic course that I built in just like lumber, like the studs, like all the lumber, it was 40,000 feet of stud. That's how
Wow.
big the course was.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot. It was big. It was something like 300 transitions. Like
Is it still there?
no, I tore it like because I made it to come apart.
Did you
pretty
burn it
easy.
like Swampfest?
No, I wish.
Oh.
No, I took it.
Probably like-
I took it apart.
Probably like adult
Put it
Olympic
in
training center.
Yeah, took it apart, put it in four 40-foot containers, and then shipped it to a lady that bought it. And then I built half of Kyle's new set up out of it, and the rest of it's still in the containers, ready to get built into another park soon.
Oh, so they're
So-
taking it apart. So for the next one?
No,
Or-
a lady brought all the ramps.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to build a new park out there once it's
in-
all ready.
Australia is like it's like, yeah, just the fact that there are wooden parks there. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah,
I
it's
feel
sick.
like there's
Like,
no.
Bringing it back to what you said a long time ago
Yeah.
with Van about how it's not accessible, and that's just our San Diego view on it. Because there is places
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
lot of that shit
yeah.
going on.
Yeah,
it's just
true.
not a San Diego thing, not really a
Yeah,
United States thing.
Oz
It's not a
Cycling
United
and
States
Oz,
thing,
they're
yeah.
doing pretty. They do really well with getting facilities ready.
Yeah.
Like, and they put the right amount of money. I guess it helps with someone like me to just be like, yeah, let's do it. Like, we're Wade.
The United States is like a shitty old fees court that's rotting.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, this is where you train. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I've
Give
been
that
dealing
shit
with
to Gary.
I've been dealing with that a
Yeah.
little bit. No, we won't. They won't give it to Gary unless we
Oh, you've been in.
repair the land after.
Dude, you're
and I
playing
was like-
both sides. Look at him. Look at him.
I
He's
said
playing,
that- I said
playing
that-
both sides.
You're not on anyone's
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
I said that to Wade when I left. I was like, I'm about to go build ramps for USA Cycling. And I went like
Whoa.
that. I went like that to him, and he goes, I don't care. I was like, oh no, I'm just fucking with you. I was like, I'm trading out.
Really, you're
I'm
taking
trading
USA
out.
Cycling's ramp. They're going to
Yeah.
refurbish them at Claremont.
Yeah,
it's like,
make
And then
it
he
way
goes.
better.
And then he goes to
So-
China next week.
Yeah.
For the, building rims the following week.
Oh,
Yeah.
rims would be fun.
Yeah.
Rims
so
is like good for life. it
when
looks
you
like.
go, like you have a company. What's the name of your company?
Universal Ramps.
So because it's
Yeah.
funny, we're like downplaying it. You're like, oh yeah, I'm building it. So, but it's
Yeah.
there's a company.
Yeah, there's a
here.
company behind
And
it.
then how
Legit.
many?
He is
like
the
do
best
you-
ramp builder in the world. I'm gonna say it.
Okay,
I
fair
mean,
play.
that's just my opinion, but you are the best ramp builder in the world, and
There's a lot of good people out there.
there's a lot of good
Yeah.
people out there, but you're making the funnest ramps to ride. You make the funnest ones. You know what's fun because you really are
'Cause I'm
one
trying
of
to
the
jump
best
it all.
riders in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trying to make it work.
You ride it, you
Pat's
build-
new stuff is in
you build it like
some
trails.
ramps,
You build
yeah.
a piece, make sure it's dope, ride it, build the
Yeah,
next
that's
piece.
what I said to Pat. I'm like, I could put plans down, but then it's just going to get built like the rest of your ramp to the plan.
Yeah.
He's like, he was saying that a couple
build-
things have been built out there where he's like, the fuck,
See, that's
this
what he's
doesn't
been
work.
doing the last
Like,
couple
Yeah,
weeks,
yeah,
just
yeah.
destroying Pat Casey's
Yeah.
ramp in a good way, like
Yeah.
making it even sicker.
Yeah, like
Crazy. I want to see
when I go
it.
real quiet on Instagram
Can I
and
see a
stuff,
photo?
it's because I'm building.
Let me see a photo.
It was only a small change, but it was
Can
enough.
the first
it
photo
was
be on
enough to,
Unclicked?
like,
A quick little.
Yeah, right.
Can you show it to the camera?
I just want to see it just so I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah,
So
it was like
just made it even better.
no, I know the problems he was talking about with the previous
it
stuff
was
was
like
that
like that's where like the 10-foot quarter was,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got rid of that and put another box in, and then put that into a big step up with like
Oh,
an
wow.
8-foot lander. Just swipe. Swipe back the other way.
oh, dick pic.
It'd be like a little grasshopper.
It's
It's hard to
Yeah,
search.
yeah, right here,
and then off
yeah.
that vert wall, there's
two
like a big
boxes.
shark fin into his other shark fin, and
Ah.
like it was like a quick like little fix, but it opened his whole yard up.
Yeah.
in a way.
And then that's like a more rounded. Oh,
man.
dude.
It's insane.
But it's like
What is that
it's
little lip for
literally
right there, though? Sorry, people. I'm
on the
genuinely
side?
curious. Yeah.
You shark fin off the vert wall into
Oh.
it down to the bottom. you
Well,
can
everyone will see
blast
soon because
back.
Jason planned a whole video with Vish back there where he invited
Yeah.
all his friends.
Yeah,
you
not
guys are
just
just going to
we-
camp
yeah.
for like 4 days, correct?
Yeah,
And
we're just
make a
gonna
fun
build-
video.
So it's not a DreamYard thing. Like he's not.
Nobody's
No, I'm
sponsored.
I'm-
Jason's paying Vish.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm
Yeah.
paying Vish to come out and film it because I said I didn't want to wait to ask anybody, and where they'll be like, oh yeah, like I was just like, Vish, come out and be as creative as you want, as good as everybody knows you are. Here's the money straight up. Like you don't have to invoice anybody. Like here's cash. Let's fucking make something sick, and then
So it's kinda
our
like
idea
nothing like
behind it.
DreamYard, just
Yeah,
like
Yeah, fuck yeah.
but our
shredding.
idea behind it too is just like Pat wants to do something crazy, and I'm gonna build whatever we have to make to make it that trick possible.
Yeah.
Because Pat has all these crazy tricks he wants to do.
Yeah.
And it's finding the setup. And I told him, I'm like, instead of finding the setup, what if we just build the setup?
Yeah.
And I'm like, his yard is so big and so diverse and so many levels. You can literally build like a 10-foot Euro gap to make a fucking, like, for instance, like a cash roll drop.
Yeah,
Like I could
yeah.
build a 10-foot Euro drop. Like it'll look crazy in his yard because we're
Kind of like some Seminock stuff almost.
yeah, pretty
like
much.
Seminock does
yeah,
that same
but-
stuff.
So
Yeah.
we're just
Build
gonna
it,
do
yeah.
that. Like build a bunch of he has some crazy ideas. I have some crazy ideas, and then I invited Dennis and Gary and Kevin.
Okay.
Like big diverse amount of riders, and I'll be like it'd be sick. I don't know if Gary's down for it. I was like, imagine just welding a pocket coping piece with no deck and no bottom. And
Grinding
you reckon
it.
you could downside double peg around it?
He would do it.
This is I could see
He
see
would
Gary
love
going like
it.
this right now.
I think that's something that would make him like. I think he's like, that's a dream.
No, I mean he's in. That's his like. I really like that, and God,
Yeah.
I don't like.
Gnarly.
You know,
Yeah,
like
do it.
yeah. So
But even something like that, imagine the clip of just just a rail that
well, let's
but-
talk off camera about how I can get involved.
Yeah,
too,
we
a
already
little
said
bit.
that. I was like,
Fudger
that'd
will
be
wanna
awesome.
come and film some RBMX stuff.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. So it
So-
sounds epic.
We're gonna
So-
be camping.
Yeah,
outside of a
yeah.
mansion,
Yeah.
riding rips.
There's a farm down there too. I almost hit a chicken the other day on the ramp. I jumped the box jump. Oh, there's this chicken just flapping across the flat bottom. And I was like, Pat, what the fuck?
Pat?
He goes, normally they're not on the ramp.
It's funny because like what people's like that have never been to Southern California, what they envision, and then like if you didn't know, you'd go to Pat's house and be like, "This is California, like it's out
it's
there."
amazing.
Yeah, it's
I
out
love
there.
it. I
It's
love
it's
it.
out there, but it's like getting surrounded by Starbucks. Like it's definitely
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's
that's-
like
What's
it
not
used to
surrounded by Starbucks,
Yeah, it
oh,
used to
shit.
not be that way. But so rewinding a little bit. So how many employees do you generally have? Like, is it a gig based thing?
Like
or is it?
normally if like it's a bit like it goes up and down real, like gets super quiet and then
Mm-hmm.
it'll go really crazy, like, and then
You're on I think 3 or 4. I think Crandall was at like 16 by the end
He
of
just
his.
kept
So
whacking
yeah,
it.
you're
Crandall's
good.
probably
You're
doing it
good.
on purpose,
Yeah.
trying to break it. Yeah, like at one point I had 12 and 3
Wow.
different job sites
Wow.
going at once. When I was building Chad's ramp, I was had there with 4 people, and then I was building an indoor skate park in Sydney with 4 people there, and then the boys were taking down the Olympic course with, I think, at 10 people.
And where in you were at Chad's?
And I was at Chad's, yeah.
Crazy.
And I was paying, I was 18 people. And then I went to Hawaii on the trip, but I still had to pay and do phone calls and tell people what to do and be like, yo, like, and then like all the boys kept fucking around and workplace health and safety kept coming up back home. So I kept getting all these calls from like government people like, yeah, they're not wearing a high vis. And I had to call them and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I was in Hawaii trying to film a clip, like, oi, like, do this. And then I'll put it down. Sorry, vis. Like, and like keep riding. Like, it was crazy at one point. It's fucking like, it's
The
sick,
time difference
like,
too.
You know what?
yeah, the time difference was good if it was the other way because we're like you're technically behind, but you're ahead by 6 hours. So like, if it was the other way and we're behind,
Yeah.
like they'd be calling me at like 3
2 in the
a.m.,
morning.
2
Okay.
a.m. Like, but it was the latest they'd call me, the latest they finish is 3 p.m. So they'd be calling me at 9 p.m. here, the latest.
Oh, so it's perfect at
So
night.
it's perfect. Like, it was really like...
Before you're going to pass out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Before I start drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of night it is.
Yeah, I'm early
Fucking
bedtime these days.
shout out to you, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah,
like
Jason's a
that
beast,
is
man.
like really,
I really
you
like-
know, like as loose as you play it, and
No.
as we can talk about you being funny and fucking staying up till 5. Like
Yeah.
that's a very fucking respectable.
I respect the
That's
hell out of
amazing.
this dude.
Yeah.
His talent
Yeah.
on a bike, and then like what he can do with the ramps, and now how you're what, 29? 29 and running this company?
Yeah, that's epic.
huge.
That's
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah, we got like big plans back
Doesn't
home
need a
and then-
fucking bike sponsor. He rides for the people he really loves,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't need $1 from BMX because he's
No,
goddamn...
like the more money
the more money from BMX, the better.
the more money I make, the more I just put it back into riding.
Yeah.
Now, instead of like trying to get as much as I can out of riding to like help pay for life, like the ramps help pay for life, and then I can just be like, Vish, here's money. Vish, come fucking
Yeah.
film.
You
You do
Let's
all this
fucking
cool
do
shit
this.
too, and then your
And,
life
like-
is like so cheap. You live in
Yeah,
like you
no
know,
rent,
like you
no
live,
nothing, like,
yeah,
no
man.
bills,
You
like-
do it right.
yeah,
You're like a
like-
minimalist that owns a business and is also a pro bike rider.
Yeah.
That's
well,
amazing.
I guess there's no minimalist with
Except for I
bust
go
on-
to the bar and I'll shout 40 people. in
That's
one
what's
round.
crazy about it. That's the thing. You spend some fucking money.
Well, I say,
Right? I'm
but
like,
what's
dude,
the first
what
time-
are you doing?
The first time we ever hung out was Vegas, I think.
Oh, the inner bike one? That was just telling him about that story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. What's that story?
I think I went there with
I could tell it, but you could tell it.
I went there
Yeah.
with Gootler, and it was his first week working with Hyperact at the time. So he was at Interbike all the time working. He's like, "You want to come to Vegas?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, right." Never been to Vegas, and I was just like, and it was after Interbike was like really like it was a pretty chilled year for Interbike. There was nothing else happening, so there wasn't too many people there, and I didn't really know too many people. So I just went out. Like I just chilled most of the first day, and then I just went out with like Clay and Gootler and all that, and I just went out and gambled and drank most of the time alone. Like I just went out, I just met people out, and I was just an Australian dude, and I was just gambling, and it was like 4 or 5 nights, so I just kept whatever would happen on the table. I just put like the bigger chips in my pocket, and then I'd just come home at like 5 a.m. and put them in this like little bag, and then the last night Gootler was like, "Oh, I'm off, like I'm out sick." And I opened this little pencil case that I had, like a lockable pencil case in a way. And I opened it up, I dumped the chips out. It was like $3,000 in chips over the last like 4 nights. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, let's fucking go out. And then we went to, I think Sean from Monster or something like
Yeah.
that. We went to Spearmint Rhino Strippers, and I just fucking straight up $2,000 at the door, bottle service, big table. And like, no one really knew me too. So I was
Yeah,
just
I had
like,
no idea who he was.
no one knew.
Yeah.
No one knew who I was. I was just like at this two big table at Spearmint Rhinos, and all these BMX riders are coming around, and I think Sean was there, so everyone's like, "Is this a monster table? This is sick! Like, thanks, Sean." And then he was like, "No, it's that guy's table."
This
And I
guy.
just-
But literally, it was like it was like lots of monster dudes there,
Yeah.
and they were like grabbing the bottle like they owned it.
Yeah.
and and he was chill, and he was super chill
yeah, I
about
was just
it.
sitting
Yeah,
in the corner just drinking. I can't remember. There was a-
Sponsored by Jason Watts.
yeah. And it just like went nuts that night, and like, yeah, I remember just like, yeah, I was on, I don't know if I was on Haro that time. Yeah. Because I remember walking through Interbike, and I was just with 2 beers, and every time I saw Joe, I'd just be like, oh, and he'd be like, hide the beers. Oh, okay, like this. Because you know, like, why? I think the very big night after that night, because it was still Interbike the next day, but Gootler wasn't working. And it was like, I hadn't slept. I just went back gambling straight
Yeah.
after that. Favorite Rhinos went back gambling and won like another $1,000. So I just kept going, and I just walk into Interbike, and my bags are down here. And Joe, I've been kicked out of Interbike 3 times at this point because I wasn't allowed to be in there. I had no armband on, so I just kept sneaking in. The security guard. The last time I was in front of Joe and Joe Baldwin's from Haro, and the security guard just grabs me by the collar, starts dragging me out. I just went limp, and Joe's just like, he's like, just call me. I was like, all right. And I just got dragged out. And I was like, oh, there goes Haro. Like, but they didn't care. He thought it was fucking hilarious.
yeah. It
I
is
was
not,
like,
you're
it
not the
was
first
sick.
one, I'm sure.
Nah, not at all.
Especially Interbike. Interbike was like
Yeah.
the place you were allowed to get
it
pretty
was
loose. so.
fun.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
think I
Interbike.
fell
Where
asleep.
people go to be ridiculous.
There was like that 100% sunglass company or something like that. You remember that was there or something, like it was like a bike that Matt Cordova used to sort of work for.
Okay.
And I think at one time Matt said I was just asleep on their couch, just like in the middle of Interbike, just like mouth open asleep. And then I got up and I was like, oh fuck, I was right on my Interbike, like put game face on. Like, I think I got real like one of the nights it was the night before that again.
He goes hard, and then he'll like curl up like a cat and die for like 3 days. Like
3
that
days.
music festival you brought up earlier.
Yeah,
Like we went
yeah.
so hard for like 3 days, and I just felt like shit for a week after. But he died on my couch in a corner. Like
Yeah,
a
I
little,
just sleep
he
for a
only
day
took
or
up
two,
like
and
a
then I'm
2 by
back
2
normal
square
now.
foot.
Yeah.
He just slept. I was like, I had to like check him. Like, you okay? You wouldn't even eat, man. Like you
No.
get up to take a piss every day, I think. And it was like 3 days later, you woke up like, bonk, like let's ride. And I was still like, damn,
Let's
I wish
go.
you can hibernate. Just get rid of it. That's one thing I've always been like, damn, you're so Hucker's really good at that too. You guys can just like hibernate it away.
My favorite or
Hibernate it away.
funniest one was actually before that Spearmint Rhinos night, and I was with like Clay Jr. from Hyper because I met him through Gootla. And me and him just went hard for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the fuck is this guy surviving? Because I'd see him at Interbike all day just talking business. And there was me and him.
Was
and,
Clay the one that was going hard?
Yeah, with
Oh,
me and
shit,
Clay.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And then me, Clay, and then it was one of the Bell Bikes dudes, like big, like I'm the owner, not
Yeah.
an owner or
Are you
something.
sure it's
like,
Shane?
I can't remember. It was a
think it's
long
Shane.
time ago.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
the
We were
worst
sitting
with
at-
names, dude.
Dude, we were sitting at a Waffle
Jason.
House,
Yeah.
and Clay was like, "Sign this."
Clay's the older. Clay's the owner. Shane is the son.
Shane's the son.
Yeah.
sorry,
so
it's Shane.
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
It's all good.
And then he was sitting at like a Waffle House at like 9 a.m. We'd been out all night, just the three of us. I don't know. There was more people, and he's like, "You should sign this guy to the Bell Bikes, dude." And but none of us could barely speak. We were so like over it. And he's like, "Sign it right now, 50 grand." He starts writing this contract on this napkin, and the Bell Bikes owner just like signs it. And I was like, "Nah, man, no, it's all good." Like it was like crazy. I was like, "Oh, this could be cool."
You did,
That's
you
how
did let him
that's
do
how
it?
deals are made.
Yeah,
That's
it was
literally
like,
how
yeah.
deals are made.
I
Yeah.
think, I don't know, Shay, I can't remember, we were pretty drunk when he was like, "Would you ever ride for Hyper?" I was like, "Nah, man, not for any money." He goes, "I respect that." And he just like knuckled me, and I was like, "Yeah."
You know what I will say about like going back to Logan and going to Hyper and shit. Like Hyper's their business is like the toy company.
Yeah.
Like, and they make all the bikes and they make all the
Yeah.
shit. It's like one of those things going back to Muller's thing is like, they don't have to like have this program. They
Oh, no,
could,
no.
they could sell their bikes.
They're in
at
their own
way.
lane.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
They're in their own lane. They
Shane,
don't need
Shane
people.
is a BMXer. He
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
loves BMX.
Yeah.
They sponsor like their own group of dudes, even if it's not your type
Like I
of group.
said, like, yeah, Hyper's
It's
probably
you
not-
sponsor BMXers,
Hyper's
Yeah.
not
and they
my-
are in their own lane.
and they
Yeah.
do their shit.
Hyper's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But the week I had with Shane, I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
But any
got along-
company that actually
we
supports
literally got
BMX in a
along
way
so-
is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got along
yeah.
so well.
They're
We're
not
there
just
with him
reaping
and his
from it.
Taiwan dude, and like, yeah, we're just like, "Oh, it's sick." Like, and then like all the boys ride for Hyper back home. I'm like, "Yeah, fucking good on you." They hook up all the boys.
Yeah,
They look after
yeah.
everybody. They
Yeah.
like do everything well. Like, can't hate on that.
No,
Like,
definitely
not. At all. Not like I never ride anything that they do, but you'd never hate on it. You'd be like, they like you said, they don't need to do that.
Yeah.
They just can keep making toys at Walmart or bikes at Walmart and make a shit ton of money and not support any rider. They can
Yeah.
just be like, "All right, you don't want to not get paid, all right, see you later."
Yeah, and it's easy for people on the outside to like not put that connection in,
Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, blah, blah," whatever
Yeah.
they're feeling.
There's
is.
a
But,
lot of companies
yeah.
that could do that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of companies in the world that could be like, "Nah,
Why did
We
you
don't-
quit Haro, you dick?
me."
Yeah.
I told you on this last
Didn't see that
podcast.
coming.
We're talking about bike things, and he brought up
I
Haro.
tried to get Dennis's paycheck and they wouldn't let me.
Oh,
It
oh.
was like $69 an hour or something.
I heard that if Dennis finds $100 bill on the ground, it's not worth his time to pick it up.
Shut the fuck up. I'll pick up a penny. But
No, I said on the last one, and I'll say it again. John emailed me at the time. He said they did send me another contract, and I was pretty happy with it. And then I said, if you rehire Colin, I'll ride for any money you give me. And they said we won't do that, and I was like, all right, see ya. So I
Colin
backed
Mackay.
Colin
Yeah.
the whole time.
so
yeah.
cool of you.
Yeah.
So that's a good segue.
He's who got
Let's
you
talk
on,
about-
and
Yeah,
like he's your
got-
boy.
like he was like everything. So, and I was like, I think like he put I think it was like 10 years. I think he told me into Haro. He built the Instagram from scratch. He built like all
Yeah.
that stuff. He
Yeah,
built all
yeah.
that stuff from
he
scratch. from, like-
transitioned Haro into what it is now.
And
for
like the-
sure.
the-
well,
yeah.
actually, he had his own vision of
Yeah.
what Haro is. Now it's something different
Yeah.
because it's been transitioned again.
yeah,
Yeah.
it gets changed every time. Like sort of like the way the US presidents do. Whenever someone fixes something, it gets good. And then it's like that they just reset all the time. And Colin
Yeah.
had it incredible, and we were all so stoked and happy. And the way it was all running, the way the parts are coming out, the way everything was working, and then they were just like, nah. And then I was like, nah. I was like, nah, like I back Colin 100% on anything. So if he left on it, he told me to stay and be like, it's still good money, like still do it. And I was just like, nah, man. I'll just.
He is the sickest team manager, but I knew like he was with Vans too, and getting let go of Haro was just going to make his Vans opportunities better because he's such a badass, so good at what he does. And when he, the Haro thing ended, which sucks. It was bullshit. Like
because at that time we had Colin Tyler, me.
I love what Haro is now, but
we were pushing for a DVD at that time.
It was going great.
We had,
and then one dude just said like, "Nah, we don't. Colin won't move to the West Coast."
Or like, who was that film? Was it Christian?
Christian
Was we were pushing Christian,
man.
and we were all pushing each other, and we were like, "Fuck!" We just finished like a bunch of videos, like Mike Gray's video, my video. Tyler possibly had one or something like that, and we were like, fuck it, like let's do a DVD. And we were pushing for a DVD because what was the birthday that was coming up for Haro? It was a birthday that was 30 years of Haro, I think. It was 30 years, and we were like, if we can get a fucking DVD out before then, it was like a year and a half away at that time, then this would be fucking sick. And then it just went downhill from there. It's like,
it was just because somebody let Colin
the higher ups
go.
are just like,
is that somebody no longer at Haro?
That somebody's no longer at Haro. And everything at Haro is amazing now because it had this huge chapter change. But after Colin, there was a few years where, it was like, fuck, what happened?
Yeah.
But now it's completely the sickest shit ever.
yeah.
But yeah,
you got Cobbs out there, and Cobbs.
that's what sucks, man. And then Jason left because of Colin. I was like, no, dude, like stay. And Tyler, fuck, man. I was like building a new bike, and I remember him just slamming the door. I was like, what was that? They're like, Tyler just quit. I was like, oh God, what's happening? Like, it was gnarly, dude. Like, felt like there was a hole in the ship. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But they patched the hole. Fucking killing it now. Some new people in there, but
nah, you guys look good out there. So
you don't let Colin Mackay go in a BMX brand.
No.
That's never.
Especially
That's never a good move.
When someone's killing their job and doing really well, and all the riders are happy, never get rid of them.
You don't do that.
Whatever they fucking say.
He was the glue. He was the glue to what it was.
Yeah.
And we took the glue out. The glue got ripped out, and it went blah.
Yeah.
It had to fucking get fixed up.
It was good. Like I said, good times.
I wish you were still in Haro.
I kind of want to pry, but I don't.
I wish you were still in Haro, man.
No, just in the glue and the whole thing.
I like Colin, Robbie, and I love it out there. So
change happened.
It's enough being on Vans with you, so I don't know if I can do fucking
Yeah.
Haro anymore. I probably only have one sponsor with you. Here you are wearing my shit, and I'm wearing your shit.
Collab, bro.
Cross marketing.
We're collab humans.
Yeah. Cross marketing.
Each other up.
It makes it authentic, you
Call
know.
it fucking
You fix my door handle. You can park in my driveway.
Yeah,
Just hooking each other up.
I got a toilet in there.
You
so I
leave your
put
bus
shit
in my
the
dad's
dial-
driveway for 6 months. You got to fix the ramps a little bit.
That's
You
right.
know?
I gave you a discount in the ramp, so mates
Yeah,
rates.
you did. You really did. No, you built the sickest ramp ever for damn near nothing.
Yeah, it's
You and Corey Walsh in Japan helped a little bit.
Yeah.
I do want to circle back to that, but I also don't want to lose. When was the first time you met Colin?
Or
did you guys talk about this on the last
first
podcast?
Pro Cup.
If we did, that last podcast was like 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah.
Take a piss real quick.
It was
maybe not 6 years ago.
Colin
but
actually
4 years ago.
I'm from the same area as Colin. Same high school, same football club, like everything.
Really?
Just 15. I think it's 15 years difference.
Okay.
So, but same area, like, and then he actually, I think he were like sort of Instagram friends for like maybe 3 or 4 months. And the very first Pro Cup, the Van Doren invitation, the very first one come up, and Colin couldn't make it. So he gave me his invite and said, hey, this is for you if you want to fly to America and do this contest. It's
Just
pretty
out
big.
of the blue.
Out of the blue,
Yeah.
yeah. And then it went from there. And like, I flew out, I think or someone picked me up from the airport, and yeah, I did it. And then the next year, like, so everything happened. And then the next year, I did it. What is the first year? The first year was only like a couple weeks I was out here for, I think. And then the next year I come out, Colin was in it too, or there. And then that's when I met him. So it was like, I think 2013. And that was the year I got third.
Oh, shit.
Was that year. So it was like, and that's when I got put on Vans and.
That was the HB one, right?
Yeah. And then Vans and Haro was that year. So like everything. Because yeah, the first year I come out was a quick trip and nothing really come of it. And then there was the next year after that I came out, and Colin was like, that's when I met Colin. He picked me up from the airport and like, yeah. So I met him. And
from the...
I actually seen Colin, I'm pretty sure, I'm
grab a few of
almost
them.
90% sure it was. But I used to
No, they're gone.
skateboard, and I was skating with my 2 cousins. That's what we used to do, is skate. and I think I was like 11. I think I was 11 or 12 at the time. And then my cousins, we went actually down to the local dirt jumps, and it was like Colin Mackay, I think Gootler, and like a couple others were riding the dirt jumps.
Oh,
and
shit.
we were skateboarders just in there with our boards,
Yeah.
just like, oh, whoa, this is sick. And then I got home and my cousins were like, we're getting bikes. So they got 2 bullies. And I was like, I just got a brand new Bam Margera deck. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm fucking not doing this. So I think I skated for like another 6 months while they were riding. And I was like, yeah, fuck, I'm not going to try and keep up skateboarding while they're riding. So then I started riding too. I started riding like 12 or 13 or something like that.
From like your perspective, like how much of a legend is Colin in the sense of, because Colin was the first Australian pro
he
to
was.
like
There's
make
crazy
it in the
stories.
US.
Like you almost need to get Clint Miller over here
Yeah.
and like show him or Colin or like from what I understand, Colin went really pro because Clint didn't come back to the US for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you ever hear that story? Like Clint was killing it and Colin was like, Clint was a pro and Colin was in amateur and was like, holy fuck. Like Clint won it. I think Clint won a pro and I'm not too sure if this is correct. Clint won a pro contest and Colin was an amateur or something like that. And then Clint didn't come back the next year and Colin did. And then started like doing really well. But Colin on his...
Was it? I'm probably mixing him up, but he's not. Clint isn't the one that stole the cop car, right?
No, I'm not too sure on that.
Okay, it was somebody else. All right.
But I'm not too sure. No,
There was,
I don't
there was
think so.
yeah, it was. I think it was.
Clint's
maybe
got some funny-
Canadian. Stole it in the sense of like thought it was funny and drove it like 30 feet.
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
just
yeah.
like and then got out and then it was like mayhem and they got
Never could
deported.
come back to America
Never,
again.
they couldn't come
Yeah.
back for like
It was
8
7
years or
years,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
I'm not sure if that was Miller, but yeah, Miller's the man. He's the fucking best person
Yeah,
to get it.
yeah.
He has some good stories and we have good times.
Would love. I mean, he's got to
Dude.
come out here soon. So that,
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
We'll hustle him after this podcast.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Hell yeah.
But yeah, Colin, come out and I think Colin went through, I think it was only a couple of years ago, he went through customs with his visa or his green card and something like that, or his P1 and was like, oh, and the dude was like, oh, says here you're the first professional BMX rider from Australia to enter the US on the computer.
Oh, really?
On the computer when he was come back from Australia.
What a weird note.
Like, I don't know what is that. Yeah, a note or like, yeah, he said, whoa, like really? Like, or like the first like Australian pro. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he said something like that. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, but yeah, it's true. He was like the first. Like him and Miller and I think him, Miller, and someone else were like
Dillard or something probably pretty soon.
I want to say, yeah, Dillsy's definitely up there. I think it would have been, who was the vert rider that you saw that flew an orange bike?
Oh yeah, he did 900s.
Yeah, not Tim
Got
Wood.
it.
Oh, it might have been Tim Wood.
Tim Wood, I think.
Yeah, Tim Wood,
Yeah.
Clint, and Colin, like they were all like pretty around that same time. But Clint and Colin were pretty close together, and they came over. Like
That's
I think
so
Colin
crazy
was
because I
first
think
and then,
I think of Clint as almost being like a generation before Colin in a
No,
sense
yeah.
that you know like that close.
Because
And they
Colin's like
both-
always changed with like
Yeah.
the styles, you know, like his
Yeah.
style's so good. He's like he's changed
Yeah.
like from like you never think he's an old school dude.
both
No.
of them
So new
riding,
school,
both
how
of
he
them
rides
riding
and how
right
he
now
acts
is
and how he-
insane.
Yeah.
Clint,
You
Clint
watch-
too, right?
Dude, Clint is
Clint
so
is incredible.
good.
His ramp, oh my god.
Yeah,
dude.
he puts a lot of work into it, and he loves that like.
yeah.
Yeah, full steel ramp, but you watch him ride and you're like, I think he entered a contest last weekend in Masters and all the boys I know of it because all the boys are starting to get angry at me because I'm about to turn 30 and go to Masters. And then they're putting in a petition back in Oz to go to 35.
It
I was
should.
like, come on. I
It
was like,
should.
nah,
It should. It
Yeah.
should.
I'm only kidding,
Yeah.
but like when I go to
Should be
those
like
pieces, the
45.
master class
Yeah.
is the best. Nyquist, Darden.
If Dennis
like,
can enter the masters class, it's fucked up.
yeah.
make a career just like following these.
He literally, you could see him just go, fucking old people.
we had a nationals down in Melbourne, and the masters class went off.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I
like
could
dudes were
see.
just sending it. Like I'm like, I don't know if it's because like all the dudes in Oz, all the dudes in Oz are really good, so they land everything perfect, and you're like, oh, like that was a 1080. Whoa, like this is crazy. And then the masters going, and it's just loose. You're like, holy fuck, that guy is trying to 7 the box and die. But they went off, and it was like the best show, and everyone's cheering and shit. Like, yeah, I think Miller went in and Dillard. I think Dillard. I don't know if Dillsy did. He might be a judge. But they all go on the master class. Like Catfish won the one in Brussels.
Wow.
The master stuff is sick. Like when I always love watching the feast videos when I see Darden or Nyquist post a clip because I know more than likely they're not meant to be on there, but they get that rebel run every now and then.
Yeah.
So like the Dardens whip across the wall, or
That
like a
was
big
sick.
foof. Like
Yep.
he did the one in Abu Dhabi. He did like something and then manual up and then 180 or like the bar Manny fast plant 180 manual up foof. Like it was like
You
a
lost
crazy
me,
line, and I was like, what the fuck? Why is it Darden riding this shit? Like he's just as crazy as everybody.
So Colin got first pro, got you in
Yeah.
your first contest,
Got me my
had
first,
a part in
got me my
Haro,
sponsor
had a
with
part
Haro,
in,
got me my sponsor with Vans.
yeah,
Got me
still your Vans
everything.
TM.
Yep, still my Vans TM, still everything. So,
Oh yeah. So
like,
shout out to Colin. That's obviously like
all we talk about right now, I don't think the last time I ever messaged him or talked about BMX is all NRL and football. Where literally we have a massive game on tonight and it's on at like maybe 1 a.m. So I got to stay up for it and he's going to wake up at like 5 a.m. to watch it or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's at 2 a.m. So he'll wake up at 5 a.m. to watch it and I'll stay up till 2 a.m. to watch it. Or wake up at 2 a.m. and we'll be like this and texting each other. Did you see that? But like, yeah, we have a great, like, I love going over and seeing his wife and kids. And like, normally we would do the US Open, the surf, and then they used to have the ECSC one, which was almost even more fun because there was less pressure or anything like that. And just like a backyard on the beach, like a backyard setup. And then that was super fun. So I'd always see Colin every year. And then that ended, but still trying to get me and Dennis went over and did a box jump demo for Kel and Vans and sorry, and then we try and get over there as much as we can. Not much happens in Virginia Beach, but we still try and get over there and hang out with him.
hell yeah.
He'll be in Vegas we're doing a Vans trip a few weeks from
Yeah.
now.
Shit.
Vegas.
Finishing up the
The split.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well, one of the last trips, but
I'll be out there to ruin it.
Ruin it.
Jason
Ruin
got
it.
a last
Ruin
minute
the
invite.
ride.
You know what?
this
You know
year,
what a
and we're like,
horror.
he will be
You know what a
perfect for that trip.
You know what a horrible idea is to take Watts on a trip to Vegas.
No, it's a great idea.
That's what- we had a
We did. I've been on a Vans trip with you to
Oh,
Vegas. Yeah.
we lit it up. Did we buy the porn channel in the hotel too?
Yeah. We definitely stayed at a fucking.
No, we got the porn channel for free.
It was a fucking weird hotel.
It was across the road from the Hard Rock.
You're like, is this a swingers hotel right now? Like it was.
Yeah,
like,
it was like $40 a night.
I know when you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was $40 a night, and then we all went out to I think we all went out to the strip club.
Horrible.
And then Larry and Gary stayed in the room, but we ordered the porn channel for him without him knowing, or something like that. She was like, "Oh yeah, it's for free right now." We're like, "Yeah, put it on." We're like, "Put it on," and then we just went out. Me, Cosmin, and fuck, I can't remember. Who
I think
else was
Larry
with us.
did. No,
No,
did
we have a
Larry
great
come?
plan. We're going because me and his birthday are right around the same time. I never celebrate my birthday, but I was like, this will be fun. We're gonna go with Odessa. We're gonna go like a few days early, so we get
Yeah.
Vegas
Yeah.
out of our system,
Okay.
and then try and fucking hit it
And then actually
BMX
ride.
style as hard as we
Yeah,
can.
'cause
So
we
Try
did-
and win enough money to bribe my team manager that I don't have to ride for the next week.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I don't think Jason could not ride.
Nah, not at all. I ride too much sometimes.
We definitely didn't ride the next day in Vegas. We drove
Nah.
home.
I remember we went to that pink ball pool and I was the only one that rode.
No.
I think Gary rode.
No,
actually,
yeah, that
too,
was before. Yeah, I have photos of Larry
The dude
too.
was just like, "You guys are putting marks on the pool," and we're like, "I think Vans paid."
Didn't
like,
they rent it? Yeah,
Yeah, they rented it for
so
like
shut the fuck
$2,000 or
up.
something
Yeah.
like that. And then we were putting tire marks in the pool, and he had to shoot the next day. And I think he charged more because like we had to take our pegs off, of course. And he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he ended up charging Vans more because we put tire marks on it. And then Cosmin just used my clip in the video from it, and I was just like, "Fuck, that was an expensive clip."
Here, we got the illustrated part. Oh, did the TV die?
Actually, just turned off.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the illustrated times were fucking good times too.
I don't know. This is a different laptop, and it seems to be really angry. So we may
It's
not
been
get.
glitching.
Yeah, we may not get any. If it continues to glitch, then we are not fucking.
Yeah,
dealing
this
with
is super early on for Vance and me too. So it was like,
Yeah, I don't have. Hold on, I gotta. Sorry, technical difficulties. Still haven't taken the broken laptop to Apple, by the way. So, what the fuck?
but
You gonna get a guest clip then? How many guest clips are guest clips allowed?
No, so this one's different. So me and Paris, the whole idea was because me and Paris are doing something really cool, like male and female together, and they wanted us. They're like, "What do you guys want to do to promote it?" And I was like, I came up with the idea, and Paris was very down with it. where we go on a few trips that we're super hyped on, and we bring different people on each trip. So there's going to be everyone on the trips. It's going to be this sick mix section, as well as a part from myself and from Paris.
Who's going to be the male?
What?
You said a male and female part.
That's rude, Jason. It's 2023, man. I don't even know what.
I'm just kidding.
You're going to get yourself in trouble.
I just got the whole podcast canceled.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Illustrated.
I was like, where are you going with this? Be careful, buddy.
I'm just kidding.
So I heard that you were like park rat growing up, like three whips.
Still is a fucking park rat.
Yeah.
But like wise park rat. You know, now like he can do those tricks that he doesn't do. Like
He
do
does.
it. Have you ever done a triple whip? That's a good question.
Nah.
No.
Nah.
He can barely
Double
whip straight.
Yeah, I got
That's what's weird. He's a weirdo. He's a freak.
Yeah,
He'll do a
can't do
3
tail
down
whip
to
straight.
look back, and then he won't tail up the box straight.
Nah, I can't
He's
tell.
very
box
quirky.
straight, yeah.
Look at what he just did right there. He's weird.
Yeah. I
I
like
lived
doing
that one.
cool. I like doing things that feel good or like, you know, like cool at the time. Like, so like doubles of things don't feel good. I'd rather do something. If I could do something, I'd rather do one big whip over the box like Dennis or
Yeah.
something. You know, one massive one. I do like double whips though, like because you can do big double whips. Oops.
Nope,
You
7.
you can do big double whips. Like, but when you do three or four, it's just like, you know, like it's always like
Gets a little twitchy.
a little twitchy. But like I do whips like, and like.
He can do everything. But he's very funny with like weird things he can't do.
Well,
There's things that I learned, and I'm like, why the fuck? Like, I learned cannonballs yesterday, and I was like, why the fuck did I do?
And he's like, I
cannonballs?
just learned that. I was like, what? Like, I swear, like that's a trick you would just do because he can do everything.
Is your banger for this video part the wall ride flare thing?
Yeah, yeah.
You said you had never done a wall ride before or something.
Not a war ride flare. No, I'm not very good with war rides.
I think
at the time.
I think at the time you were like, I've never done like a real wall ride or something.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Would have been pretty cool. Like, this was super early on. There's a pink ball, pink ball clip.
Look at all those fucking marks. You guys destroyed it.
Yeah, you had to shoot the next day, and I was like, ready to shit on the coping.
That ball's cool, but nobody should pay. Nobody should fucking pay to ride that thing.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
There's
Because I was
nothing-
like, fuck, we're going to this pool. It's going to be sick. Like, and then I went there, and I was like, this...
Yeah,
nah.
yeah.
You could
there's
go
nothing-
find a pool.
There's
and-
nothing nuts.
You could
yeah.
go find a pool in La Mesa that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's not anything special.
But
And it's funny too because I've been there on it was like a Porsche shoot. Like they pay them so fat.
yeah.
And it
Oh,
was
they
like,
would have paid us so much.
so
Like,
much, and it was me and some skaters, and the same guy probably came out and he was like,
Yeah.
"Hey man, like you're marking up the pool."
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude, like look at what's happening at your hotel. These motherfuckers just paid you so much money."
He said it to you too?
Yeah, but all the
Yeah.
skaters were like,
Yeah, the
"Dude,
marks- the
like
marks on
who
the pool,
cares?"
like-
Like everyone came at him like, "Are
Yeah.
you serious, dude?"
I've definitely seen some non BMX
Same.
shoot in there too. I've like definitely. I mean, I know there's like a Weezer shoot there too.
There's tons
but
of
like, yeah,
shoots. This
so
was
it's
They,
super
they
weird.
use it.
yeah.
It's in
They use it all
movies.
the
It's
time.
like in everything. Film clips, video clip, like music
Yeah.
clips.
But that's
like,
what everyone was saying to him, like, "Dude, like this guy can ride his bike in here." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't wanna-
Porsche. It's a Porsche. Like
Yeah.
it was a Porsche party.
We're
that
gonna
they-
we're gonna launch this fucking 911 into the bowl
Yeah,
here in 5
I was
minutes.
like, you know how much money they just paid you?
I
Like,
would
paint
too.
this shit. Instead. Paint this shit.
I mean, like, is this reverse? Straight to the pool. Oh, sorry, man. Did that mark it? I'm sorry about that. Yeah, the illustrated times were like right at the start for me too. It was like real early horror days.
I remember. I think the first time I saw you was the one of the Vans Pro Cups on the beach, like before when it was just Van Doren or something, like before it was Pro Cup. And I was like, God damn, this guy's sick.
The one where I try to steal the guitar at.
Maybe it was one of the first ones ever.
I got third, but the year before, the first year I went, everyone got a guitar, first, second, and third. And the second year I got third. And Steve Van Doren went to come shake my hand. I took the guitar. I started playing it. And I was like, fuck, this is sick. I got a guitar. This is fucking awesome. And then as he's announcing second, Steve comes up to me and goes, "Oi, man. Only first gets to the guitar this year." And I was like, fuck. And I handed it back and Colin just in the camera laughing. He goes, "Don't worry, I got the photo of you guitar anyway." I was like, fuck. I think Chase won that year too. It was Chase, Gary, and then me. And I was just like, fucking hell, this sucks. Like,
Is that pole still there?
yeah, it is.
Fuck.
Cosman used to have the contact for it, and then something gnarly. wouldn't say something gnarly happened, but something happened where someone was an asshole there, because the owners of the land didn't care. They're like, you can come concrete
fine,
whatever you want here.
Yeah, it's in like,
they're like
not Temecula, El Centro.
El Centro.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere.
But it's actually a pretty good pool. Like that little like love
that
seats,
quarter, yeah.
like pretty good. That was
you
sketchy
just
as hell
did
that day.
Somebody did something really crazy there recently.
Beachy did the curve
Beachy,
all right,
yeah.
He blew his knee out on it too.
Really?
Yeah.
Before he pulled it?
That one he crashed on, I think he blew his knee out and then did it, and then when he went to Swamp Fest, he made it worse. 'cause he went to
Banger in
Swamp
the
Fest
Fast
that
and
year.
Loose video. Fast and Loose Friend
Sorry,
section, like one of the
I
last
don't know
Fast and
why
Loose videos.
we're not having like good
It was in the
internet
Fast and Loose
today.
video.
I think it was like a banger at the Friend section.
Yeah, it was. But Beachy's the man too. He's great.
Is he still out there? Like I feel
Yeah,
like he
still-
was like
He
Swamp
builds-
Fest and then Battle of Hastings and then I would see obviously he had like the loop thing or something that one, you know, like a bunch of
was
wild
great. That
shit
thing's
for a
crazy.
while and then
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything like
He
literally
just builds
after
spiral
COVID.
staircases in Sydney, so
He's just building spots for himself eventually.
no spirals. He builds spiral staircases,
know,
like
but,
real
like,
fancy ones.
yeah.
Like, well, pretty much, building
Yeah.
spots for himself.
Because he
Nah,
did the
does well.
tornado
His-
thing,
Yeah,
right?
his company does well. He hires a bunch of riders. Like, it's like me as well. Like, help out as many riders as I can, as well. With like, people want to like. What I say to W is like, you just come to work any day you want.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go and ride one day and you don't like, and I say it to everyone that works for me, I'm probably one of the few bosses in the world that would be like, hey man, if you get hurt riding the session before you come to work, just don't come to work. It doesn't matter. Like, we'll always get it done. Like, the way I quote and the way I do my jobs is just really chilled in a way. And probably more so the people that employ me that are like, some of them are really pressure.
The Olympic one you don't fuck around with probably.
Nah,
Yeah.
well, not really, but I'll just put in the extra work if someone doesn't rock up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think it was 6 weeks we built that course with like a team of 10, and 8 of them hadn't built a skate park before. So it was like...
Does like Logan credit the park for having a
No, he doesn't.
role?
I told him I want half that medal still. I
Just
said,
cut it in
I
half.
gotta bring the grinder over one day. And just
But is it
like-
like, did it help him? Like, or no?
No,
Or
he
was it-
would have won no matter what, I reckon.
Yeah, probably.
Probably, I don't know. He still didn't even have to do his crazy, like, I don't know.
The double flare.
Like, I see it helping Declan because Declan's lines were really good.
Yeah,
Like,
UK
his
did
line
it as
choice
well.
were
Yeah.
really good, where Logan's feels like he could have done that line. He would have figured that line or done that line pretty early on.
One practice.
Where Declan's was really complex with the gaps to the tight turns,
Mm-hmm.
and you could only practice those lines if you had the course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you look at a map on a contest, or if any pro rider's ever done, like, oh, I want to do this and this and this, and then you're like, I can't do any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like,
yeah.
oh, like this would be sick, and this will line up to this.
The
and you get
rendering's
there and you're
never the
like,
same.
Yeah.
Oh no, like this chord is super steep, and then this one's like this, and then
It's almost
like,
better to not look at that thing.
I asked Natalia and Logan, I was like, how close did I get the course? They're like, you're fucking pretty bang on. Like they were like, you're pretty perfect. Like they said, the gap to wall that we're doing mine was a bit bigger, or like a bit short, like a bit bigger, and then my box is a bit steeper. But he said everything else is fucking pretty bang on. Like, and then the big tombstones in the back were like pretty steep. But he said other than that, like, you were fucking perfect. So
When you get that design, do they have the radiuses and stuff or no?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just
Just a
Yes.
rendering.
Wow.
just a rendering.
Okay.
They won't give you the rate. They don't. No one knows the radiuses of the Olympic courses, even though there's one in the Gold Coast. I could trace it, but they're probably not the best transitions. So I just put ones that I like and that feel better for everybody else.
I mean, that's kind of crazy because of like, I don't know, like gymnastics or a fucking ice hockey rink or something. You know what you're going to get. You know what the horse is or whatever, like the pommel horse
Yeah, you
and
know, the
shit.
tights
Like,
and stuff
why
like
don't
that.
they just say
yeah,
everything?
but BMX race never done it. They don't hand
Yeah.
out. They give you the BMX race does the same thing, and I learned that from Chris and someone else. They're like, they would make the track. Some countries would make the track before the Olympics, so
Yeah.
people could practice. They wouldn't give you the specs of it or anything else like that, but they'll do the exact track.
Yeah.
That's
And
so
that
much
would have-
pressure.
They would have people
Yeah.
that would build it. And
That
the
gives
thing
me
is,
like butterflies thinking about that.
like,
Right.
there's already
the,
talks. There's
pressure
already
of
talks
that,
about
like,
2024
what?
course.
Yeah.
Like they're like, well, if we get the we're
They're gonna
probably
do it in my backyard.
They're going to,
Paris, yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, they're doing it in Paris.
yeah. Sorry, mate.
Oh, they're gonna do it in San Diego Olympics.
No, there's talks about the next course, and like, the thing is like the quicker I build it, the more practice the dudes get on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you only get it a couple, maybe 2 or 3 months before the actual comes out. But I think I was talking to someone from Feast, and they were actually pretty upset about people being able to do that. and they were trying to stop it, like as
Oh,
a
really?
rule.
Fuck
But you
that.
can't build the course, and it was like,
Nah.
I mean,
can't
I
really
get it.
stop it. Like,
I mean, it's like
I get it
it's
too,
like the. I mean, I don't know anything about F1, but I watched that Netflix series, and it's
Yeah.
like they put a cap that brands can spend on racing. You know, and it
Yeah.
makes it and it
Because
makes
so much money
because they're
going into it.
Mercedes versus fucking Alpine. It's like
Yeah.
it's a completely different ball game. So
Yeah.
when you know, it just like levels the playing field. You know,
it does level it, but
Yeah,
people travel like.
but at the same
I don't
time,
know.
like I don't know, it's sick. I don't know.
Most
It's
of
all-
those, because I just built
crazy.
I just
Yeah.
redesigned and rebuilt the Australian fees course. So I understand exactly how those courses go together and how they work. And there's 2 different transitions in the whole course. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
the whole course, there's
Yeah.
2 different types of transitions for lips and 2 different down ramps. So when they send it to, because I understand the mechanics of it all. So when they send it to a factory, they get everything bent in 2
Yeah, because
in
they're all
4
metal-
different
metal
transitions.
radiuses,
Yeah. And they get it all
radiuses.
welded up. So like the 10-foot quarters are one transition that get cut down. So you can take the bottom of the 10-foot off, and that's a 6-foot quarter. And then it's just a little piece that goes on top. And then you can take that steep piece off and you can put the bank on it. Like you can just change everything over.
So it's like modular, like
It's
Legos
super,
or something.
super modular. Yeah. Really, really well designed and done. So, but that's why sometimes the transitions sometimes suck, because they're not going to go out of their way to make different transitions, but they can just do that, and then they can stack all the tramps on top of one another because they're all the same. So it's just like really, really smartly done and easily, like really easy on their behalf. But when we come to ride it, sometimes the step up's too steep, or like, and you're like, can you change it? It's like, no, like this comes out of a factory like 2 years ago. Like we're not changing it. Like
It's so crazy how he's like in those worlds, you know, like it's like in both worlds, but then
Yeah.
like you're going like, oh, I'm gonna go build the Olympic course, and then I'm peacing out, and I'm gonna go fucking
Yeah.
be in a van and
I'm
do a
gonna
fast
go,
and loose trip.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
and-
ride bowls
Yeah.
for 3 months.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I love riding those feast courses. They're massive, which is sick. Just big ramps, like big ramps that you're jumping and you're going as fast as you can at. Like,
It's so
I
fun.
don't have the best tricks. in
That's
the
why
world,
I
but
hope you.
fucking
I hope
love
we
it.
can get that Olympic course refurbed at
Yeah.
Claremont
Yeah,
for
we're
Gary.
trying.
That would be so
So,
sick.
Just working
Dreams, fingers crossed, and dreams, because that would be good. Because you either have to move to Daniel Dare's spot to be like an Olympic training person
Yeah,
in
like
America,
it's the same as like people.
or
like, it's a
where
bit
else?
unfair.
Woodward East.
They're like a
There's
bit
nowhere
unfair. I'm
else.
like, yeah, but the same thing with Oz. Everything's on the Gold Coast. Luckily, the Gold Coast is beautiful, and it's beautiful all year round.
San Diego's beautiful all year round. Put that shit at Claremont, man.
Yeah, I know, but they're gonna go dirt.
some
It's
little-
all set up there, and it's got an indoor and all that
I know.
sort of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Because there's nothing right now. But if
Yeah.
that course was in San Diego, it would breed these
Yeah.
new little
Like you
dudes
put that
and
there, you
women
spend a
that-
bit of money on like an outdoor resi, and you put that there, and then you'd get this young generation going nuts. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
like
100%.
there's like
The weather's
Oz
good, the
cycling-
talent's here.
Yeah.
Like that's
a
like
good friend of mine is the I can't remember his job title, but he's a development squad, so he's for the younger riders. So, and then I'm one of his best mates, so I talk with him and I build stuff to like help the younger riders too. So like I'll change the courses to help the older riders get bigger gaps that will be on the Olympic courses or the feast courses, and like I could change if they're without making it look pretty, with it bolting everything down. Like I can change one of those courses in 4 days. So if Oz Cycling really want and they really want to start putting the money into it, like if Logan isn't as good as he was and they
Yeah.
want to keep doing better, I could change the course almost to every feast before the feast is on.
Yeah.
And they could ride the same course if we had all the parts, like every time, and just boom, like that. Send a team in, boom, change it, bring back.
Crazy.
And then change it, and then change it, and then like change. Like the last design I did because we had 4 designs when they bought that course, and they're all shit. So I designed the new one without changing a couple of aspects because they were too big and out of the budget. But I designed it with like good gaps and like a few better lines, and everybody's loving it. They're like, oh yeah.
That's
Because Wade messaged me and was like, could you do something about this? Because they're all arguing which course design to choose. And then I was like, I could do way better. Got all the pieces from the course, redesigned it like with the pieces. So it was super hard because I'd be, oh, this is sick and this sick. And then we don't have enough pieces. So
Yeah.
take it all back. So like got something that was pretty fun, pretty good, like bit flowier, like to where I think I can and a few others can get around this course without pedaling. Like
Yeah. So
you only want to pedal to get to blast more. Like
yeah.
you shouldn't be pedaling on those courses to help you get out. Like, yeah, you should be going to go higher. Like, and that's what those courses are good for because they're so big.
I feel like you're taking
like,
the Van Doren Invitational mentality to that.
Yeah.
You know. Like,
or you could take any of those riders and they'll fucking destroy anything. Like, they're so good. They're so good at what they do there. It's different than what I do and all that, but they're so good at what they do. If you give them a week on like for instance, that Japan, there it is. That Japan bowl thing, they're inviting all like the feast riders and all the Olympic riders, but still trying to make it a bowl. It's like
what the X Games?
Yeah, the X
Oh,
Games.
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
what are you
yeah.
like? What are you doing?
I mean, that was insane last year.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, you were.
Isn't it the same
I mean,
this
you
year?
guys know that. I mean, I don't know.
What?
I mean,
It was the same same style.
I got a
course.
rendering.
you
Yeah.
do. Let's build
Like-
it. Let's build it.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, can we do that in 4 days?
I
I'm
got
gonna spend all my money to make the X Games Japan course in my backyard to do shitty.
Yeah,
Well, so
go there and get last.
last year they didn't finish the course. Like if you look at the qualifying footage and then you look at the finals footage, you can the course is a different color because the literally the cement had not finished curing during qualifying. And
but it's like they take these best some of the best ramp riders in the world and try and put them on a concrete round hip bowl.
yeah
With a shit box jump.
yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
and then those dudes go.
That was a
there-
skate box jump. Is
Yeah.
what that was. Yeah.
One of the X Games dudes called me and asked about that, and I was like, you got to show people the course before you invite anyone.
Yeah.
You know, like don't
Well, it's
invite
not even
people
that.
to
It's
like
just
some
like
content.
if you want those riders, like, and they're like, oh, we don't want to look like feasts. I'm like, that's what like those dudes.
Yeah, because I just asked you, I was
those
like, do you
dudes
get invited
excel.
to Japan X Games? And because I've seen the course, and I'm like, you would fucking kill it, like
Yeah,
kill
he would.
it,
Yeah, he
kill
would.
it.
Yeah.
It's like a Pro Cup course.
Yeah.
It's literally like a sick. It kind of looks like the one that they did in Manly. It's
Oh,
kinda
yeah,
that style
yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit, like
Yeah.
something
Austin.
like that.
Well, last year I don't know.
Nah, that one was the best. It's
the
not like
the
that.
course last year was the dudes only got there was 2 groups and they got 20 minutes of practice each, like the group maybe 30.
Yeah, I
and
heard
so
about that,
and it
yeah.
was stressful for those dudes, and so it was they imagine riding X Games qualifying and you rode the course 3 times, so basically
Not
the
even
dudes got to
not
drop
just
in.
a course. So like when those dudes ride a course, like I understand like now after building it, spend a bit of time around it. It's like Logan could probably do a run, first run.
Oh, 100%.
First run dropping in because all the transitions are the same.
Yeah.
But you take them over to an X Games course to a round concrete bowl with steep pool coping on their deep end, and like those dudes don't go ride that shit. They're fucking
with
like
literally a 15-foot drop on the other side with no railing.
Yeah,
It was
like those
amazing.
dudes don't want to like.
That's crazy.
Like those dudes don't want to ride that shit for a reason, like
Yeah.
because they're incredible at what they do.
Yeah.
But you're gonna make them go out all the way to Japan, fucking probably jet lagged to ride it. What bowl riders ride all the time.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
no wonder why some of them like don't do well and get super frustrated.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, well, like fucking Japan was right there. They had a feast course, and they have a feast course there.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, feast, can we rent this off you? We're gonna fucking put X Games here.
Yeah.
Boom, build the same ramps, and you'll have the most incredible contest ever.
Or like what I told the guy, invite the right people. Like,
or
yeah.
invite the right people.
I'm gonna
invite
s-
the right people to this course.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that last year was a bit of a perfect storm because there was some sort of conflict, like a baseball game or something, and so they had delays, so they couldn't finish the course.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be finished the
There's
day
always stuff
before,
behind the lines that
and
you
it's
don't
like,
like.
yeah, and I think it was a bit of a perfect storm.
But it's
and-
the whole design of the course.
yeah,
Like,
the
it
whole
was
design,
still
the whole
shit.
design in itself was a little bit off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm being
I mean, this
nice
one's
by
shit,
saying
too.
that. So.
Even like the feast course, even the
fucking
feast course, even the
I'm
feast
looking
course.
at it like Jesus.
yeah, check your email tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dennis, your
don't
invite
care.
is resended.
Good. Makes my
Even
decision
the-
way
like,
easier.
yeah.
Just don't invite me.
Even the feast course is like, I heard from like someone that's worked at feast for like 20 years. I said, what the fuck's wrong with the courses? What happened? Like, what happened to your courses?
Fees?
Yeah. And he goes,
I thought the fees course are kind of sick.
well, they started to get really plain and simple.
Yeah,
really
it's
back
like
and
it's a
forth.
vanilla. It's the same. You can expect.
And I was like,
it.
who?
Yeah.
I was like, who?
Yeah,
does-
they used to
Yeah.
definitely be more like hitching posts. And
Yeah.
yeah. I was like,
wild,
who
weird
designs the
stuff.
courses? He goes,
But they still
I was
have like shit though that looks kind of unique.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, they're still putting like things you can over ice. and
I asked him and I was like, who designs the courses? Because like, I'd love to get in there and design them.
that would be.
And he goes, who designs the course? And he
sick.
goes, oh, no one. I was like, a BMX rider? He goes, no. I was like,
Who?
Skateboarder, rollerblader? He goes, nah, just an office guy. Just puts
What?
puts the pieces together and sends it out. He said, whatever looks better for a crowd or a video. Like he just said, that's all it is now. Just an office guy.
Okay, who's in charge of that? Do you know the person?
I'm trying. Trust me,
Dude.
I'm trying to get
Like
in
Jason,
there and be like,
that's why I say you're
like,
the best ramp builder because you build the funnest stuff.
Yeah, I built I changed the Olympic one to be way more fun than most of them. And I was like, who builds the courses? And he goes, I
Just
don't
like
know.
envisioning a business where it's like, who does your taxes? And you're like, and the guy in the back is like mopping. He's like,
Me.
I do that too.
Honestly, yeah. He goes, I was like, who designs the courses? And he
Seriously,
goes,
that's what's a little bit wrong right now with BMX.
yeah, it's super
like,
frustrating because
the right people
I
aren't
understand
doing
where
the right
that business
things.
person's coming from because he wants the simplest course out there that looks better for a crowd because they want to make more money from a crowd or I don't know. Like they
want vantage points.
They want vantage
Yeah,
points. That's
yeah.
why they just simplify it, just
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Like if you watch the
you can still make a dope course with vantage
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That ain't
like
hard.
Montpellier 2019, the one we went to, 2018 I think, where the big curve wall, but you jumped over the curve wall down. Like shit, crazy shit like that. Like imagine an old Jew tour course.
I feel like
that was on the
Montpellier is
beach.
always good though because
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
dudes, the French dudes,
Yeah,
have
that's
that
like
course.
the-
That's
that's
so
what
cool.
pride.
They
Yeah.
build that one.
Yeah.
Those guys probably designed.
Could you
that.
imagine an old Jew tour course with a 15
What'd you
foot
say?
step down?
Say it again.
A Jew tour?
You're saying it funny,
Jew
right?
tour?
Yeah, it's from the other side of the world.
Yeah,
man.
Do
from
tour.
down under.
Different
The
words,
Jew
man.
tour.
There you go.
Yeah, a Jew tour course. Like,
First that male joke, and then
yeah. Or like someone posted those clips of Gary on like the X Games.
oh yeah, that was me. Yeah,
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
But with the dudes, like, if you're going to build a concrete bulb, do that.
Yeah.
Like, where it's just like
fucking bizarre.
bizarre to where they're
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, like someone's going to do something crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
put fucking Morgan Wade back in.
You know what?
Like,
Jew
I
tour
think,
course are the
you know,
best.
I don't know about X Games Japan because that's a sub licensing, and I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
don't know.
I've been to X Games China, and I've been to X Games Japan, and I've been to X Games somewhere else, and it's like those things are always a little. They're like it's X Games, but it's like
Yeah.
you know, it's like kind of like bizarro X Games.
Even the one in Australia was
I'm
kinda,
excited
like,
for
weird.
X Games summer this year.
Yeah.
I've heard a little bit more about it. I don't know if I want to
Say it.
I've been sworn to secrecy on one thing that I
Okay.
cannot say, and then the other thing is that I heard
Say it, man.
I
It's
heard
just a
that
podcast.
it's
No
not
one's
in San Diego, but it's going to be in like Ventura area. But so that's good because it's not fucking crazy
You're
expensive
not
downtown
supposed to
LA.
say that, Fudger.
What's that?
You're not supposed to say that.
Am I not?
But it's out there.
Fuck it.
The Unclicked Podcast. You want to know where X Games
I mean,
is going to be at?
yeah. So, but I
building it.
But
No.
but to
Is that
me,
the other secret?
no. Oh yeah, that would be amazing. But to me, that means that they're like that. It was about the location and like that they want it. It
Yeah.
serves
No, so-
what they're
Well, I
going
think-
to
I
do.
think
and I
Those
think
X
that's
Games dudes
cool
are
because-
really trying to
I
make
think
it
Pat's
sick.
Yards
Yeah.
paved the way for that.
Yeah.
Because they've seen how much money they can save on a big venue.
Yeah.
And big expenses.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, we could just put this.
We don't need to be in
somewhere
fucking
sick.
downtown.
No,
Yeah.
we could put this somewhere sick with a smaller crowd that's more dedicated and spend more money when they're there and live stream it and people pay for that.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah. So
like, Pat's Yard is a perfect example. Like,
yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Do you know the other news? I think I'm
Maybe.
The only one. I think I'm the only one. But
I've already won. That's the
yeah,
other news.
yeah. Universal ramps.
Jason's getting invited and building the course. This motherfucker just made a lot of money.
Nah.
You're
I would
all-
love to take over, like, not take over, but at least just all I want to do is help them.
Me too. That's like with all these
Yeah.
events.
Here.
That's why, like, when I hear like the
I'll-
fucking courses are being
Like the one
made
in,
by
like-
the
I'll,
reception.
I'll type it and you guys can
Yeah.
look. You look at the TV.
Oh yeah.
All right, you know that one? All right.
Wait, can the viewers see that?
No.
I knew that. That's great.
But,
and there might be the little off contest too.
Oh, really?
It talks about.
All right, cool. Yeah.
So they're dope.
There's
There's
a cool
a
thing.
dude,
And
is
like,
it your shitty YouTube channel?
dude, that hurt.
I just kidding.
Dude, that hurt. Me and Blake try our hardest to make it not shitty, and then you say it's shitty. What's up with that? What's up with that? He was watching one of the episodes when I got him out of his bus earlier.
wow.
He loves it.
Wow.
I was ready to hate on. I was just building up for this podcast.
What's your
No,
least
dude,
What's your
dude.
least favorite part of it?
You, nah.
The whole thing.
Nah. It's like you keep hurting your friends all the time.
Hey. I don't.
Nah,
hurt
he was not
anyone.
responsible
I
for
wasn't.
that. Yeah.
I would never push anyone into doing things
No.
Nah, I'm
that I
just
would
kidding,
think that
I'm
they're going to
kidding.
get hurt. That's the last thing I want to see.
Nah.
He just makes everybody think that they can do the shit that he does.
You
You're
got
like,
it. You got it.
yeah.
No, but I don't tell people they got it unless I think they got
Yeah,
it. And
yeah,
I
that was
usually
fine.
kind of know with people's writing.
That's why I tell Dennis he's got it with his YouTube channel. You got it, man.
It's going to be big one day.
Mr. Beast big.
Yes.
You get that silver thing.
What silver thing?
That thing that's on the wall. I put up.
Oh, he ain't never getting
wow,
that.
that's cool. One day.
If I
One
get
day.
a brown one with a shoot
day.
on top of it. No, I'm just kidding. Most unsubscribed people in a week.
See that silver thing, Jason? You're never going to get one of those.
Yeah, I lost my chance. I'm done today.
Sorry, buddy.
He's pointing to an
I
orca.
know where a few of them are, so I could get one.
Yeah,
I could easily
yeah,
get one, and
yeah.
a big cardboard
You and your
cutout.
crew have one.
Yeah, that's true.
That hurt it. You see it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to really hurt
Nah,
you.
that's
Damn.
all right.
Tit for tat.
Yeah.
Corey stole it from me. No, I'm kidding.
If you- that's a good point though. If you do want,
can
if
still
you
wear
if you
win an
want
Orca.
another one, if you
Fucking
want
Ramp
another
Rider
one
of the
with the
year,
plaque,
man.
if
How's
you
he not won
Nah,
that?
that's all right.
if you want another one with the plaque, I can make you one.
We,
So-
no,
didn't really
we
win
already,
it.
we already
You can
cut
have
the
a-
other one into 5 ways. We haven't
Oh,
told
shit,
anyone
yeah.
yet. No, we haven't. Just this slither of an Aura cup. I've got quarter of a one. No. 1/5 of one. No.
Oh yeah.
But if someone can, the way I see it is someone can actually, like, I don't know, someone can go in and be actually listened to help with the course designs. Because I built that Adelaide course that everybody went down to, and a super simple course, but with my favorite transitions that I've, like, slowly perfected over 8 years of building ramps. Like, I changed them a little bit to make them to more, like, popular, like, way better. And we built that Adelaide course for that Clipsal that everyone came out to, and it fucking went off. And they were like, this is the best course I've ever ridden. And it was only 30 by 20s, which is not too short, so it wasn't big.
Yeah.
But they were like, I think like there was probably 7 or 8 of them, so it was the best course I've ever ridden all year. And it was a quarter of the size of the feast courses. And that was just a quarter of it. Like, and they were like, every transition was perfect, and everything that we could have done, you could do on this tiny ramp.
That's what I'm saying. You could like compact it. So
you could
much
compact
more.
it. Like, I built that Adelaide course.
Like my ramp, if it was a little bigger and we had more room to
Yeah.
finish the one section, like there's
Yeah.
the same
Oh, yeah.
amount of options. You just don't have to pedal and
Yeah, that's it.
Like you
Yeah.
can go as fast as you
Yeah,
want.
like Logan
not
and
to
Brandon say,
pedal.
like the hardest contest they've ever ridden is Ramp Fest, and I've like changed and built that place. And they're like, I was like, why? Is that because like even though the feast courses you like do crazy tricky pedal and like there's a lot of fitness, there's a big amount of fitness about it.
Yeah.
But he says when I'm at Ramp Fest, I have to do big trick, pump, big trick, pump,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
trick, pump, big trick.
That's the thing I noticed
and
when we
he
went
said
to
they're
France.
so hard.
Yeah.
He said it's so hard to like, and you have to land good.
Yeah.
But you can still, if you land shitty on feast, you know about it at the end because you're fucking so pumped. And
Yeah,
by the
but
end-
that's the thing at fees. I remember that like it's just like land, pedal. Like there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
pump. It's just like land,
Logan
pedal,
and Brandon are like,
land,
yeah, but when
pedal,
you're at
land,
Ramp Fest,
pedal.
it's like if you fuck up one thing, you know it's like, oh fuck, like
a
this
wrap.
is like this is it. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know, you go to 1080, no pedal pump, just straight into a fucking 5 flare pump, like
That's sick though.
yeah. But it's good. It's like there. Like so, I made this new feast course, and I was sort of like that as much as I could, just fucking real compact lines where you could go in so fast, use pump. And then fucking blast and pump and blast, and then if you want more speed, you could give one crank. Like,
But it's not a
you
real.
don't-
It's not a real feast course. Practice feast course.
Yeah, but they'll still have a World Cup on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
So,
okay.
Like, yeah, because it's still a Hurricane course. So
okay.
Wow.
Hurricane have a deal, and not many people know
I feel like go ahead.
that Hurricane have a deal with the Olympics. You cannot have a World Cup on a non-Hurricane course. So they have a contract with
And
the
Hurricane
Olympics.
is feast for the people that don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why people are like, oh, why can't we have a World Cup here or blah, blah, blah and all that? Because they're very smart and they have a deal with the Olympics that you have to have a Hurricane-built course.
And that's like
Hurricane
probably UCI is what you mean.
UCI,
Yeah,
sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have it on one of their courses, which is very smart.
Yeah.
So you can't go build a course and be like, you have to have one here because it has to be one of their courses. But-
That world is very confusing.
Yeah.
And
There's
it-
a lot of that,
and
which
it-
is
yeah,
so
it-
funny.
because
The
it-
goddamn
and-
the
Yeah.
biggest piece of shit I know
Yeah.
knows more about the Olympics.
I know when that I know when
Anybody.
their deal's up too, and that's what I'm
yeah.
pushing for.
You got
So
a,
crazy.
you got a, you got a,
You know
Google, you got a
that.
Google reminder set.
it's a long way away, but it's a good goal to have.
You know,
to be
so
like, you know what?
You're
if
a
I could
superhuman.
take it,
The amount of shit that's in your brain.
I-
Riding, building ramps, it's just like he's insane.
I think the most important thing for BMX is and one day this will be me as well. So I'm not even talking shit, but like the old guard mentality. You know, like there was a thing with the X Games judges a while back, and there's dudes that used to know what they were talking about and used to know what was good and used to have their best intentions of what BMX was. But then they get tired and then they get a little out of touch, and then they're just kind of riding the wave.
Well, things evolve.
They need to step out of the way and let somebody progress things. If they're not, if
you're not trying to make things better.
Joe Schmo, the guy that does that cleans the desks and unclogs the toilets, is designing the feast ramps because he's just moving around the pieces on a CAD drawing. It's not the best thing ever, and we don't know. And just because I don't get an angry email, I don't know if that's like.
Well, like I said, I asked the question because I was frustrated. I was like, who the fuck designs these courses? Like these dudes want to do more,
and I'm sure
they don't want to like these dudes want to do like there's.
And you want to involve more people.
Yeah.
There's 7 dudes out there that can double flare.
Yeah.
On guard like that. And I'm good friends with most of them. And I was like, what's going on? They're like, well, we just...
Sick brag.
Well, they've never gotten to a course where they could do it. Like they've never... Like they have these quarters and these setups at home where they can do these incredible tricks. And then they go to a feast and they're like,
you were designing these courses, you know what... That's like, you know what... is perfect for people to do the biggest tricks on this, and then you can make a nice course that you barely even need to pedal.
Yeah.
You are the guy.
Well, it's just the quarter.
Like how Wessel was the guy to make the X Games courses at that time.
I almost
so
made
Jason is
like
the Wessel of our time.
Of all people, actually, I talked to Bart DeJean in Australia.
Lifelong BMXer, he's still passionate as far as I.
And he does a great job with everything.
He put it perfectly. And I was like, because I was like, what's up with the courses and like all that sort of stuff. And I was just asking, and he goes, and then he was talking to me. I think he started actually. He was like, oh, good work with all the court, like what you've been doing and stuff like that. And I was like, I think I sort of told him what I knew. And he was like, yeah, well, you got to understand. Like, I was like, what's up? And then he goes, you got to understand, like, as the riders progress, the parks should progress.
Yeah.
He said, because I was like, oh, I'd be sick if everyone was back on a Jutor ramp. And he goes, nah. Because those ramps were built for those riders back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He said they were like even though like I've never been to one, but he was like
they were way crazier than those fees courses.
They were crazier, but
way
lower.
Crazier.
I heard.
No fucking way.
Do you reckon? Like,
no, they were more compact,
like 5.5 foot. Yeah,
hell no, there was no 5.5 foot anything.
Yeah,
shit was huge.
Well, he was like you gotta understand like these as the riders progress, the ramps need to progress.
Yeah, but I feel like they're like
slowly starting to like.
But they're like bigger and more blobby and like bleh.
Yeah,
like, where like the Dutour was like you could have like a billion options.
Like,
there was like a billion things to do because it was compact. DMC designed those. He did a great job.
That's what I mean. I was like, yeah, the Jutor ramps are incredible.
I feel like that analogy, like the progression of feast ramps, has been like, we'll make the box jump bigger and taller.
Yeah,
but it's more simple and less creative and less.
Where Dutour is like, okay, here's your gnarly step down into this, or you hip this way.
Yeah,
over
Wessel
here.
was incredible at designing stuff.
Yeah, still is.
Like those, still is.
Wessel's
like,
X Games courses.
His X Games, his X Games,
I
anything that Wessel did.
I don't think he ever did Dutour.
Yeah. It was all Dennis.
DMC?
Yeah.
Damn,
He murdered it.
Yeah.
5 courses a year for like
this is gonna be crazy. I'm gonna hit this.
And they were modular too.
And he rode all of them.
Yeah.
I always remember him out in practice cruising them. I don't know if he rode all of them, but he really
like Dutour is all, like some of the step downs were like 15 foot.
There was gnarly
big
step
downs.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
You put that on a feast course.
I've rode feast courses, a bunch of them, and I've rode Dutour courses, and Dutour courses were way doper.
Yeah.
Say that all day. I'll back that shit. They were.
Like, yes, how much, like, I mean, everyone's like the way I see it is like feasts and like the old Jutour courses, like
with such a smaller footprint,
the tricks can't get much further on the size it is unless you start going to a 7 foot lip and 9 foot down ramp box and more speed and bigger quarters. You can keep going like this with the feast courses and bigger tricks, or you can just start making shit way cooler and crazier and the same tricks they're doing now but more complex lines.
Dude, they had curve wall rides where you had to jump in and jump out and jump over bowls. Like, dude, it was so
curve
crazy.
Curve wall rides, big step downs, big step ups. Like
imagine like
pull
a
outs,
hit,
push throughs.
Pull
like,
outs,
there was
push
everything.
Everything.
Both ways. Dutour
all those
courses.
dudes can do that.
It sucks because Dutour is very hard to find online too. Like, you can pull some stuff up, but there's so many of those courses that are
there was some big gaps developed. Curve wall rides or curve wall ride 2 gap. Like, all you'd have to do is do a massive curve wall ride to alley-oop 270 out. And it's fucking huge. Like instead of going like, fuck, I got to do
DMC
a fucking
killed it
quint whip on this.
Yes.
Just to beat this other person that did a quad whip on this.
Yeah.
And that's why those
Like-
courses were so sick too. They were like,
Quint whip.
there was those whatever you're talking about, but then up top was like, you could drop off that like 4 different directions, and it was just like,
It was crazy.
it's like my ramp, like where
Like,
there's like it's a
If
basic
something-
setup, but there's
there
like
is
a billion
nothing-
things
There
to
is
do.
nothing
Yeah.
scary to jump on a feast course.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of times. There is 5 or 6 things scary to do on a course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's like a big comparison. Like feast courses.
I think it's because
Very-
the ramps are so spread out, as you
Yeah,
said.
that's
yeah.
the-
Yeah.
I've rode those and it's just too spread out. You're just pedaling and like
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
have to be like, dude, such an athlete.
You know what's funny is I thought when we're
And
like,
you
oh,
put
we're
those-
doing
yeah,
a
like-
Jason Watts podcast. I was like, we're going to talk about feast in the Olympics the entire time. No, not at all. It's funny that this is what we're talking
Yeah.
about. Well, fuck it. I mean, I'm not mad. It's
Like
just, I think it's just funny.
I'm a really big part of that world in Australia because I
Yeah.
build all the ramps and I
I had no idea.
talk, I
honestly.
have a group chat and I
forget.
talk to all the riders and I try and help them as I'm building stuff. So
Yeah.
I communicate with them. I said, here's the design. Do you like it? They're like, oh, can we change this and this? Okay, change this, change this, and then I get back.
It's got to be something way different.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
We're back,
Was that-
'cause we
was
might
that-
have to-
Was,
we
that
might have to-
actually, was it a Superman or was it like a tail whip that he didn't do?
that was a Superman.
It was?
He landed some tail
He
whips.
goes, I've never done a Superman before, and he just goes full extend, like up, straight up.
He's
like,
super talented.
He's a
He
fucking
did like a
best.
3 table. He did a few things. He's like, I haven't done that before.
Yeah, it was a learning session yesterday.
Shout out to the twins, Alan and Jesse.
Yep.
Cool dudes. Cool
Yeah, we'll
humans.
get off that topic.
Yeah.
because I could talk all night on that.
Let's talk about fast and loose.
but- Sweet.
Um,
Shit guys, shit company.
all right, next
I'm just
subject.
kidding. Yeah.
Fast and Loose, I think, is the most reoccurring podcast in Unclicked overall.
it is.
All the
it
seasons.
is.
All
Corey
the time.
Walsh has been on like 6 times.
Yes. Chris has been on at least once,
Yeah.
but he's been here for a bunch. You've been
Yeah.
on twice now, so
Yeah.
love you guys.
Yeah.
Fast and Loose is awesome.
We love it.
I think it
Still
is.
what
It
we
is the
can do.
polar opposite of the Olympics,
Yeah.
in a sense. You
No,
know, like,
Paul rides for Fast and Loose and he's in there every single one, and me too. So
What?
Paul
Paul-
rides a Fast
yeah.
and Loose shirt every feast. Because Germany doesn't have to wear a shirt, so he wears a Fast
So
and
he's
Loose
in.
shirt.
He does all the.
He
Olympic
does every
stuff?
single one. He's on the
Yeah.
German team.
Wow.
what's his
Yeah.
last name? Because I said it
Paul
wrong.
Tolan.
Tolan. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tolan.
He's
Tolan or
cool.
Tolan.
He's a
He's
cool
the
guy,
fucking
too.
best dude
Yeah,
ever.
he's slick.
So he puts a Fast and Loose shirt on most of the time and rips. He's fucking so good.
Hell yeah.
But
Have you ever? Has it been discussed like the inception of Fast and Loose? Did you guys discuss this on the last
Inception?
podcast? Like the beginning, like how it all came about, where the name came from, where
Yeah, it was
We
'cause-
big.
probably did, but
like
like I said, it was so
it was
long.
yeah. I mean,
it was because of the Pro Cups more than anything, and it was just going to like it was Malaga the first year I think, or the second, might have been the first, and then I always book like 2 weeks after a contest just to go do whatever the fuck we want, and then Corey did too at the time, and then me, Corey, and Dustin Oram of all people, I just got a rental car, and we drove all the way through Spain, up Portugal, back through Spain, through Madrid, meet up with Sergio.
shout out to Dustin. Dustin's
Yeah.
actually an amazing human. It's just not
Yeah.
you guys are not on the same pathway. in
Oh,
life.
no,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
He's a
like-
preacher. He's an amazing dude.
Me and
Like,
Corey
yeah.
wearing like
Dustin.
666 shirts and
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
saying all
yeah.
this
It's
gnarly
just-
shit, and Dustin's just there like happy as all day.
Yeah, and that's what
were
makes him
going-
awesome. Is he's
we were
not
going
he
out
does
to
his
clubs,
thing.
we were
Yeah.
partying,
Yeah.
like we went out in like Barcelona, like we fucking went hard, and
Yeah.
Dustin was there the whole time.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
it was
you need
amazing.
anything? You need anything?
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
BMX Jesus.
Yeah.
I know you're
Yeah.
probably listening to this. You need
Yeah.
to be on the podcast soon.
yeah. That'll be
Hit
awesome.
us up when you're in town.
Yeah,
So and then I think we're at Lost Bowl, that one with the big Reuben one,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like literally camping on. I think I slept outside on like a yoga mat on the bottom of the bowl. But it was like that night, I think I was like sitting on the edge of the bowl with my legs hanging over the bowl with Corey, and I was like, fuck this fucking like. I think it was something like I was just like, fuck, I'm over going to these contests and just doing nothing with it. Like let's fucking film something. Like, let's do something with this. Like, while we're doing this trip, like, just start filming DVD. Because Corey had his HMC he was filming stuff too. His camera ended up getting stolen. We lost all the footage, but yeah. And I was like, let's do a fucking DVD and call it Fast and Loose, like, because Backbone did start it. Like, they started they were always the Fast and Loose team, and I was a part of Backbone. And I was like, let's just do a DVD called Fast and Loose. Like, That's what it was meant. It meant to be not be a company or a crew. It was just a DVD. It was meant to be called Fast and Loose. So then we started, and I was like, it'd be me, you, Chris, and Matt.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first 4. And I was like, just like, we always go to the Pro Cups. Let's just fucking go out and film straight after, because we always do like a little road trip anyway. And then I was like, only a couple months or something like after that. I think Cody come into it after the US Open, or maybe after the Manly one. We're like, we'll put Cody into it too. And I was like, I think Cody come in a little later, but that's what it was. And then it turned into a crew, and then the DVD turned into something else. Then we made that first year, and then it just evolved from there. So I was just like literally in the middle of Portugal in this crazy bowl. It was like, let's just do a fucking video.
That's
like,
the one that has a crazy rock face up on it.
Yeah,
It looks so epic. Yeah.
I was like, let's just do a video. Fuck this. Like, I was just like over going to a contest and not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
If I got to the end of my BMX career and had all those contests and all those wins, I wouldn't give a fuck. I still don't give a fuck about any of the wins. And I went to all these crazy countries and did all this fucking cool shit, but never filmed anything that was worthy of like something cool in a way. And then the DVD made it fucking sick, because we went to Malaga. We filmed, well, all that footage got lost, but we went
The
to
idea.
We went to the Source, like any contest. It wasn't just Pro Cup. We went to the Source, but me and Corey, 2 weeks before that, we all went through the whole of the UK and filmed. Like anywhere we traveled for a contest, that like, and it's like shout out to our sponsors to help us with that, because like they helped us get to a contest or an event, and then we would make a trip out of it.
Yeah.
So we're making the best of the best situations as we, the best of the coolest situations as we could.
Those are the souvenirs.
Yeah.
Like you get the, I mean, you have the trophy on the wall or
Yeah,
whatever.
nah,
If you win,
I
but
think
then
the trophies are like in a cabinet at the bottom, but
it's like
the
it's like-
DVD's on
it's-
the wall.
It's like it's like this
Yeah.
type stuff. Like a
Yeah.
little tangible.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we made this whole
Yeah, all the
fucking
trophies
thing.
are like buried in a cabinet, but all the Polaroids and all our road trip memories, like a stubby cooler from a bar
Yeah.
or like anything, is on the wall. And like that's what it was all about, and that's what it still is about, is just these trips, like going to Swamp Fest and just fucking putting this an event on. And then it's been like fucking sick, and everybody loves it because it's like, it's super relatable. What I think is just like the first thing you ever do is just go to a skate park. Like, and that's all we do is just go to skate parks, but try the craziest things at the skate park, like, or the Gap, or something that no one ever think of. Like, so it's the most simple freestyle BMX, a simplified freestyle BMX outside of street, but the craziest of that. Like,
Well, that's what's cool with you guys is there's like street, which is all about filming video parts, and you can go do that. But there's like skate park riding, and then there's like contest riding. But like there's a skate park in every town,
yeah,
and you guys
See,
just
like,
go to the skate parks and film.
yeah.
And so that motivates the kids to be like, wow, this is something for us
Yeah.
to watch, to be pumped to ride our, because there's a million cement parks. There's not a bunch of fees courses everywhere.
No.
And being a street rider is its own thing. But like, what about the skate park kids?
It gets to the
you
point
know?
of where like now, it's
You
like,
guys hold that
we
ground.
Have to like, we like the same. Like I understand like where street riding comes from now, because I'm like, fuck, like it's hard to film at like a local park because I need the setup to bring the trick. Like I need to go to different skate parks, and this slightly different transition that will go back and mold into something else to make this trick happen. Or like a certain setup, like Corey jumping onto a loop and then going off a loop, or a court. Like, we need to go to these parks. You can look at it 100 times on a photo. You can look at a rail 100 times on a photo, but unless you go to the spot and be like, oh shit, there's a fucking ledge beside this rail where I can hit the ledge and gap to the rail.
Yeah.
Or I can go to this park and I can gap from this quarter to this quarter because this one's mellow, that you can't tell on a fucking photo or a video. So like, you know, the last time I was here for 10 months, we did the whole West Coast, and we did from San Diego to Key West, Florida, all the way to New York, across to Kokomo, back to Nashville, and then back to Virginia Beach. So we did
That's insane.
How many? Wait, how long? Over how long
That's
time?
insane.
2 months.
Jesus Christ.
It was 20,000. I think it was 20,000 miles in my van. 2 months, 10 grand in fuel. No, 6,000 in fuel. It was something like 6,000 beers. Like, I kept track of it all. Like, it was me and Joshua went out. It was after like when the
$6,000 in
Nah.
gas, 6,000
Every
beers.
dollar in
Yeah.
gas was a beer.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty much. Like, me and Josh went out every night, and like Corey wasn't drinking, so he'd be a deso driver. We'd just sleep in the van, and like
Shout out to Corey,
We would-
man. Best
yeah,
designated
yeah.
driver of all
But
time.
the- like,
the amount of stuff we've
the
got
older
to do
we
with
get,
this
the
Corey's our
smarter we get.
designated
So
driver.
like we would film like, because we pretty much did 10 months of film. So we have a new DVD. It's fucking in editing process.
Oh, really?
And it'll come out this year.
Is this new news?
No, Magnetar.
Yeah, we've been fucking.
They have a shirt that says it on it. We talked about it.
No one knows that's a DVD though.
Really?
So I don't think so.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it's a DVD.
No, he said it.
Ventura Magnetar news.
Venturatar.
But we like Corey and Josh is the best thing to come.
Ventura X Games tar.
Josh is like one of the,
Yeah.
Josh is like one of the best things to come into Fast and Loose. Like,
well, so that's what I was gonna say. Is
Josh Clemens.
So there's Portugal, and then there's now. At what point where you guys were like, whoa, this is kind of a company, or should we make this like kind
Corey
of a
sort
thing?
of helped with that, and he was like, he started doing the taxes on it, and I was like, fuck the taxes.
So you guys first started DVD, and then shirts.
Yeah, the DVD coming out, we did shirts with that. The shirts did real well, and then obviously once you start making a certain amount of money, it's like, fuck, we've got to file for taxes. And then Corey deals with all that stuff, and he was like, and then we started paying for our own trips, like that 10-month trip, like it was like 3 months straight, me, Corey, Josh, and Chris bounced in and out, and Matt as well, all around the US, like literally all around the US, like fucking everywhere, paying for, like, Fast and Loose paid for the fuel, like, you know, we pretty much did everything, filming, flights, like, and then we started paying we paid Josh monthly to work for Fast and Loose, and he helps with all the orders and all the Instagram and all that sort of stuff. And
so
then,
Josh is kind of like the man on the ground.
yeah,
like
and he's the best. He's
yeah.
the fucking, like, he knows when Josh was at Demolition, it was incredible.
Yeah, he's
like,
great.
He's one of the
Kills
best company people. Like, just does, like, I have the notifications on I had it on my old phone, and someone would message Fast and Loose, and Josh would reply within a minute. Just like every time.
Epic.
Every time.
Yeah.
Anyone, any question, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, some dude was like, oh, my wife brought me the Fast and Loose Van shoes, and the picture on the shoe, she was not really happy with the picture on the shoe. Like, what's the photo behind it or something like that? And he sent it to us, and I was like, tell the cunt to shut up. And Josh wrote this really nice approach. Yeah. I was just like, my response is tell the cunt to shut up.
That poor guy probably is listening right now.
Yeah. No, it was just like a road bike. Just randomly, his wife randomly brought him these shoes. It was just like, yeah, she was a real... really uneasy with the picture on the shoes. I was like, don't fucking buy the shoes. Like, but yeah, Josh is the best thing for it. Like, we fucking...
He even had a point where he was working and he had to like pick. Like, am I going to just go in on
Yeah,
Fast
he was
Loose?
working at Trader Joe's, and we did a Oregon trip, and he was coming riding with us, and he shreds, and we were just like, and Corey was like, we fucking make shit all money, but we started striving enough to pay Josh.
Yeah.
And we were like, fuck, we need someone like this. Like, Josh fucking so dedicated and loves it, and he's the fucking best person ever. And we were like, we need someone like this. So we fucking scrounge all our change around to pay Josh every month.
I assume that would be either way. Whatever money you guys would be making would go straight back in.
Yeah.
Whether it was trips or whatever else. So
yeah, like Corey definitely put a lot of his own sponsor money into Josh.
Oh yeah.
To help keep running Fast and Loose.
Okay.
And then, like, obviously we did the Vans collab, and that gave a little bit of money back, but enough to just stay level and keep doing, because we just put on a jam, and I'd be like, Corey, we're putting on a jam, $1,000.
Yeah.
We just fucking, like, there's never I don't think there's ever a point where Fast and Loose is making good money.
Yeah.
We're just fuck it, we're bringing this money from our t-shirts, we'll buy new t-shirts, or give money to a jam.
Yeah.
Or we'll give it to Goat Pen to build skate park stuff, or any jam. Like, when people hit us up at jams,
and
we
it
send
makes
money
you guys travel the world and have fun.
Yeah, like, we're
and
paying for
motivate
flights and
BMXers.
fuels, and like, you gotta understand
what it's doing
we're always
is
on the
amazing.
road filming.
Yeah.
Like, before, like this last DVD, like Corey and Josh are working on it, and they did Chris's last demo video, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, them working together will be like, our first DVD was like, half of the time we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, and then half the time we were like, oh yeah, this is the white balance, this is this, like, we sort of knew, sort of not, and then, like, it was still fucking, like, we still fucking love the DVD, and like, we love it. Like, I still think it's the rawest of the raw. Like, this is sick, like, full dad cam, but still looks good. Like, but the new one's like really, I think, like, I don't know, there was something like, I think Corey said something like 8 or 9 hours of footage that they have to go through.
Fuck.
Of just like, yeah, it's a lot, because it's like 2 years straight. Like, not maybe not, because you understand, when our first DVD come out, it was 2 years since we filmed the last clip on it because of COVID, because we just couldn't bring it out because we wanted a big prem.
Yeah.
And we were like, at the time, we were like, fuck, well, wait. A year went by, a year and a half went by. We're like, fuck it, we'll just bring it out. Like, who cares? I did a prem in Oz, they did a prem here. And then we just started filming straight away, straight up. And then when I got back to the US after COVID, we pretty much did the whole of the US. It was something like 25 or 30,000 Ks, like in the rig, like all the way around. And then me and Corey did a month in Europe, just all filming, everybody, all the time. So when I got home, I don't think I touched my bike for like a month. I was just like, holy fuck. Because this is like filming every day.
Yeah.
Like every day. Like, not because we have to, but because we would get to these incredible parks that we would drive to and be like, oh, fuck. And we sort of have a mindset or an understanding of what we want to do and like what trick would be sick to learn or to do. But there's never a setup, and then you'd get to a park and you'd be wrecked and you'd be like, holy fuck, there's that setup. Yeah. There's that hip I've been looking for, and you're like, okay, like get the foam roller. Who's got the fucking hypothermy gun and the foam roller? And you're like this on the flat bottom, like trying to dust off the crust from the night before, like because I was in a new city every 2 nights, and then I had the Universal Ramps money coming in. I was like, Josh, there's no excuse to come out. You have to come out. And he goes, and then my mates back home were like, you could just see Josh throughout the trip slowly dissolving away because he'd go out with you every night. And I'd just film him and he'd just slowly get like more and more to where he's like, I gotta go. I can't come out. Like,
who can hang with you?
on.
Who actually can hang out with you?
Zik can.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Never.
One of the very.
I haven't seen him for a long time.
I seen him after the Vans Prem the other night.
And I had a dance party at my house. Zik comes
Zik's
out
one of the
more than
only-
anyone knows.
Everybody else I've killed, I think. Yeah.
You never killed me.
I've killed you 1 or 2 times, but he's always bounced back.
Have you killed me?
I got
don't
Zik-
think
I-
you ever
that
killed
night,
me.
the
I
day
saw
he couldn't
I-
even talk to me, and he just took the bin upstairs.
Yeah. I don't know if that was you though. That was the neighbors.
Yeah, true.
No, it's the football
Oh,
neighbor.
no, I was there that night,
I don't
but you
even
just
think we
come
went
back
out
with a
that
bowl
night
of Henny
together.
and popcorn. And
Yeah,
I was like, nah.
that was my neighbors. I used to have crazy neighbors. So Jason's never killed me.
Yeah.
I can hang with you. That's
Yeah,
official.
Zik is pretty good for it.
That was a good
but
question
there's
because
a
I was
lot-
like, say
yeah.
me, say me, say me. Yes, I won that
There's a
one.
lot of people that have
You killed everyone. Everyone we go out with dies. They can't hang. That's why I don't. That's why when you're around, I'm like, fuck yeah, someone I could party with.
Yeah, I'll just keep going.
It's very rare, man.
Has Dennis changed since he had a kid?
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's got pick his times. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it is.
He
yeah.
can still party like he
Because
can.
my
but
girl's
he's
as
got pick his
crazy as
time.
me. We just have to. We have a baby, and we got.
Yeah, you just have to
Yeah.
alternate craziness.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have a baby.
Yeah. I've changed.
I'm your baby.
What?
Strike
your
three.
baby.
Strike three.
that mustache and saying that, I don't like it. I don't like that.
I'm in the driveway now, so
Yeah, he parks his goddamn Buzz, and it looks straight into my room.
yeah.
I was like, no, you can't do that. We got to turn
Because
the
I,
Buzz back around. We don't even have.
his driveway is fucking gnarly, and I was like, fuck. I reversed out this morning, and I was like, fuck that shitty house. So I reversed in this afternoon.
Yeah.
Then I pulled up and opened my door, and I was like, fuck it straight into his bed.
Your front door is my main window.
I
out
keep
of
my door
room.
closed all the time anyway, so
You got to have it level though.
Let's
so you
turn
can
it
sleep,
around,
right?
then we're good.
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna turn it around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realized that today. I was like, fuck. Now it's
Well,
not
I bet-
outside, but
There's no privacy in my house, so you already see me naked.
yeah, you came out this morning while you're brushing your teeth. Like, oi.
We're good. It's my girl though.
Yeah, I
She's
know.
like, oh god, I got to change in the bathroom across the kitchen because Jason's front door is our window.
Yeah, your house is so big, you got to do a mile walk to the bathroom. Nah.
No, it's not. It's an apartment.
I just shit on my
Little-
floor right next to my fucking bed.
Wherever
He's
you
got a
go to the
tiled pool.
bathroom.
He's got a tiled
That's got a
pool.
little emergency hat straight on your driveway, and I blame it on the dog.
That's what that is. Those little
little
tiny,
nugget- yeah.
those little sickly shits I've been cleaning
yeah,
up.
those little Chick-fil-A
Oh
nuggets.
man, I thought
you
the
know?
dogs had diarrhea. That's you.
That's me.
Oh my god.
Sorry, man. It
Uh,
happens.
He's a gym rat now too. Works out. Talk about your thing.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I
He was
think,
telling me and Jesse yesterday, and we're like, you are into this. Like,
he's got energy, so the energy's
Yes.
got to come out
Yeah.
one way or
I think
another.
I'm
Yeah.
on,
It's insane.
what's today? Thursday. So this Monday will be 10 weeks straight, 2 45-minute workout every day.
Hasn't missed a day.
2 45-minute workouts.
Yeah,
I haven't worked out
1,000
45 minutes in 10 weeks.
It's 1,000
Every
calories. 1,000
day.
calories.
Even after
every
the
day.
craziest nights we've had together, he's got up and like pulled himself together and got these workouts.
Yeah,
in.
almost every day this year so far, I've done 1,000 calorie workout.
So you're working on Pat's house, working 8-10 hours a day.
Yeah, so I'll go to the gym at 6 a.m. every day, do a 45-minute, like 400 or 500 calorie workout, and then I'll go and build all day, and then I'll go to the gym in the afternoon and do it again.
What are you eating?
Barely anything.
Barely,
Doesn't
yeah.
eat that much. Barely eating.
Barely anything. Yeah, just a sandwich at lunchtime and maybe something at nighttime.
Wow, that's interesting. I don't know. I mean,
Fully
is it-
changed.
He counts calories. Like he's got his watch down.
why?
Like
Because he gets fat. He's got a little slug body.
I was
when
over
he
looking like a cube. It was just like
The old COVID cube.
yeah, the COVID cube.
Yeah, it was
Nah, a friend
way
of mine,
before COVID.
a good friend of mine actually, Dale.
Guy
Shout
has
out
little
to Dale.
boobies.
Shout out to Dale's.
Shout out to Dale's, but
yeah.
my mate Dale that works for me, he's like a really like fitness person, but he'll fucking send it. He'll do like a 30-day program or a 75-day program, fully fitness. And then when it's over, it's just straight into Monster cans and KFC and drinking and partying with me. Or it's just like, yeah. And then,
So
but
that
he's
guy
a
taught you
rig.
everything he
Like,
knows.
you know, like his 75 hard was like
75.
245, like 75 days straight, 245-minute workouts, read a book, and everything organic, like no sugar, no nothing. Like
So what's up with the
one was-
Monster KFC you're talking about?
That's
like,
his binge.
Oh, after he's done
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it. After he's done with it, like the certain program that he does. And I was like, oh, sick. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to sign up for the program. I was like, I'll just try and do it. Like, but just the workout side of it and the water side of it. So like, no, like,
one for me.
except for like, yeah. And then I was like, fuck, I'll just start and I'll do all of February. And I was like, all right, sick. And I think my count for February is like 89 workouts, like 89 workouts for February, like, which is like 3 or 4 a day.
Yeah, that's
like,
3 a day on average.
yeah, like time I work out, ride, run, and then work out, it was like sort of worked out. Yeah, it was a lot a day.
So what I'm getting here is that whatever you do is like times 3. What's like the Big Lebowski thing? Like whatever, like the Amish thing. Like whatever you do, we do 1.5 times more. Like
I don't know, like I just started doing
He's
it.
a
not Big
he's
Lebowski,
a-
Kingpin.
He's
Kingpin,
a dialed
sorry.
human being. Like,
Yeah.
he's
I started
riding,
doing it, and
like
then
everything he's
I
doing, he's
just keep
very in the
going.
moment and dialed. He ain't
Like,
fucking.
Is it
I'm
like
not-
an obsessive thing though?
Nah,
like,
you're
are you
not a
obsessed with
weirdo.
it?
That's you're
Nah,
not a
'cause I can
weirdo.
stop, but I just want to like only now. Like, so I've been like, I was a super dude against the gym. I was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, like I just want to ride, like, and like, dude, that's when I was really crazy. I would just fucking drink and party all the time. Never work out. Never went to the gym. I don't have a gym membership for a long time, just to shower while I was in my van. And then I slowly started going
Like walking
during
by,
COVID,
walking by everybody
yeah,
too.
yeah, just fucking-
You guys are paying to work out. I'm paying for the shower. Uh-oh.
drag the chair in the shower and shower for 45 minutes.
You guys headphones working?
Yeah.
I just must have popped out.
Oh yeah.
But
We
so
good?
I started,
Good?
and then
Yeah,
like I
think
think it
it
was
back.
like it was COVID actually, because I was like, fuck, like I'll do something else as well. So I started going to the gym a little bit here and there, and doing home workouts.
Because you look up to me. Just
Nah,
let everyone
nah.
know.
You used to do your shitty stretches in the morning.
Do you like and subscribe?
No, not a chance.
That's bullshit.
Maybe. So I started going to the gym like 2 years ago, and then it takes a long time to see a result. Like it's not like, oh, I'll go to the gym for a month and be like, oh fuck, I feel good on my bike. Like 2 years ago I started going to the gym, but not like I am now, or like working out now. And I could see it a little bit, but when I crash I could really notice. Like I could take a big slam and just get up and be like, oh, like stretch it off. Where back I'd take a slam and I'd be like, fuck, like pretty fucked for a couple of days. But it was like ACT gym. I did a turn down and got caught in my pocket, and I just body bagged to the ground. I think it was like 6 months into like just working out like maybe 3 times a week, sorry. Like 2 or 3 times a week, like just like little bits here and there. And I took a slam and I was like, whoa,
I'm good.
I'm Larry Edgar. I was just like, I'm fucking Larry. I don't know why that cunt just blasts and just gets up and is just like, holy fuck. Like,
Yeah.
and I felt good, and I was like, all right. So I just kept doing that for a while, and then I fucking was doing pretty good with the gym after I got back from the last trip, was like June till like November. And like, but there's a lot of builds between that. So we'd like build and try and keep healthy. And Dale works for me and he's the fucking funniest, best dude ever. Super gym fitness freak. And all my other mates are just dirtbag BMX riders.
Yeah.
So there's just like these dirtbag BMX riders. And then there's Dale, which is a super gym fitness. He rides. He's a really good rider too. And then like everybody talking at lunch is just so funny. It's just like Dale is just like, he's literally just fucked. He's as tall as me, but he's just ripped. Like, and then the rest of like other mate Goldring has never been to a gym in his life. And we always say, just come to the gym, man. It'll be all right. And he goes, not in my fucking dead body. Like, he'll eat so much at lunchtime, he'll have to take a nap. And I'm like, we're going to go to work. And he goes, nah, like, it'd be like, and then like, for instance, like Dale finally got off this gym program, came out with me and Goldring for a night, was hungover one day at work. And he looks at Goldring and goes, oi, man. He goes, I'm fucking hurting, hey. And he goes, is this how you feel every day? And Goldring goes, yeah, every day. And he's just sitting there just like hurting as well. And I look over, he's just on his hands and knees puking off the side of the course while we're trying to build it. Like, that's what the job site's like. There's this Goldring just like, he would have like there was like, that Adelaide job, there's like a milk company sponsored it and they dropped a whole carton of milk off, like this strawberry chocolate caramel, and he'd be sitting there all day in the sun. I see Goldring walk up to it and go, just open a milk after 8 hours in the sun and start drinking it. It was like his third one of the day and we're like, damn, don't drink that, please. And he puts like 4 of them in his fucking jumper that afternoon and takes them home and steps drinking them. And we went to dinner, we come back and he's on the toilet and he goes, I've been on the toilet for like 2 hours. I was like, so like, I get it from Dale because like Dale ran like 50 kilometers the other day, like 30 miles. Like just on a weekend, just because he wanted to. Like, he's like, but he's also not like that crazy into it. If he missed it, he would come out and party with us all weekend. And then on his certain thing, so I went into this gym, so he does his hard 30 and all that shit, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to try and do 1,000 calorie workout every day for all of February. It was like 2 weeks before February, actually, middle of January, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to do that because November and December, I blew it out. Fucking finished that big Adelaide job, and then like that Feast World Cup come to
and then
Gold
time
Coast.
Traveled basically.
Dude, yeah. blew it out. I looked at myself and I looked
like
at myself on like
much.
first of January. I was just like, yeah,
well, an ambulance.
Yeah, I
Party's already died.
Yeah, or not died, but I went to the ambo one morning and I was just like, fuck, this is
Branson. Sorry, the kid's sleeping now. So.
Uh-oh. What's he
talking?
I don't know.
Branson. There we go.
Good job.
All right.
But
He partied for 4 days straight. He thought he was dying.
yeah,
Let him in. Actually, open the door.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. The kid's sleeping at this point. So, Branson, come here. There he is.
Big guy.
Where's the guy?
Here he comes.
Yeah, there he
So what happened?
You said.
My body was just gave up. That was like early December. Still went and sent it New Year's, and then I was just like, after this, I was like, all right. Like my goal to myself was like, I want to see how fit I can get before 30. Like I'm 30 at the end of April.
Is he not answering the question?
Like how?
He kind of answered it.
Well, the ambulance.
Well, yeah, just like
You just had a
pretty much
night?
partied for like 4 days straight, like as hard as you could party.
Yeah.
And then my electrolyte balance in my body was so far off that my body was just like done. Like they were like, "Yep, we're shutting." My body was just like, "Yep, I'm shutting down on you." Like,
Did somebody call?
No, I called it because like my body went all numb, and I was like, "This is weird. Like, this is crazy." Like,
were you drunk at the time, or was it
no,
the next
sober.
day?
Like, I puked from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. straight.
Oh my god!
Every 10 minutes.
So you had like alcohol poisoning,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I've killed you. I was talking about you dying.
No, but it was like full Dennis and Austin alcohol poisoning. Like, we'll do that.
Oh, I
We're
heard-
going to change the story around here.
Yeah.
You didn't do that to me. Corey Nastasio did that to me.
Yeah, exactly. But it was literally
You were talking about-
it was literally
you talking
full,
about Dennis's
full
first-
alcohol poisoning.
Dennis's first strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was full alcohol poisoning. I remember being back, like, because I left my car at the casino.
Yeah, that shit's gnarly
And
when
then
you really push it that
It was
far.
9 a.m. to
Yeah.
9 p.m. puking nonstop. And the last 2 times I puked, it was like 8:30 or 9 p.m. And I was on my hands and knees at the front of the casino in this garden. And Paul actually picked me up from Germany because he was there on holidays and for the feast.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there like, oh my God. And I was like, I was just on my hands and I literally would just be laying on the garden bed and I was like, I'm done. Like I won't stop puking. Like every little bit of water. And I was like, fuck this. And I finally come good. And then after that, I was like, I'm just going out New Year's, and I did. And then after that, I was like, I didn't drink all of January and February. I think like I probably had one beer out of that whole time. And then I did this fitness thing, and then I just haven't stopped. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I'll go until I'm 30. And then now I'm like, fuck, I wonder if I could do the whole year. It's hard. But
Oh God, and we're going to Vegas on your 30th birthday.
I still have to do it. Yeah.
But what
Why?
does that mean?
What's the point?
Yeah, he looks good.
Just
No, I mean, like, no,
feels good.
on the 30th birthday. Like, it's your birthday.
Because I didn't know he had goals, and then and then I just realized we're going to Vegas on his 30th birthday. I'm like, what does that mean?
Well, I thought about today when you're like,
Yeah.
when I was like, when we're going to 30th, like when you go to sleep, I'll probably go and try and work out and try and get it done.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
like
But
that. I think that's awesome.
It's your fucking birthday, dude.
Yeah, but
Just chill.
yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that. That's why he says I'm not obsessive about it. If I really
Yeah.
get to a point
Yeah.
where I'm like, if I really get to a point where I'm like, oh, like
we at Dax Premiere, we had a good time, a really good time.
We
And
lit
he
it
got
up.
up. I thought he was dead because I said bye to him. He was in his van. He just like, bye, and I'm like, I'll see you in like a week or something because he's going to Bill Pat's, and he's just like, nah.
yeah, I went to Pat's.
And then I saw him. We were riding once he came back to San Diego. Riding a couple days ago. I was like, you fucking missed your workout. He's like, nope. I came alive around 6 p.m. and I did it. Like he'll do it. He'll. All
That's
right,
crazy,
Where is
dude.
it?
break time.
The door straight through. Yeah. Just close the door just so we're not loud.
You
thinking
said
with
what
them.
the like? What's the point? When I was like, and I was always the same. I was like, fuck it. BMX is like my workout, which is very true. Like BMX is a big body work. Like it's a fucking it's all,
Cardio.
it's your whole body.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really really good for you. But like,
Except for your
and-
abs.
Yeah, that's why I do. That's why I just look like a cube. I drink so much and eat the shit.
Depends on what kind of rider you are, though, because like you see like Courage and
Yeah.
Mike Gray, and
But
They
they
work
work
out
out.
for themselves.
They work
all
out,
work
though.
out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
there's
I
some
just feel-
fucking
I-
savage
I-
ass street
I
riders
was-
that do not work out that have ripped fucking bodies.
True.
They do
Because
not
they're,
work out.
because they're like 22.
But like you said, what's the
But, I don't
point?
know.
And then I
That's
was
true.
like, I
Yeah.
always used to be like, yeah, what's the point? And like all that sort of stuff. And I was like, you know, like I said, when I would like work out a little bit, and then it was only until like pretty recently where I was just like, where I'm riding right now, and I can ride for fucking hours, like nonstop, like nothing, no pain, no nothing. Like even at his ramp yesterday, with like just 3 of us, but I'll drop in every minute,
Yeah.
like and do stuff like I won't stop, and then I'm just like every now and then I have a thought, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm not even tired. Oh, let's go again, like, and I just fucking keep.
Yeah,
going.
that's crazy. I mean, it's
like it takes so long to see a benefit from it, to where some people really will give up, and I can see that side of it. I'm like, fuck, I've been working out for like fucking a year. Like, yeah, I feel a little bit better. This is okay, but like you know, like I said, I've been doing it for like 10 weeks straight, 1,000 calories every day, 2 or 3 workouts a day, to like, and it slowly comes in across where you're like, holy fuck, like you'd pump a
I'm
quarter.
not tired. I would be tired right now.
Yeah,
but
well,
I'm
like,
not.
or even
Yeah.
like pumping a quarter. Like, I landed his box backwards yesterday, and I was like, oh, like, let me give this a fucking pull, like, like what I used to do, but even more. And I landed flat, which is like a big indication of like where I can pull back more and go higher. Like, there's a reason why Larry can air so high.
Yeah.
That he is so strong. Like, his whole body is strong.
Yeah.
Like, you see him take it. Obviously, he's ripped.
Yeah.
But he is so strong that, like, when everyone's like, he has it's very good technique as well. But when he pulls and pumps a quarter, the strength that goes into it, like, it helps a lot. Like, it really does help. Like, I used to be a big hater of it. And now I'm like, fuck, I wish I did this when I was 20.
Yeah.
Not when I'm 30 in a way. Like, but I'm stoked I'm doing it now, because now I'm riding, like, I'm still progress and still riding better than I ever have.
That's it's funny because I was gonna say, it was like how much has the ramp business taken over the professional riding business?
Not at all, because like I still ride while I'm building the ramps. I just can't post about it, because like I'll probably build for 2 weeks to get the ramps just to the point of riding, and then I'll be able to be right. Like, we were riding Dennis's ramp months before we posted it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was just ply, and we were going ape shit on his ramps, and like riding skate parks at night times, and like, you know, there's some days where I'll do like that Adelaide job where we would build, and then, you know, I'll build 16 hours a day, 5 days straight, But then at the end of
What
it,
did you say? How many?
16 hours a day, 5 days straight to get it done for the contest. And then we fucking partied 4 days straight. And then
Afterwards.
Yeah, then
All
I
right,
took him down for 3 days. And then, but that's what the thing is where I tell the boys, I'm like, and everyone that works for me is in the sort of in the same boat, same as the riders. Like, we will work our fucking ass off for 2 weeks, but then we don't have to work for a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like so for my sponsors out there, I'm like, hey, I do message them sometimes, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be like, I am quiet. I'm sorry for being quiet, but I'm building. Like for Pats for the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
even my mum was like, oh, you've been really quiet on Instagram. I'm like, oh, sorry, I've just been building privately, and I can't film about it.
But I feel
then
like
straight
anyone who
after
knows got your back,
Yeah,
man.
straight
'Cause,
after I went
anyone
to
who
Dennis's
sees you
ramp
ride, it's just
yesterday,
like,
we
he's
just
on it.
lit it up. Like, I learned cannibal. Like, yeah, because my body's so fit throughout all the building now and everything else like that. And like, so when I go back riding, it's just like, it's so much more fun because like I can progress my riding because my body can help me progress it.
Yeah.
You know, like before where I was like,
you get fucking 20 more tries than you did before.
Yeah,
or
well,
something
it's just like,
that, you know,
I
like
don't
in a
have
simple
enough.
sense.
I don't have enough speed or pump for this or pull or
Yeah.
something like this, and I can go back to spots now and be like way fitter and like and all that than I used to be, and be like, oh fuck, that was easy. Like anything on like Dennis's ramp now was like, you know, like yeah, like when we were riding Pats the other day after we finished all the stuff, and I was just doing things, and I was like, fuck. 2 years ago, I couldn't even imagine the things I was doing just on a normal session there. Like, I was just like, but it just felt normal to do it. And Chris was like, why are you going crazy? I was like, oh, I've just been building for like 10 days. I just want to go.
Yeah,
like my mindset and my body just wants to do crazier stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel as though back when I was really crazy and partying, it was fun. Like, I still did good stuff, but like, definitely at some points where I'd just be like, fuck, I just can't make this, or I just can't pull, like, I just can't do this. Because my riding's not really tricks or anything. Like, it could do tricks, but, you know, that's a huge mental battle of trying to try a crazy trick. But trying to a crazy gap or a line relies on a lot of bit of skill and a lot of, like, the pullback ones, like the big pullbacks. Like, unless it's vert and you're crazy as Morgan Wade, you just go for it. Like, you need a big pullback. That's why Larry can literally do anything. Like,
You're a huge fan of Larry.
Yeah, he's the best dude. Like,
I can't wait for his. First off, congrats on your kid, Larry.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I messaged him today about it.
Yeah, so
and
did I. So did I.
His baby?
Yeah, he had his baby.
nice.
I only understand
Yeah.
like what Larry could do because of how much I work out and how much I wouldn't say look after myself. I still love a fucking beer and still go out, but I still look after myself way more than I used to. And then I see Larry and I'm like, fuck, he's been doing that all that time.
Yeah,
It must feel good.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
Just to like fucking beast, like especially when it comes to a crash.
Yeah.
Like I could take it like I was in a pretty heavy car crash like 3 days ago. Got T-boned at 50 miles per hour. And then 2 of my mates went to hospital and I went to the gym and stretched it and worked it out. And I felt like I was like, fuck, maybe I was pretty hurt. And I was like, no, I fucking feel pretty good. I rode the ramp yesterday.
Can you give me more details?
Yeah.
What and who?
Yeah, I finished Pat's ramp. We went to get breakfast and a burrito with Johnny and Chris Fox and myself. And then as we were leaving the breakfast joint,
Johnny, Pat's buddy.
yeah,
Okay,
Johnny,
yeah.
and then we were leaving the breakfast joint, and we were coming out of an intersection, and the light went green, so we were turning left
On that main road.
on that main road.
Oh
there.
wow, yeah, that's a 50-mile-an-hour road for sure.
Yeah. And then I heard Johnny go, fuck. And then I looked and just braced enough. And this dude hit the the driver's passenger door, so behind the driver.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was in the front. Johnny was driving, and then Chris was behind me, luckily. And that dude hit that door. And then we did a full 360, maybe 720. It was hard to tell.
Yeah.
And then went straight. Chris was pretty concussed and out of it in the front seat, and Johnny was
Backseat.
the back seat.
yeah.
Sorry, and Johnny was freaking like he did really well for like what
He's younger. He's
he's really young.
Yeah,
He only
yeah.
has had his license for 2 months. He did super well.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck. Like I opened my door and I was like, jump out, come on. Like jumped out through mine, and then
Yeah.
I went and helped Chris in the back seat. And yeah, we got fucking pumped. Couldn't even ride the new like we rode it a little bit, but we couldn't finish riding it, and we just got Chris went to hospital. Johnny stayed with me, and then like I was chilling, got everything sorted. I think Johnny went to hospital later, and then it was fucking crazy.
Ugh.
And then I was
And it was the guy's fault.
as he
Okay,
said,
yeah,
I was like, oh, my brakes won't really work, and I I'm not a really angry guy. I just sat there and I couldn't even talk to him because I was just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I was like, shut up. You ran a red light.
Yeah.
He said he ran a red light, so he was like, he could have just said that. Like, I don't really care if your brakes aren't working or not. You ran the red light.
It doesn't matter.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's an uphill there. Like,
Yeah.
even if your brakes weren't working, and it was so long after the red light, like it was a good 3 or 4 seconds after. So that's like, 10 or 15 seconds when it goes orange.
Yeah.
That,
He missed it.
He missed it. He was not paying attention. So we got fucking pumped. Like heaviest crash I've ever been in.
Crazy.
And I just walked out.
Glad you guys are okay. That's
I just walked out and I was just like, they're like, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I just went to my van.
Uber to the gym.
Yeah, no, I went to my van and then I chilled for a bit and then we picked Chris up from the airport, the hospital, and then got him Chick-fil-A, took him back to his van and chilled. And then he's like, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to go to the gym. I got to get my calories in for the day. I can't miss a day. I was like, my mate Dale will be on me if I miss a day.
Are you on the level where you're like checking your BPM, your beats per minute while you're riding and shit?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You on
I
that?
check all the
You on
calories.
that?
Hell no.
Yeah. I check the calories.
I know
of
I'm getting it
everything
in.
I eat.
No. So this is the first time I experienced that. When
I
was
know I'm
filming-
tired. I'm tired. I don't need to know my
The-
heartbeat. I'm all fucking.
When I was filming that Jeremy Malott monster video, he was doing some nose manual line, and it was like, I think in the end it was like 80 tries or something, and I ran out of water early, and I was skating it, holding the gimbal, and I was fucking smoked, and after like 30 or 40 tries, and he was checking his watch, and I had never seen it before, and he's like, yeah, as long as I stay under 120, I can do this all day, like
No,
whatever.
not that gnarly.
Yeah, and he was like, and I was like,
That's cool.
wow,
If you
that's
stay-
like I was impressive while I was like, oh yeah, me too. You know, like
That's why I
dying
want
on the
Neuralink.
inside. Yeah.
You just
yeah.
If I'm trying something,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
trying
Like, all
it
right,
back
keep
to
it right
back
here.
until I die.
Yeah, he was
There's a
basically he was waiting until he was under 120, and then he would
That's
go
smart.
again.
That's smart,
yeah.
smart,
yeah. So
There's
it
a
was
couple
like,
of nose wheelie attempts where
Damn.
I've done 2 or 3 days attempts.
yeah,
Like a new video, I have like a new nosy stuff, and that was 2 days,
Yeah.
2 bikes.
Yeah. I mean, I was just impressed at the idea of like
That's
he
a very
knows
good idea,
his
because
like
you're under that
Yeah, it's smart.
yeah, I don't know.
aerobic point, which is 120 to 140.
Yeah.
So if you stay anaerobic state or something like that, to where you're burning more than you can sustain.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get over 120, then that's when you really start burning your muscle and your fat. So if you stay
That's
under
cool.
120,
Yeah, I didn't think of
you're
it
good.
that way when you asked me the question. I was like, what? Like, I thought you meant like.
Like I look at my watch and I'm like, holy fuck, I almost died. I'm at 190.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
you
that's
know,
the idea because that's
like-
not
Yeah,
sustainable.
you can keep
Yeah.
yourself
Nah,
going.
nah.
The
Yeah.
Jeremy thing
If
is
you
cool.
drop in like
That's
BMX
nice.
is
Like,
Yeah.
BMX
I'm
is
gonna
a
try this all day. I'm stay
Yeah.
under 120. You're
Yeah,
not
it's very,
like a
very
filmer.
smart. If he gets up and
Yeah.
waits to 120,
Sick.
then gets under it and then goes again, it's very smart.
Yeah, I mean, he's way better shape than I am, obviously. So it was like me, I'm like, I was probably at like 150 just
Yeah.
sitting
Like
there.
I said, I'm
you
a
know,
huge
so-
hater. I was a huge hater against it. And I'm like, I still get in the gym. I see people flexing and I'm just like, shut up, cunt. Like,
Yeah. yeah.
I always say to my friends, we're going to go in there and start lifting people soon. Just rock and roll. No.
Do you get any other fast and loose guys in the gym?
Chris has come with me every day when he was
Nice.
on the job.
Chris
He
is
came
like
with
a
me.
natural
Yeah, Chris
beast.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
I can
He's
see
like
that.
got a fucking
Corey,
build.
Corey
like
comes with me every day.
athletic
every
dude.
time I'm with Corey, he
Nice.
comes with me every day.
Really?
Even
That's
on
cool.
fast and loose trips, they'll all come into the gym and do something. Josh as
Yeah.
well.
Sick.
Matt probably doesn't. He's already ripped anyway. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. He's like a Viking.
Cody does boxing and runs. Like everybody knows, once like it's crazy. It takes us longer in
Fit
life
and loose.
Yeah.
Fit and loose.
You go with the fucking dumbbell logos on the
Yeah.
side instead of the.
Nah, it's funny. It takes us.
I always tell everyone, like, you
It is
know
funny
what? There's
that-
a point if you want to
Yeah.
keep doing this, like, you're
Yeah.
gonna have
It's
to
funny. It takes us so long
mess
to
with some of this
understand-
stuff eventually.
It takes
It
us
really
so long to
helps.
understand how much it helps, but it also takes a long time to see the benefit of it.
Yeah.
You could do it for 6 months and you won't see anything. You could do it for a year maybe and you won't see anything.
Yeah.
It's like only taking me now like two like this is only I think only now. 'cause
Well, it's
of
like anything.
how-
You have to learn how to do it properly.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna learn how to do it
So
properly.
I've never been to a trainer or anything like that. It's all self-taught and just watching people at the gym or like anything like that. So I get real self-confident of like trying something new for the first time. I only do it when I'm in the gym by myself. And
Because
if
you wanna learn it
Corey's-
right.
And if Corey's in there, me and him are like, like through the gym by ourselves. It's just me and him in the gym. We're just throwing things and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Just making a fool of ourselves. But I'm like, yeah, Chris is the same. He's just like, he has all these workouts that we stick to. And then if no one's around, I was like, you want to try this? And he goes, okay. Like we did it. He did a bench press the other day for the first time in like, he's like, I've never done bench press in 10 years. I'm like, because it's a bro thing.
Race thing too.
No, it's a race. I was like, it's a bro thing. Hey.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's a fucking big bro thing. I was like, same here. I hate bench press, but I force myself to do it because I know it's good.
Yeah.
I know it's good for like the upper body and your body, like your riding. Like I said, when I take a slam now, I'm just like, even like, I don't know if I just did get really lucky in that car crash or if it's just that like my body is really fit right now.
Could have been or both.
Bit of both.
Yeah,
like, bit of both.
Yeah.
Like yeah, Chris took
Being
the whole
fit
impact in the
does
back,
nothing but
like,
help.
Yeah, it does. And if I can,
Doesn't hurt anything.
like, it doesn't help anybody. Me just disappearing for 90 minutes a day to do both those exercises and then still come out and fucking go ape shit with everybody.
Yeah, you disappearing for a little bit of the day is good.
Like I did it soft. Yeah,
that was not a compliment.
nah, yeah.
Just kidding.
I
It's
did
a
it to him
joke.
this afternoon. He
A
was
huge
outside and I
joke.
was like, oh, I go do another workout. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? You did one this morning? And I was like, yeah, sorry. I just went in my van and got it done and come out later and had dinner.
Yep.
Done it. Times have changed.
Imagine,
That's crazy.
I never would imagine we sat here with Jason Watts and we talked about the Olympics and fucking working out the entire time.
You're like, I don't know. I'm not prepared for the podcast. I'm like,
Just let me talk.
I did have a
Let me
couple
drink
questions.
beers
I
and let
did.
me
I
talk.
didn't.
no, yeah, you were prepared and good. But
yeah.
like last night when you weren't feeling,
yeah.
you were tired and everything. I was like, you don't need to be prepared for him. But being
Yeah.
tired
Nah.
sucks. Doing a
Yeah.
podcast tired is
I got a lot of
never
stories.
fun.
You name a person, I'll have a story on them. Like DMC, but the drinking side of it.
Let's see.
Steve McCann.
Oh.
I don't have anything but Steve McCann. There was that clip of him on Juto where he snapped his chain pedaling in. Fucking went over the bars all that
Oh
flat.
man,
That's
he was a fun
crash.
dude.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Uh,
He was a cool one that just
Zick
disappeared.
Michigini. Yeah, he just went back
What?
to Oz. You know, Cam White back in Oz has his own brewery.
Oh yeah,
Really?
he's a
Yep.
great
Shout out to
guy,
Cam
man.
White,
Such a
like-
good dude.
Kim Grosser.
Oh, the best dude ever.
He is.
He is the best.
I don't know him at
He's
all,
actually
but I
worked-
feel like I
he's
do, and
worked-
I've seen him. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Cool.
I'm like, God, I love you.
Cool
for some
He's the
dude.
reason.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah. To have him come to Balla Hastings and be on my team.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was like,
Yeah.
is that Kim Grosser? I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, that's
Yeah.
Kim
Cool
Grosser.
dude.
It was, so
It was one of those dudes that people like appreciated, but didn't like the masses of the world didn't.
People
didn't
watching him
appreciate
ride
him
at
as
Balla
much
Hastings
as they
were
should
like,
have.
he's so
People
good.
that know
I'm like,
know.
he's like
Yeah.
41.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
doing
like,
nothing's down
All he
fucking
does
10
is
stairs and shit.
drink Coca-Cola and eat Mars bars.
He doesn't work out at all. He seems
Nah,
like
not at all. He's a fucking beast. Like,
Yeah,
some people just got it.
yeah.
yeah,
Jeans are a huge thing.
yeah.
The single best park in the world, and then the locale that has the best parks in the world.
It's hard because we all like
No, answer it.
best park in the world. I'm trying to think.
If you could close your eyes and be at a one park in the world, what would it be right
It's
now?
hard for me because I love riding everything.
Yeah.
And like, it's hard to get that really deep bowl feel and a park like Malaga where it has a box jump and like spine and everything like that. Like, like Five Dock's a fucking good park. I don't give it as much rap as I should. But that's a BMX park. Like big spine,
Rip.
big quarters. Like
It's all mellow.
all mellow.
So
like,
good.
Like every time I go there, I'm like, fuck, this is when the
What-
Pro Cup went there, I was like, fuck, they sort of like same thing when the Pro Cup went to Malaga, we're like, fuck, how do you get much better?
Yeah.
Malaga and Five Dock are two of the best. Like you can go the other side of and go really deep bowls and deep parks, but you won't get that all around BMX. Like you need to jump something. You
Yeah.
can't just air and
Yeah,
hips
exactly.
and pull. Like you want to jump from a fucking bowl to a bowl.
Yeah.
or a
That park
jump.
that has the box jump in the middle of it. is
Diego's park that he just
Yoga
built.
Canina made an
That-
amazing park in Brazil.
Yo,
If the
I
Pro
saw
Cup was
that park
around-
and it looks
Yeah.
amazing.
There's a
He
new one in
killed it with
Chile
that.
that's
Shout out,
insane.
Diogo.
Yeah.
You'll have to look it up yourself. I'm
Yeah.
not doing the screen record thing
Yeah.
this time.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a new one in Chile too.
Diogo's
That's
Brazil park.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's like a
We should
fucking.
put that down. We should talk about it for the news episode.
All right,
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
that in my
Yeah.
notes.
But one of my favorite Nimbin, like I said, Nimbin.
But you never been to the Diogo park. It just looks
No,
amazing.
it's
No,
just
Yeah.
like
let's
that's
go.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
let's go,
Like,
though.
Diogo, the Kim Grosser of South America.
Yeah, that's it.
Literally.
It is, eh? But
Diogo live with me for.
yeah.
like
Diogo's
Malaga,
amazing.
I want like I
that
love
dude.
Malaga because I love
Choose
like, it's the
one. You've
funnest.
literally listed like 3.
Don't know.
Choose one.
My ramp. Just say it.
Some idiot built it. So
It's kind of got shit.
What about I mean, have you ever
My
been to
rent
like
never
that
gets old.
China SMP park? That's
No, I
massive?
haven't been there yet,
Yeah, it's
so-
pretty shit. I'm sorry.
it's
but-
crazy
Really?
the amount of parks.
It's just like it looks
Yeah.
great, but then
He would
it's
like it. I love
Yeah.
that park.
Yeah.
Really?
I
I mean,
think-
I felt like it
I
was
love
just
that.
It's one
falling
of the
apart.
last ones. It's
Yeah.
there in South America is the last big destinations that we as Fast and Loose have to go to.
Yeah.
I've almost been to every park in the world except
The
for those
S&P park's good though.
areas.
You need like 2 weeks there.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Transition riding.
I'm trying to think.
The gym is gonna help out there.
Yeah.
I literally felt like I was like, yo, I was like, Gary and I went, I mean, very early on, and I was
guess
like
it'd be
taking like
like-
6 cranks into a 14-foot wedge and going
Yeah.
around a corner and going like my face falling off, So
It's really hard for me to decide. I would like to say Malaga because, especially now, it's so hard. There's another one in like Edinburgh. I think it's Edinburgh up in like near Glasgow.
yeah.
Like, and it has this. The quarters aren't the best, but the shape and the design of the bowl and all the pullbacks work incredible. It's really hard for me to decide because I also love riding Pat's
okay,
race.
what about locale? Like, is there like
Oregon
the north?
for sure.
Okay, yeah, Oregon.
Oregon over anywhere.
Yeah, really.
I'm about to go back to
Coastal
Colorado.
or central?
Just Oregon, like
Okay.
between Florence and like Tiger, like all those parks up there.
Yeah.
They're fucking really good. But
Yeah.
then you got Colorado too.
Yeah.
And I haven't been back there since our DVD, so I'm going back in like after 2 weeks after Pat's rant, we're going back out there to where like, I haven't been there for 6 years, so better rider than I am now.
That's
It's gonna
probably
be the
brand
Fast
new
and Loose
park.
headquarters too.
Yeah, pretty much. So, like I said, it's really hard for me because I love riding really deep bowl stuff, and some people just like riding that. But I also love riding a box jump or trails or like anything like that.
I think that's the last one. Is that the last one? Is
Nah,
that-
You're
there's more.
kidding.
Oh, there's more.
That was my third podcast, P. I think might be a
you-
new record for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I chugged a coffee to wake up, and then had about
yeah.
In your,
the beers
in your
away.
Odyssey.
There's like Coke. You've
Drinking
never
that water.
you've never been to Kokomo. The one that
Kokomo,
was in
no.
that props part has like the U, like the full pipe and the U and sort
Mm.
of stuff like that. It's like that park is incredible. Like there's so many good. Like it's so hard to pinpoint one.
We're
Like
still
Santa
talking
Cruz,
about this.
like,
Just say one.
No.
That's hard.
He
I
he
literally
didn't choose
can't.
one. He
can't
said a
choose
couple,
one.
but then I
Can't choose
said
one.
locale.
No.
Like, and he chose Oregon.
Oregon
What
or
was-
Colorado.
What's the dude? What's the skater that got the firework in the eye in Swamp Fest that that lives here? What's his name?
Chris Russell.
Chris Russell.
You got firework in the eye?
Yeah, you didn't know about that? Oh, he
Bad?
fucking killed Swamp Fest,
Yeah,
obviously.
Chris is the man.
And
He's the fucking best.
and he the very at the
I didn't
very
know he
at
went
the
to Swamp Fest.
yeah
That's
the
dope.
very end he took a fucking I guess what I heard various things like he fucking lost his eye, he's fucked, like this whole thing, and then there's the eye, but I guess he threw a mortar and it bounced off a tent and came back and exploded and hit him in the eye. So
One of our plans for Fast.
So he's
and
okay.
Loose-
he's okay-ish. I don't know.
So what does that have to do with anything?
This I was trying to find this clip.
Is this a
Look,
Florida
this
thing?
is a skate park.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Which one? I'll be able to tell you straight away.
I love those parks, like ditch skate parks.
I just got my "you spent an hour on Instagram" message.
Oh man,
No, is that park or a ditch? That's
It's
a
a
ditch.
park. It's a skate park.
No way.
Yes,
Corey will know. Corey knows everything.
I know where it is. I have it in my messages.
I think one of the best
But
parks-
it is amazing. Like there's so many like South America,
even-
like
I
that
love
one that
going
has
to
like the
San Jose. There's this massive park at San
Yeah.
Jose. No one likes, and
I love
was
that
like,
park.
Oh my! Me and Josh go there. We're like school children.
yeah.
I was like, you want to go
that
ride the
park's
jumps?
amazing.
You wanna go
I'm
ride
with
the
I'm
ball?
with you because I
Like-
like all the parks. Like
But this is like Kokomo. This
you
is
know,
like,
one of the best parks is
this is
Tiger.
Like this is like from like the new video that's meant to come out
oh
last year, but
wait, the new video that's about to come out last year.
Jason's got a
Yeah, I know,
crazy
I know.
part dropping, and then he's got a part dropping in the new Fast and Loose
this is the
video.
one
This
that
guy's
took-
sitting
this is
on
the one that
tons
took
of
forever,
footage.
But
Oh my god! I'm sorry, I can't show that to you. Is that the banger?
no, and then this is Kokomo.
Oh, that's like in Indiana.
Yeah. And it's just like the fucking craziest sort of set, like a bend in a pipe.
What?
And the next one we're actually saving for our DVD, so I took it out. But
Wow.
Yeah, you guys motivate people to
Yo.
ride parks.
So just had that. We just sit in that and stand by for now, and then.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry we can't show that one.
Watch Jason watch footy when it comes up because it's good.
Yeah, watch.
Josh and
He's
Corey.
excited.
Let's.
riding.
How about you guys drop it the day after this podcast
I know.
drops or something?
could
Drop
try.
your shit, man. I feel like this is something I want to say. I feel like you're always like you're better than like even like the world can keep up with your shit. Like I feel like
It's another one that you
you've
haven't
been
seen.
sitting on these clips in this part for so long. It's like, dude, put that shit out.
You haven't seen
Like,
this one.
Yes, I have.
No, this part, this clip. So I got rid of that.
It's
last
not
That I
good.
have.
This is not a good podcast. We're just showing clips that we can't. We're looking at clips that nobody can
Yeah.
watch.
They save it. We'll wait. It'll come out.
What's this for? The DVD?
No, this is for that same video.
Oh,
We traded
nice.
that
I didn't
last
see that
for
one,
this.
yeah.
We traded it out.
Does it say Magnetar on the full pipe?
Yeah, Corey.
Nice.
Ventura Tar.
Ventura X Games Tar.
Wow.
Jason's officially showing us clips that haven't
Yeah.
come out yet.
Wow. Yeah,
I
I
haven't
don't
seen
even.
that
I
one. I thought
honestly
I'd seen all
don't
your
even. I
clips.
don't
I haven't
even
seen
want
that
to
one.
describe them because I don't want to ruin
Nah, yeah,
any
totally.
sense. So that I love
Put that
one.
shit out then. Right after this part, your part's dropping. It's just
Oh,
beneficial.
it is like
Come
Corey
on.
and Josh are doing it right now. So
Nice.
it will
Yeah.
be,
Tell 'em,
it'll be
tell 'em.
up next week.
Perfect.
Ish, hopefully.
Perfect.
So-
No,
Okay, well,
the
this will
day
drop- we'll just
this
drop on
podcast
Tuesday.
drops, let's do
Yeah.
it the
Yeah.
same fucking day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
It's
love
been
it.
a while. Been sitting there for a while, so
It's been sitting there since goddamn forever. You showed me all that footage besides that one clip so long ago, and I'm like, where is this?
I sleep.
That's
on
why I
it.
say like you're
Yeah.
ahead, dude. Like there's like they can't. No one can keep up, man. Like you need someone dropping your shit.
I get shy posting stuff.
Don't
Can't
fuck
do
posting
it.
stuff. You got video parts sitting there, and then you could post it. You know,
Yeah, true.
that's what you do. You make video parts, you post it slowly.
YouTube Shorts, TikToks.
Yes.
Yeah, there you
yes.
go. No.
Give all your information to China.
YouTube Shorts.
Bite dance. What else is there?
There's a
How
lot.
How long are you here for in the United States?
When's this podcast coming out?
Tuesday.
Shit. I haven't
Yeah.
told my parents I'm not coming back yet, so I just need to make sure I get myself
Do you
enough
call them
time.
on Monday?
Yeah, I'll call them
Yeah.
on
Do they
Monday.
come out every Tuesday now? Is that-
Yeah, Tuesday.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't have to work on Sunday night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell them Sunday because it'll be Tuesday back home.
There you go.
Yeah.
there you go.
No, it'll be Wednesday too. Yeah, I'll call them Monday.
Answer the
But,
question.
I was meant to go home on my 30th birthday in
Oh, yeah.
April.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they already heard earlier.
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
Vegas.
Oh yeah,
It's already
They've
been dropped.
deduced.
true, very true. Sorry, Mumsy. Sorry.
We're going on fun vacation
But
before
yeah, I was
awesome
meant to go home
riding
for
trip.
that, and
It's gonna
then
be great.
a couple of really big jobs got cancelled back home that are like full Woodward spec, not Woodward, but
Yeah.
same like big camp sort of stuff. So then I'm staying, and then going to go to Europe. So a couple builds coming up. So
Those are ramp building gigs. Out,
no,
in
just
Europe.
film like just contests and all that sort of stuff. Try my hand in a few contests again.
What contest?
I'll go to Feast Montpellier hopefully,
Okay.
and then a couple of things over there, and then Fast and Loose have a big trip in Italy in middle of July. So I'll probably just stay there for a month. Do that.
Italy.
In Italy? They don't got parks in Italy.
Yeah, they built a new park and they want Fast and Loose to go.
I mean, they got parks. But
They Italians?
Yeah, Ditch Matt's putting it all together.
Wow.
Yeah,
What?
Ditch Matt. Yeah.
That's cool.
Shout out to
fucking
Matt.
sick. Yeah, Ditch Matt fucking shout out. Ditch Matt message us and says, "Yo,
They got parks. I'm sorry for saying that, but they
no,
don't
they're
got
about
fast
to build
and
a
loose
brand new
parks.
indoor park, and we're all going to get sent over there to film
Sick.
and ride at it. And
Hell yeah.
all the Fast and Loose, Paris, and someone else was on there too, and Ditch Matt, and like we're all going to Italy to do a big road trip, and yeah, it'd be sick. Like show Italy a little bit, and like all those
Yeah.
parks over there and stuff.
Cool.
Like they wanted, like as much as hate and everything like around the Olympics and all that sort of shit is, and like
Hate?
what is hate?
Well, like
Just,
there is hate. Yeah,
there is a lot
there
of
was.
haters.
I feel like
gonna
there. I
hate.
feel like there was. I feel like not so much. No.
It has really opened up like a lot
Haters
of
always
countries
hate.
that didn't even know about BMX.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
where they're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, we need a skate park. And then us riders are like, yeah, make it. And then they see skate parks and they build them all bowls.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of them that build them like a feast course. Like, so they build them all bowls. And like, I've been hit up by 3 different countries to build skate parks there. And it just hasn't sort of lined up or been right. Because I'm still like, it's where you say it's just like, has building got in the way? And I'm like, no, I put the equal balance amount of everything.
Yeah.
Australia's really easy because it's during wintertime here.
And you have dudes.
And I have people
yeah,
that like,
yeah.
as long as I can And like, you know, like building money compared to BMX riding money is nothing. Like,
Wait, say that
close.
again.
Like building money is way better than BMX riding money.
Yeah.
So I can use the building money to fly in and get a job ready, and then fly out.
I mean,
to do BMX riding.
In Australia, are you union? Like, is it? Are you?
I treat it like a union. I'm not a union, but
Okay.
I treat it like that to where I'm like, if somebody gets hurt or so, like, like we do 8 hours a day no matter what, because I understand people have a life outside of working.
Yeah.
Unless, like, most of the boys don't really work outside of my jobs because they live in vans and they're really cheap as well.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm like, hey, like, I give them a heads up, hey, like, we have to pump this out. Let's fucking do it. And then they'll help me and they'll pump it out and they'll do it. And because then we're not working for like 2 months after that.
Yeah.
We just go riding and stuff.
Because
like,
it pays for, that's,
so
I mean, like
it
that's
pays
the,
really well for the short amount of time we do it. And then we fucking do whatever we want and just, you know, like filter the money out while we're like not working. And then we're like, okay, job's coming up. And then we're just like super broke before eating 2-minute noodles. And then as soon as the job starts, we're getting $25 cocktails every night, fucking drinking. And then the job ends and we're like, okay, we fucking better filter it out. Like all the time, dude. Like
you need some sort of money management guy, like the guy that
That's
builds the feast courses.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, like
I mean, honestly,
the hardest thing is I guess it's micromanaging. Like most people that I talk to, they're like, oh, like I quit riding because it got in the way of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, my job said I couldn't do this and that. Now it's like riding, it's like the opposite with me. I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't work too much because my riding job will get angry at me. You know, I'm like, oh shit, if I work for 3 months, I'm building a skate park and don't post anything riding, I understand where my sponsors come from. They're like, hey,
we need something.
we're still here. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, here's a tabletop. That's all I got. No, but I'm trying to like.
Not from that video. No, that's not true.
I'm trying to keep everybody happy, and then I get the question all the time is like, because I have a business partner, and he's just like, when do you want to go really crazy with this? And I'm like, like I'm getting there, like, and he goes, when are you done with riding? And I was like, well, whenever my brain tells me to stop, my brain has never told me to stop.
Yeah.
Like I still have all this crazy shit in my brain that I want to do. It's just finding, like, I understand where like someone like Dak or someone else has come from. Yeah. Like Dak probably has so much crazy shit to where like he does he's one of my favorite riders ever, and he does the coolest shit. He probably has so many like technical things in his brain, and he's just trying to find that spot to do it. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, fuck, maybe I should have rode street. Because I'm like, fuck, no, I'm like, I can nose wheel. I'm like, oh, like, I get super, like, I do, like, he's like, I don't watch videos. I don't, like, no offense, I've never really listened to a podcast. Like, I just, sorry, I watched one of his YouTubes.
Stop recording.
No. I've listened to a couple, but I just don't, like, I don't know, I really love BMX and I enjoy riding it when I'm doing it.
I mean, you tell us your schedule. There's no fucking time for podcasts or watching a stupid YouTube video.
Yeah, I try.
Like, you probably watch people's real parts, but like you,
I watch real parts.
You ride.
I watch real parts.
Building.
But when I'm riding,
you saw Gary's video part. You saw Dak's video part. You saw, like stuff like that.
I watch those real. I watch a proper part. Someone puts time and effort into something. Yeah. Like, and I'm like, you know what? Like, Gary's fucking Odyssey thing was incredible. Yeah. Like Dak's part, like I watch anything Dak puts out, and like, you know, so like when I go out and ride, there's nothing that's not possible. Yeah. Like in my eyes, like, and I'm just like, oh fuck, like, I'm like, I'll get really, really creative in my head. I'm like, okay, if this doesn't work on this, then I'll find something for it to work on.
Bank it for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll just be like, oh, like that. So the clip to G-turn that I did, and I was like, oh, I wonder if this will work, and I just did it, and I was like, oh, fuck, that works. It was like 350 attempts, 2 days, and 2 bikes, but...
I could see that.
Yeah.
2 bikes.
Yeah, I threw the first one real far.
You just lost it.
Yeah, I didn't lose it much, but it was like 250 attempts in, it was getting too dark, and the lights turned off, and I just fucking launched it. Yeah, and I was like, fuck, now I'm bent. That's one on the wall in the van.
Oh, nice.
So I just threw it and I was like, fucking idiot. So I did it. I ended up doing it with the bent bike, but yeah, I just fucking, that's when someone was like, when are you done? And I'm like, to be honest, when my brain says I'm done, if I go out I'll always ride and I love it, but the day that I say I'm done professionally riding is the day where I stop getting creative or stop trying things.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Where I just keep doing the same stuff over and over. But every day I'm at Dennis's ramp. I fucking learned cannonballs yesterday. I'm like, oh fuck, I really want to learn this. Alright, let's fucking do it. I've never been the person to send something. I have to be really particular about it, where I have to ease into it. That's why I'm not really good at big tail whips, because I'm really good at hop whips, because I can sort of get closer and closer and closer, and then you land on it. You're like, okay, sick, I've landed on it. So when it comes to big stuff, I'm like, I've never really learned to just go for it. But then when I do the big 360s, some of the big open threes, I'm like, oh fuck, that's that feeling of okay, I don't know where I'm gonna land.
You gotta be really smart, even with those. You start
he
small.
Actually put it into my brain more than anybody, of being very smart before you do something. Because if Dennis was going out, when I lived with Dennis, if Dennis was going out to rail ride a rail during his ASA part, we would go to Memorial and he would rail ride the rail 200 times.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah.
Dennis would
go
within our 1 hour to 2 hour session, he would rail ride a skate park rail that's 2 foot off the ground 200 times.
Yeah.
He'd loop the park, come ride with us, loop back around, rail ride. Or we would go to the skate park out past El Cajon, Lakeside, before Dennis did a big tail whip, and he'd whip the stairs 100 times, 50 times. And I was like, fuck, that's a really...
Okay, so here's my question with that. I get the tail whip. If you're doing a massive tail whip drop, you want to make sure your dial going down. But a rail ride thing is it's a different rail. It's a different bunny.
Yeah,
bar.
but
It's a different type of thing.
Just to know though, if I do it 100 times and I've done it every time, all right, I can do this scary ass one.
Yeah.
Because 110% of everything in BMX is all confidence.
Yeah.
You know you can do it.
Exactly.
Everybody has the skill to do it.
I'm doing it just
everybody has the skill to do it.
But that's I leave
do
the
it.
house with the confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
that's
like
how.
Dennis
That's why I fell on the rail. Because
Dennis,
I was 100% I'm doing this rail, and then I fell, and I was like, why the fuck did I fall?
Did you show up though wanting to do that rail, or did you get there and just saw us riding and you're like, I got this? I don't think you looked at the rail enough.
No, I was so not worried about doing it that I just I was like, I'll just do the rail real quick. And then I didn't do it, and I was like, that was fucking weird.
Which was weird because you're super good at rails.
And I was like, why didn't I do the rail? And then I just got fucking
I think you just didn't look how weird that rail is. It's so fucking low.
He really put it in my head, and I was like, that's really smart.
Yeah, it is smart.
It's really, it's a really,
so.
really smart way to ride and to film things. Because I was like, if I was obviously it's hard when you're on a trip because you're like, oh fuck, I just got to this spot. It's
and then that stuff just happens naturally.
Yeah,
but when you're really prepared to do something, it's nice because you get out of the car and you're like, I'm ready.
Yeah,
it's just interesting to me because
it's confidence.
It is confidence.
Yeah.
But I feel like somebody on your guys' level, I feel like the confidence is so embedded in you already. In my head, from the outside looking in.
But still, that warm up that morning, it's instead of riding the bull, I'm gonna just fucking whatever the trick is, I'm gonna 180 bar this thing. I'm gonna just do 1,180 bars instead.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
Even if it's fly out.
Yeah.
180 bar. That's how I do it. Yeah. Because I'm very particular in a weird way. I'm very sketchy and eat shit all the time, but at the same time, I like to go into the cliffs. If it's big and scary, I'm gonna try and land this.
Yeah. I get it for sure.
It's back when,
like you said, confidence is
confidence
half the trick.
I only probably do. Well, I do a lot more now, but back when we were doing the Pro Cups, I probably only do 4 decade airs a year, and it'll be 4 contests, and that would be 2 pedals and perfect every time because my confidence was so high that I knew I was not gonna not crash it. Yeah. But I would only do 4 a year. Because I just knew, because my confidence was so high with them, I wouldn't practice them ever. Like,
But
I
if
just
your,
go, I'm
confidence,
just
if
doing
your
it.
confidence was so high, you just felt like you didn't need to. Your time was spent.
My confidence, my commitment wasn't high enough to do them outside of a contest.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm landing it. Like, boom,
Yeah.
like done. Like the one at the last Pro Cup in 2019 on the big mellow quarter. I've never done one on a big quarter like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or even in the Vans Gregson part, the one in Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
That probably was the
That's
scariest thing I've
crazy.
ever
With the
done.
channel.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
I check myself every time I drop into that.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm
banger
like,
of the
make sure
whole
you
damn
drop
thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I
That's
don't know,
how good this guy is. So I was like, people underestimate him, and like, people don't keep up. That video was filmed for like whatever 3 or 4 months, and he came into town, has the
Yeah.
best clips.
Yeah.
He was here for like 5
You know,
months.
I went to.
That's how he does
I go
it.
to Linda Vista, and then I'd be just like riding like the back Pineapple Bowl, and then some skater would be like, "Oh, you know, some dude was here yesterday. He was fucking airing the bowl." And I was like, "Was he Australian?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, it's Jason."
I know that guy.
Yeah, like
He's a
yeah, it's
freak.
Jason. Yeah, like dudes just talking about him. Like it is incredible, and not that like Chris is incredible. Chris is one of my favorite.
They're
riders.
every one of the fastest guys
I've
in
said
Rio.
it. I've said it a bunch of times, and then I never really got to see Corey ride too much in person.
Oh
I would
god,
see it.
He's incredible.
And I feel like when I would see him, he would be like joking around the entire time. But every once in a while, I'd be like, "Oh my god," you know. But Chris,
Jason encompasses a little bit of all of them though.
Yeah, he
Jason's
really
like
does,
the
yeah.
guy who has a little bit of all the skill. Like he's
Yeah.
like the middleman. Like
It is-
everyone else is particular, and Jason's like, I do it all.
yeah. And
I just like to ride everything. Like, I especially love riding like Denison Pat ramps lately.
You have fun going out and riding street, like the shit you
There's
never ride.
There's another one, new one from Linda. Should probably wait
More
feet
Jason
away.
clips. All right, here he goes.
I heard about this one.
See,
Heard
I've seen
about
this
it.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's not new to me.
I heard
And
about
Where is
it.
his footage?
Yeah.
Where's his fucking
It's
footage?
coming. It's coming. It's
I
coming.
thought that's been out.
Yeah.
That
Nah.
BMX isn't keeping up with you.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Ooh, almost.
You get mad.
iPhone
Jason
4 now.
footage is fucking. He's the man right
Yeah.
here.
I think
That's
so.
what I gotta say. Jason Watts is the man in every direction. And professional BMX rider, it sucks because there's no contest is what can keep up with him. He just goes boom, win him, win him, win him, win him, win him.
Yeah.
Films in between. But right
Or
now,
at least
with COVID,
make the highlight reel in his underpants or
yeah.
yelling.
I'll
or,
make the highlight
reel
no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Either win
Yeah.
or win the after party.
But like
Yeah.
the core filming side of BMX, he needs to keep up with
I
Jason
love it,
because this
too.
motherfucker is on one.
And I want to commend you. I feel like it's super important that like you're still doing the fucking bike riding that we can't show, but the
sickest bike riding.
the ramp building shit, and
Yes.
and being poised to be that next generation of dude that is building these courses and progressing these courses, I think is, fuck, dude, is so important.
I love it.
People have skilled, passionate.
I love building the ramps as much as I like riding them.
That are going to be
Yeah.
the next generation of the dudes running these
Mhm.
contests. 20 years from now, it's going to be fucking old ass, buff ass Jason running this
You
contest.
see me
and building
squatting
this
a
course
ramp
and
across the
designing this
course, it's
yeah.
like, nah.
And then we're like, and there's going to be that fucking kid that doesn't know who the fuck he is. And then we either
He
have
is
to
the-
show
he
him the
is-
clip
he
or
is
fucking.
Wessel.
Yeah,
2023.
yeah, exactly.
And
He
since.
Wessel did the fucking alleys
Exactly.
too across
No,
the
exactly.
shit. So,
Wessel rode that shit and knew
Yeah.
what to build. Jason's like, there hasn't been someone
Yeah,
since him.
so-
There's a lot of amazing ramp builders. Corrigan, so
Yeah.
many dudes.
Yeah.
Bostrom.
Yeah.
Pova kills it with building ramps. There's so
Kimler.
many. Shout out Kimler. So many dope builders.
They all
Like,
kill it.
And that's what makes them the good.
Yeah.
Because they're all incredible bike
Yes.
riders.
Yeah.
Every single one of them are incredible bike
But
riders.
Jason is the one.
It is really hard to put a
It's
ramp together
fucking
if you can't ride the ramp.
Yeah.
That's what in my head, that's what I think. If like those dudes could, then they still understand the way.
Those
that it
guys all
works.
can. That list of
That's
riders.
what I mean,
what
they-
makes them
they all
amazing.
can, and
Those
they're
guys are fucking
incredible.
amazing.
But when you start to like get to real big stuff, like that's why Wessel was really good because he could build the craziest shit, and you know he's gonna hit it.
Yeah.
He
Like
would build it
your
because he
ramp,
knew it was fun.
like
this is
your
gonna be
ramp. When
cool
we were
for
building
people.
Dennis's ramp, we were just looking at these crazy gaps, and we're like, "Now we go a bit bigger." Like, we just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
And I underestimate Dennis's ramp until like I see like really good riders go back and they're like, "Oh, this is like way taller than I thought." I was like, "Yeah, it's a pretty big. It's a pretty big ramp. Like it's tall, but we love it. Like we just go fucking ape shit on it." And I've never been
It's meant
bored
for
of it.
us.
Yeah, yeah, that's
we
true.
built it for us, not
Yeah.
for anyone else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think
yeah. You want to?
What?
You pressed it.
no, I didn't. Well, we're gonna have to use some camera audio. I don't know when that went.
What did?
It wasn't. It was recording like literally like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So if we lost this and the audio turned to shit, I mean I can start. Oh, the card's full. God, that happened before.
Too much bullshit.
Let's do that again and do an outro.
After this Vish video, I'll see how, like outside of this podcast, I'll see how much committed Vish is for like just a video outside of everything, and then I want to do a proper Vans video.
He texted me.
Do something with the RBMX, man. That's like
but I want like what I did with that, but like I still have crazier stuff than that. We just did that on a road
shit.
trip.
I know, dude. I know how good you are. That was bullshit. I think I've said it fucking 5 times in this podcast that the shit is like not keeping up with you. Like
yeah. Well, we're back.
Are we back?
He put it perfect. COVID. When it comes to it, COVID really did.
We had 6 minutes of shit that got deleted.
Yeah,
Sorry, it didn't matter because I don't even remember what we said
yeah,
anyway. So whatever.
Yeah.
We're back. We're gonna end this thing up.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Finishing up.
COVID. I said
COVID. We're back.
No. He said that like COVID made him pivot. I think, in my opinion.
Well, just like shut down what I was doing at the time. I think or good at like. Because 2019 was the year that I realized, like, oh, you can make money from winning things. I was like, oh, okay, let me actually, we'll try this year, and then
2020 was the year that you were like, oh, you can make money from building things.
Well, yeah, because everything ended.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. But I mean, that's what people had to do in COVID. Like it goes to your nature. Yeah. I think if we didn't,
and I was very lucky to have a lot of building behind me before 2020 happened.
Yeah.
So, because 2019 is my best year by a long shot. Like, with the Pro Cups, it was...
Thus far.
Yeah.
So, you're going to Feast. You're going to a couple other events. You got fucking Italy's bringing you there. Yeah. Apparently, there's a mini ramp contest on a barge in Prague.
I heard that.
They emailed us, and I didn't respond. And
email them back. That sounds dope.
Pat's going to it, I think.
I don't, dude. The prize is like £2,000 for first place, and I'm like, that's not. I would charge more to come out there. So
true.
Like, not to be, but it's fucking 6 days of my life.
Things.
But what if you paid a little sick European filmer to go film it? Yeah.
I don't trust anybody. I got trust issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
there's that France contest I go to all the time. I should tell him to take you out there.
Which one's that?
You trust Blake Peters?
Montpellier one?
Yeah.
He'll go film it.
Yeah. I'll take
one I always go to Montpellier.
Feast one?
No, it's like after Feast. It's like the crazy bowl one. Where it's on fire, the big water slide.
Oh, the unicorns.
Yeah,
one.
the unicorn.
Yeah,
one.
that one looks sick.
Really fun.
That looks sick.
Yeah, it's a good time.
That's another dude. There's another one that is like that guy's like he's a French YouTuber dude.
Yep.
And he just loves, and he's a BMXer.
Yeah.
Fucking blew up on YouTube, and now he just started a clothing company and just throws wild jams.
He's that unicorn brand. That's what they
Unicorn,
paid for me to
we
go
are
to
legends.
France for last on 2019 and last year.
Yeah.
And we just like. And then Corey came to me and he goes, "This is crazy." I'm like,
nothing but respect for people like that.
Yeah,
that's the way I work.
He loves it. And he rides and he shreds and he just loves to put an event. Like it's a lot of money in the event. Like, you know, probably not the biggest prize purse, but the actual event is so fun. We just light it up.
That's one where there's something on fire. There's like you're in a G-string. There's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot.
The water slide split my hand open. Like, there's a lot. Anyway, that's for another podcast.
Yeah, this is Jason.
Unsubscribe from Dennis's podcast, YouTube, and I'll do another podcast.
Ooh,
fucking love it.
No, just kidding.
Mean.
It's okay.
Venmo Dennis say another podcast to Jason.
Yes.
We'll see. If it gets to $60, we'll buy another carton of beer and we'll put another one on.
We'll see if we quit after this one too.
Yeah, I'll probably quit after. You'll probably get cancelled after this one. Me being on here. Who's this gym junkie on here? Didn't I listen to Rogan's gym podcast now?
If it didn't make it in the 6 minutes that we lost, I really, really want to nail down the idea that it's super important for somebody like you that has all the passion that builds these ramps and is poised to be like that next generation of ramp builder and the person that progresses and is on point, because that old guard mentality that sometimes BMX has and you know, and that.
I have it too, like where I'm just get real salty, and then I'm like, nah, fuck, like who
Yeah.
cares? Like, fuck it. The more things out there and the better things out there, the better it'll be. Even though it's not my, not really particularly my cup of tea, but I fucking love all of it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's
I think
I know that old guard feeling because sometimes I get it and I'm like, fuck this, fuck that. Fuck this. And then
well,
I'm
it's
like,
not.
you know
It's
what?
not just. It's not just salty. It's more in the sense of like the industry types that are holding on to the paycheck in their in a career or whatever,
Yep.
to the detriment of like BMX as a whole.
Yep.
And and I'm not calling anybody specific. Literally have nobody in mind. I'm just saying, like at a point when things plateau and things stop progressing, you got to let the next generation of people in. And I think somebody like you is that next generation once you are fucking done with bike riding, you know, or that balance goes towards ramps more.
Might
So
be a while.
it might be. That's
Still
fine.
riding? I'm still riding. He's my biggest competitor. I hate him.
I hate him.
I hate you too.
I hate him too.
Let's keep going, man.
That's the reason why he likes riding with me, because I'm just like, you're a piece of shit. The other day I was like, what's your nothing like? He goes, boom, and I come behind him, and mine was so bad.
You're getting
It's
better
getting there,
at
it's
them.
getting there, it's getting better.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. All the tricks you can do, there's some I'm just like, jeez, Jason. Jeez.
I'm coming though, I'm
But
coming.
then there's a million tricks you can do I can't do. So we'll be competing forever.
Yeah.
I learned one, you got to keep up. You
That's
learn
it,
one,
man.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
keep up.
The quint flip.
You can show me your
Quint
Nora
whip.
We're
cups,
working
I'll
on-
show you my Pro Cup cups.
Ooh, there we go. There we
I've got a
go.
lot of seconds.
He said it so serious.
X Games and Pro Cups, I'm king of second place. So at least
It's true.
I don't ever get any stardom on me. I'm just always second place, and yeah, it's cool. So you got
That's
the
true,
big
yeah.
like, oh, he's won all these things.
I'll
Gotta come
trade
do
you.
it again.
I'll trade you.
Yeah, second
trade
place
you.
are chilling.
Thank you, Jason.
Anytime.
Jason, you're the man.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Let's
Hopefully
go-
you guys have me on again one time. You know?
whenever you
3.0.
like. 3.0.
3.0.
Yeah.
Go through.
Do I have to call it 2.0? Because it's only the first one for the YouTube viewers.
Yeah, true.
I'll probably just do one.
It's the
Yeah.
second one.
It's my fourth
Unclick
one.
goes deep.
Because I did one with him and one with you.
That was a feeble
Feeble
talk.
talk.
Yeah,
One.
yeah, feeble
True.
talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is 3.0.
Yeah.
Let's go get some
3.0.
Mexican food through a drive-through and go home.
Next one will be 3.5 on OnlyFans only.
All right. And you can always shoot me a Venmo.
Vimeo is the right one.
Venmo. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Unclick Podcast. Love y'all. Jason Watts is the best. Peace. If you guys made it this far, whoo, you rule.
Yeah.